Welcome to the new era of video creation with
Golden
Hagen.
Warrior and Hope
Simply
of the Human
type your
Warriors
script
is
to get
leading an
started.
attack against dangerous
Welcome
monsters.
to the new era
The
of video
protagonist of our story,
creation
Hopes,
with
is currently
Hagen.
clashing swords
Simply
against a
type your
giant
script
orc,
to get
enjoying
started.
his epic battle.
Welcome to the
Let's
new
dive
era
into the
of
real
video
world.
creation
Kim
with
Junwoo
Hagen.
is a loser office
Simply
worker
type
who
your
loves
script to
over
get
the
started.
fantasy. A
Welcome
game
to
that
the new
exists in an
era
era
of
where
video
technology has
creation with
flourished
Hagen.
beyond comprehension.
Simply type your
The
script
age
to
of
get
advancement
started.
is finally here,
Welcome to
and
the
virtual
new era
reality
of
games
video
are more popular
creation
than
with
ever.
Hagen.
Junwoo
Simply
enjoys
type
playing
your
over the
script to
fantasy the
get
most,
started.
but it's not
Welcome
because
to
of its
the new
fame.
era of
In
video
fact, the game
creation
is less
with
popular
Hagen.
than others.
Simply
It
type your
boasts a
script to get
notorious
started.
reputation for being so
Welcome to the
difficult
new
due to
era
its
of
incredibly
video
realistic
creation with
graphics.
Hagen.
One differentiating
Simply type
factor
your
is that the
script to
game
get
refuses to
started.
accept money as a
Welcome to
form
the
of
new
currency
era
like
of
other
video
games.
creation with
This means
Hagen.
no one will be able
Simply
to buy
type
their
your
way
script
into
to get
becoming
started.
stronger.
Welcome
In
to the
short,
new
it
era
is
of
free of
video
any in-app
creation with
purchases involving
Hagen.
money.
Simply
The only
type
way
your
to become
script to
stronger
get
inside the
started.
game is to level
Welcome
up
to
one's
the new
skills.
era of video
Many
creation
players were
with
turned off by the
Hagen.
game, but
Simply
Junwoo
type your
actually
script
liked
to
how
get
different it
started.
was. So he
Welcome
ended
to
up
the
becoming
new
a
era
no-lifer
of video
inside the game,
creation
playing
with
it
Hagen.
24/7 without
Simply
end.
type your
Junwoo
script to get
finishes his work
started.
shift,
Welcome
barely
to the
surviving
new
the daily
era of
beating of his
video
job.
creation with
He's
Hagen.
excited about the game's
Simply
first
type
major
your
update
script
in
to
3
get
years.
started.
Chapter 2 is
Welcome to
supposed
the
to
new
update
era
at
of
midnight,
video
and our boy
creation
needs to
with
get his
Hagen.
preparations going
Simply
before that
type your
time.
script to get
Junwoo
started.
gears up to enter the
Welcome to
world
the
of
new
virtual
era of
reality.
video
The
creation
system
with
recognizes
Hagen.
his identification
Simply
and
type your
welcomes him
script
to the
to get
virtual world.
started.
Inside,
Welcome to the
he's
new
given the
era
choice
of
to pick
video
a character that
creation
he
with
likes.
Hagen.
Normally,
Simply type your
players who
script
have
to
more
get
than 3
started.
max-level
Welcome
characters
to
are
the new
considered
era of video
no-lifers. And guess
creation with
what?
Hagen.
This guy
Simply
has 7
type your
max-level
script to get
characters,
started.
so he's probably the
Welcome
king
to
of
the new
no-lifers
era
at this
of
point.
video creation with
Junwoo,
Hagen.
instead of picking
Simply
a strong
type your
character,
script to get
decides to
started.
pick a low-level
Welcome
character
to the
called
new
Dio.
era of
He's
video
a level 10
creation
normie
with
that is simply
Hagen.
used for
Simply
storage.
type your script to
Junwoo
get
customized him
started.
for storage
Welcome
purposes
to
to
the
his
new
liking.
era of
He
video
enters the
creation
consciousness of
with
his character,
Hagen.
becoming Dio
Simply
himself.
type your script to
Is
get
that a
started.
JoJo reference?
Welcome to
You
the
tell
new
me.
era of
Junwoo
video
learns about an
creation
additional
with
class
Hagen.
being added to the
Simply
game.
type your
He wants
script
to
to
gather
get
items to
started.
upgrade his level in
Welcome
the
to the new
meantime.
era of
But it's
video
not an easy
creation with
task.
Hagen.
It's like organizing a
Simply
terrible
type
room.
your script
Thanks
to get
Dio's
started.
storage, he has
Welcome
tons
to
of
the new
items to
era
sort,
of
so it's
video
going to take our
creation
boy
with
some time to
Hagen.
get through them all.
Simply type
After a
your
while,
script
he's
to get
finally done
started.
with the sorting process.
Welcome to the new
Junwoo
era of
arrives at the
video
warehouse keeper
creation with
called Tony.
Hagen.
It took him a
Simply
really long
type your
time, so
script
he
to
doesn't
get
want to waste
started.
more of it and
Welcome
requests
to
the
the
old
new
geezer to
era
open
of
up the
video
subspace.
creation with
Master
Hagen.
Shifu, looking
Simply
ass, charges
type your
him 1
script to
silver
get
as the cost.
started.
The game
Welcome to
system
the
is
new
centered
era
around
of
level,
video
which means the
creation
higher
with
the level,
Hagen.
the more
Simply
fee a
type
player
your
is
script
charged.
to get
This
started.
is the key reason why
Welcome
players
to the
prefer
new
to keep
era
all their
of video
storage characters
creation
around
with
level 10
Hagen.
to prevent
Simply
additional
type your
costs.
script to get
Junwoo
started.
takes note of a special
Welcome to
weapon
the
that he's
new
been
era
keeping
of
for a
video
while.
creation with
He retrieves the
Hagen.
Lycan kukri
Simply
knife from
type
his
your
inventory
script to
and
get
hopes to give it
started.
some good use by
Welcome to
handing
the
it to
new
one of his
era
other
of video
characters. The
creation
game
with
notifies
Hagen.
him about the
Simply
incoming
type your
update, which will
script to
occur
get
in
started.
15 minutes.
Welcome to the
Players
new
are
era
advised to
of
move to
video
safe
creation
locations
with
and log
Hagen.
out at once.
Simply
Poor
type your
Junwoo is
script to get
frustrated because he
started.
spent hours
Welcome
organizing
to
his
the new
warehouse
era
and
of
couldn't even
video
play the game.
creation with
He is
Hagen.
unwilling to log out
Simply
after
type
spending
your
so much
script to
time
get
doing nothing.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome
is
to the
confident
new
that the
era
game will
of video
forcefully disconnect
creation
him when
with
the time
Hagen.
comes. Our
Simply
village
type
is
your
actually a
script to get
dangerous
started.
location where the level
Welcome to the
requirement
new
is level
era of video
100. But
creation
this guy
with
thinks he's going to
Hagen.
be okay as
Simply
long as he
type your
stays hidden
script
in
to
the
get
village square.
started. Welcome
He
to the
quickly
new
navigates
era
his
of video
inventory,
creation
while the
with
server notifies
Hagen.
him again about
Simply
the incoming
type your
update in
script to
5
get
minutes.
started.
The server
Welcome
demands the
to the new
adventurers to
era
log
of
out,
video
when
creation
suddenly,
with
an
Hagen.
unexpected glitch
Simply
occurs,
type your
causing a
script to get
large-scale
started.
system-wide error.
Welcome to the
The game
new era
forbids
of
Junwoo's
video
ability to send
creation with
messages,
Hagen.
but he's clueless
Simply
and has yet
type
to
your
notice any
script to get
changes.
started.
The sorting process
Welcome
is
to
at
the
last
new
complete.
era of video creation
Junwoo is
with
exhausted
Hagen.
and does a few
Simply
stretches.
type your script
But
to
that's
get
when he
started.
senses an odd feeling.
Welcome to the
Even though
new
the
era
update
of
was
video
scheduled to happen,
creation with Hagen.
Junwoo wasn't
Simply
disconnected.
type your
In
script to
fact,
get
he's still
started.
stuck in the game,
Welcome to the
without any
new era of
notification of
video
what's going
creation
on,
with
like any
Hagen.
sensible player
Simply
would.
type
He
your
decides to
script
log
to
out
get
manually.
started.
But when
Welcome
Junwoo
to
calls
the
for the
new
system
era
screen,
of video
nothing
creation
happens.
with Hagen.
The precious
Simply
logout
type
button
your
that he's
script
looking
to get
for is
started.
nowhere to be found.
Welcome to the
Now
new era
stuck,
of video
his senses have
creation
become
with
even
Heijen.
sharper. It's
Simply
strange that
type
he
your
could feel his
script to get
character to such a
started.
fragile level.
Welcome to the new
Almost as
era
if he's
of
actually
video
experiencing
creation
the
with
game in real
Heijen.
life.
Simply type your
Junwoo knows
script to
something
get
is wrong.
started.
With his sharp
Welcome to the
mind,
new
he
era of
concludes that his
video
only hope
creation
now
with
is to head
Heijen.
to the dimensional
Simply
fissure.
type your script
He
to get
sprints as
started.
fast as his legs can
Welcome
carry
to the
him.
new era
The
of
dimensional
video
fissure is the
creation
only
with
location
Heijen.
where users
Simply
can
type
interact
your
and play
script
with
to get
others.
started.
Junwoo is hoping to
Welcome to
find
the
other
new
people
era
like
of
him,
video
or so he
creation
thought,
with Heijen.
because when he does
Simply
arrive,
type your
no one is
script to
there.
get started.
The gate which
Welcome
was
to
once
the new
located
era
here
of
is nowhere
video
to be
creation
found.
with Heijen.
Suddenly, a
Simply
child
type
bumps
your
into
script to
Junwoo
get
before
started.
apologizing. He
Welcome to
stands
the
there,
new era of
speechless and
video
hopeless,
creation
as
with
if he's seen a
Heijen.
ghost.
Simply type
The
your
reason for
script
his
to get
baffled state
started.
is because the feeling
Welcome
is
to the
because the
new era
impact
of
felt
video
like real life.
creation with
Junwoo
Heijen.
sweats bullets,
Simply type your
realizing that the
script to
game
get
is no longer
started.
any different from the
Welcome
life
to
he
the new
knows.
era of video
Clinging to any signs
creation
of
with
hope,
Heijen.
he thinks the game must
Simply
have been
type your
experiencing
script
an
to
error.
get started.
He's so agitated that
Welcome
he
to
wants
the
to sue
new
the
era of
developers when he
video
logs out.
creation with
But I
Heijen.
think he's too hopeful
Simply
for even
type
that.
your script to
Why?
get started.
Because 3 days
Welcome to
passed,
the
and
new
guess what?
era of video
Junwoo
creation
succumbs
with
to his despair
Heijen.
inside the
Simply
game's
type
world.
your script
His
to
luck
get
is the
started.
worst because not only is
Welcome
he
to the
stuck
new
inside the
era of
game,
video
but he's also
creation
stuck
with
with the worst
Heijen.
character in his
Simply
team.
type your
At the
script to
training
get
grounds,
started.
the guards are training their
Welcome
men
to
to
the new
extreme
era of
conditions to
video
protect the
creation
village.
with
Junwoo
Heijen.
has finally
Simply
accepted his
type your
fate,
script
that
to
he's been
get started.
transported to this game and that
Welcome
there's
to the
no way
new
out of
era
it.
of video creation
Despite having
with
some of the best
Heijen.
characters in the
Simply
entire
type
game,
your script
this
to get
dude stupidly
started.
ended up with a
Welcome
trash
to
level
the
10
new
character.
era of
It's
video
enough to make him
creation with
cry.
Heijen.
But Junwoo is
Simply
glad that he
type your
isn't
script
facing
to
any
get
money
started.
problems.
Welcome
It's
to
just
the
a
new
temporary
era of
relief when
video
you compare to the
creation
fact
with
that he's stuck
Heian.
inside a game.
Simply type your
Junwoo's
script
noise
to get
catches the
started.
attention of a village
Welcome
guard
to
who
the new
inquires
era
about his
of
purpose.
video creation
He
with
tells the guard that
Heian.
he's merely
Simply
interested in
type
watching
your
them
script
train.
to get
The
started.
excited guard
Welcome
offers
to
him
the
to join
new
them in their
era of
training,
video
but he
creation
declines.
with Heian.
Even if he wanted to,
Simply type
it
your
wouldn't be
script
right
to
as
get
he's just a
started.
low-level character
Welcome
with
to
no
the new
profession.
era of video
Then, a
creation with
realization
Heian.
strikes him.
Simply
Junwoo
type your
asks about the
script to get
purpose of a group
started.
training session to begin
Welcome to
with.
the new
The
era
guard
of
informs
video
him about the
creation
incoming
with
waves,
Heian.
and by that, he
Simply
means
type
monster
your script
waves.
to get
The
started.
Avra village is an
Welcome
average
to the new
stronghold, but
era
it is
of
not
video
safe from monster
creation with
waves who come to
Heian.
attack the village
Simply
from time
type
to
your
time.
script to get
Players
started.
can fight along with the
Welcome
village
to the new
NPCs
era
to
of
level up
video
and become
creation
stronger.
with
The
Heian.
game developers
Simply
use this
type
system
your
to help the
script to get
development of the
started.
player base.
Welcome
But
to
it's
the
not
new
like a
era
blessing
of
for
video
someone like
creation
Junwoo,
with
who is an
Heian.
average level
Simply
10
type your
dumbass
script to
stuck in
get
a village
started.
with only level
Welcome to
100
the new
warriors.
era of
It's an
video
overkill
creation
mission
with
with no way
Heian.
out for him.
Simply type your
Still,
script to get
he doesn't want to
started.
waste his time
Welcome
moping
to the
around
new
and
era
pitying
of
his
video
condition.
creation with
The dude
Heian.
knows he's already
Simply
fucked
type
beyond
your script to
comparison.
get started.
There's also no
Welcome
guarantee
to
if
the
he's
new
going to
era
return
of
alive
video
if he chooses
creation
to
with
die
Heian.
inside the game.
Simply
So
type your
Junwoo
script to
doesn't
get
want to take that
started.
terrifying
Welcome
risk.
to the new
Assessing his
era of
only
video
option,
creation
Junwoo
with
decides that
Heian.
he has to survive
Simply
as much
type
as he
your script
possibly
to get
can.
started.
First, he
Welcome
goes to the
the new
warehouse.
era of
His
video
goal is to be able
creation
to
with
select a
Heian.
class to increase his
Simply
chances of
type your
survival.
script to get started.
There's a few options,
Welcome
like
to the
assassin
new
class
era of
and
video
martial arts class.
creation with Heian.
Despite both of them,
Simply
he
type
has
your
yet to
script
achieve
to
the
get
required
started.
level to promote his
Welcome
current
to the new
profession.
era of
From his
video
inventory,
creation with
Junwoo spots
Heian.
an interesting
Simply
promotion
type
book.
your script to
It is
get
covered
started.
with purple light and
Welcome
draws
to
his
the new
attention.
era of
The
video
class is hidden,
creation
but
with
for some
Heian.
reason, he's able to
Simply
use the
type your
promotion
script
book
to get
despite his
started.
current level.
Welcome to
Junwoo
the
wonders
new
if he
era
glanced
of
over
video
some kind of
creation
detail
with
inside the
Heian.
game. Or the
Simply type
fantasy
your
is more
script to get
realistic than
started.
any other virtual
Welcome to
reality
the
game
new
out there,
era of
and it
video
was tuned to
creation with
perfection.
Heian.
This means there aren't
Simply
any
type your
bugs
script to
or any
get
cheats,
started.
and players
Welcome
are
to the
provided
new
with a
era
handful
of
of
video
information.
creation
To
with
make the game more
Heian.
interactive and
Simply
playable,
type your script
players
to
have
get
to search
started.
hidden content and
Welcome to the
information on
new
their
era
own
of
to make
video
the experience
creation
more
with
enjoyable.
Heian.
It's one of the
Simply
reasons
type
the
your
game did
script
not
to get
receive a good
started.
reception in reviews,
Welcome to the new
as some
era of
players thought
video
it was
creation with
inconvenient.
Heian.
Anyway, not even
Simply
a veteran
type your
like
script
Junwoo
to
has
get
heard of a
started.
special promotion book
Welcome
like
to
this
the
one.
new era
He's
of
more than
video
confident that
creation
he
with
stumbled
Heian.
across one of the game's
Simply
hidden
type your
items.
script to
Armed
get
with the knowledge
started.
of this promotion
Welcome
scroll,
to the new
Junwoo
era of
becomes even
video
more excited to
creation with
survive in the
Heian.
virtual world.
Simply
He
type your
thanks the old
script to
geezer
get
and bolts
started.
away to the mercenary
Welcome to
guild.
the new era of
Inside,
video
there are
creation
adventurers
with
of all
Heian.
kinds. One
Simply
person
type your
deviates from
script
the
to
line
get
and gets
started.
confronted by a
Welcome
man.
to the new
He
era of
notices the
video
man's outfit
creation
and
with
judges that he's
Heian.
so poor there
Simply
isn't
type your
anything
script to
worthwhile
get
for the noob.
started. Welcome
The
to the
arrogant
new era
scumbag
of
inquires
video
about his
creation
purpose.
with Heian.
The cloaked figure
Simply
tosses him a
type your
mercenary's
script to get
medallion
started.
and demands to see the
Welcome to the new
guildmaster.
era of
The
video
medallion is
creation
a
with
symbol of
Heian.
status,
Simply
granted only
type
to
your
the best
script to get
veterans inside
started.
the game,
Welcome
which
to the
also
new
means
era
that
of
this guy
video
isn't a
creation
newbie,
with
but in
Heian.
fact, he's
Simply
someone who has
type your
invested a
script
lot
to
of
get
time in the
started.
game. The cloaked
Welcome to the
figure is
new
revealed
era
to be
of
our
video
boy,
creation
Junwoo,
with Heian.
who confirms that his
Simply
A-rank
type your
medallion
script to get
achievement is so
started.
good that
Welcome
only the
to the
top
new era of
0.1%
video
mercenaries could
creation
ever
with
hope to reach
Heian.
such a level.
Simply
He brought
type
it from
your
his
script to
warehouse
get
for a specific
started.
purpose.
Welcome to the
Using the
new era
medallion's
of video
influence,
creation
Junwoo will
with
fake his
Heian.
identity as a strong
Simply
mercenary.
type your script
He
to
has
get
also
started.
equipped himself with an
Welcome
enchanted
to the
hood to
new
hide
era
his real
of video
identity as a
creation
storage
with
character.
Heian.
As for
Simply
everything
type
else,
your
he's going
script
to
to get
gaslight the
started.
entire guild in his
Welcome to the new
negotiations.
era of video
Junwoo tells the
creation with
receptionist that he's
Heian.
got one more thing to
Simply
show to
type
them.
your script to get
He unveils
started.
the Imperial Medal of
Welcome
Honor,
to the new
yet
era
another
of
shiny
video
achievement used
creation
to
with
signify
Heian.
one's status.
Simply
Now that
type
he's
your
proved
script to
himself
get
as a big
started.
shot,
Welcome
Junwoo
to the
urges a
new
meeting with
era
the
of video
guildmaster.
creation
He's
with
hoping to God
Heian.
that others don't
Simply
start
type
questioning
your
the
script
validity
to
of
get
his medals.
started.
One
Welcome to
voice
the new
praises his
era of video
achievements.
creation
This man
with
is the
Heian.
mercenary guild's
Simply
manager,
type your
Cotton.
script to get
He's a
started.
buff dude with a Mr.
Welcome
Olympia
to the new
physique,
era
and he's
of
eager
video
to hear more from
creation with
Junwoo in a private
Heian.
meeting.
Simply
But Junwoo
type your
wants to play by
script to
his
get
own rules.
started.
He's not
Welcome to
interested
the
in
new
talking to
era
some
of
lowly
video
manager.
creation with
Junwoo
Heian.
expresses his
Simply
interest to meet
type
the
your script
guildmaster
to get
only.
started.
Cotton
Welcome to
apologizes
the
on the
new era
guildmaster's
of video
behalf and
creation
explains the
with
guildmaster's
Heian.
absence.
Simply
That's
type
why
your
he's prepared
script
to
to
hear
get
out the man's
started.
request on his
Welcome
behalf.
to the new era
Junwoo
of
likes what he
video
hears and agrees
creation
to
with
talk.
Heian.
The dude is sweating
Simply
bullets
type your
underneath,
script to
but at
get
least things are
started.
going well.
Welcome
The
to
only
the
thing
new
he has to
era
take
of
care of
video
now is the
creation with
negotiation
Heijin.
process. After
Simply
hearing him
type your
out,
script to
Cotton
get
learns that
started.
the man is looking
Welcome
to take
to
on
the
a
new
quest to
era
the
of
Forgotten
video
Temple.
creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
confirms that it's his
Simply
only
type your
condition.
script to
The
get
manager
started.
muses for a moment.
Welcome to
While
the
he
new
does have
era
one
of
mission
video
available for the
creation
same
with
location,
Heijin.
he's curious
Simply
why a
type your
high-level
script to
mercenary
get
is interested
started.
in accepting the
Welcome
quest.
to the new
Cotton
era of
explains
video
there being a
creation
request to
with
guard a
Heijin.
priestess, but
Simply
many
type your
mercenaries have
script to
already
get
been tasked
started.
with the same job.
Welcome to the
Junwoo
new
is
era
happy
of
to
video
accept the quest
creation with
regardless, and
Heijin.
is uninterested in
Simply
seeking a
type your
reward.
script to get
His
started.
only task is
Welcome to the
transportation.
new era of video
Intrigued,
creation
Cotton
with
asks if he
Heijin.
has a mission of his
Simply
own to
type your
protect another
script to get
important person.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome to
denies
the new
anything of
era
the
of
sort.
video
It's
creation
just that
with
he wants to
Heijin.
step in case
Simply
the other
type your
mercenaries
script to
fail to
get
protect the
started.
priestess.
Welcome
Right
to
now,
the
he's
new era
confident
of
in his
video
negotiation
creation with
strategy,
Heijin.
especially with no
Simply
rewards
type
down
your
the line.
script to get
The
started.
manager should send him without
Welcome to
worry,
the new
as it
era
would help
of video
mitigate the risk
creation
and
with
ensure success
Heijin.
of the mission.
Simply
Cotton
type your
happily
script
hands
to
him the
get
request
started.
without a second
Welcome
question.
to the new era
Junwoo
of
is quick
video
to get excited
creation
and
with
receives the
Heijin.
paperwork to fulfill
Simply
the
type your
contract.
script to
He
get
signs the
started.
mercenary contract,
Welcome
and
to
so
the
his
new
request
era
is
of
just
video
underway.
creation with
Cotton informs him
Heijin.
about the priestess
Simply
and
type your
instructs the
script to
mercenary
get
to return
started.
tomorrow at the north
Welcome
exit.
to the new era
Junwoo,
of video
content with the
creation
meeting,
with Heijin.
decides to leave leave and begin his preparations for the mission, hoping to avoid any loose ends. The following day, a bunch of mercenaries are excited to find themselves teamed up with an A-rank mercenary. They're waiting for him approaching the north exit. Raymond is the first to extend his greetings to the A-rank mercenary. Junwoo introduces himself as Monte to conceal his identity. What he didn't predict was the fact that there are only 4 guards being sent on the mission. Junwoo wonders if the manager intentionally removed some of the guards from the mission because of his sudden participation. Instead of things going his way, Junwoo was the one who got fooled instead. The priestess who issued the request comes running and apologizes for being late. Clara, the priestess of the Luna Temple, is going to be in charge of the mission to the Forgotten Temple. Junwoo observes her messy outfit and wonders what happened on her way here. Clara glances at him and keeps staring without end. Junwoo wonders if she has detected something from him. He thinks it has to be out of intrigue, since A-rank mercenaries are considered rare in the village. It's time for the mercenaries to start the mission. Junwoo is immediately hit with a warning notification about his inferior level in a dangerous field. At night, the mercenaries discuss their mission strategy. They plan to stay at Camp 2 the upcoming day by taking a safer path without danger. Raymond agrees that it would indeed be the safest course of action, but then Junwoo comes in with a strong rejection. He insists on taking the shortcut and shares a knowledge of a secret cave that will help them arrive at the temple in less time. Raymond confronts the A-rank mercenary for not knowing the area better than they do. The risks involved in taking the shortcut are dangerous. Junwoo maintains his arrogant stance and claims that he knows better about the area. He suggests using the Dunville Forest to shorten the distance and reach the temple. Once again, Raymond meets him with frustration, and as the Dunville Forest is teeming with monsters that could risk their mission, Junwoo reflects that he's not choosing the path of his own will, but rather, it's because he has to. Otherwise, his disguise won't last very long. He has to maintain his act to fake his level 10 weak self, and this is the only way how. Junwoo intends to look strong and maintains his confidence. He breaks silence and declares that he will head to Camp 3, and that it would be better for the priestess to take the faster route. Junwoo asserts that he's uninterested in wasting time. Outside, he's showing off some mad confidence, but on the inside, he's scared shitless and realizes how annoyed the other mercenaries must be to listen to him. Junwoo consults Clara about her opinion. She's put on the spot and recommends getting there sooner, so she's okay with listening to Junwoo. She's happy to take the longer route on the way back. Raymond and the other mercenaries are forced to obey. They're expecting the hotshot A-ranker to handle all of the monsters in case things get difficult for them. Junwoo confirms that he's willing to do that. He's happy to have acquired Clara's support, turning the tide in his favor. The group goes to sleep to rest and recover for the upcoming mission. The next morning, Junwoo is beaten from his experience sleeping on the ground. Normally, it would cure all of his exhaustion if he was a player, but now that he's physically inside the game, the experience isn't as recovering as he thought it would be. In fact, he feels sluggish and drained. Raymond questions if they're going in the direction of the cave. Junwoo alerts them to be cautious of the nearby werewolf territory. Suddenly, Raymond starts drifting off on his own. Turns out he just wanted to take a piss, and he still seems upset about last night's discussion. Junwoo intends to use the situation to his favor. He recommends the mercenaries to take a break. Luck is not on Raymond's side. The dumbass was attacked by a giant werewolf and is getting his ass chased in the forest. Junwoo is happy that he got exactly what he deserved for ignoring his warnings. Scared like crap, Raymond runs for his life while the other mercenaries beg for Junwoo's help, who doesn't want to participate in the battle because Raymond acted against his warnings. They're annoyed by his attitude, while Junwoo recommends Clara to stay close to him. The mercenaries prepare to defeat the werewolf. This battle would serve as a good example of their skills and a chance for Junwoo to learn things. The fight starts off, and surprisingly, despite their D-rank status, they're good. They're all over level 100, and with just a slight difficulty, they're capable of defeating the werewolf in their numbered attacks. But the fight isn't over. Raymond was attacked by 2 werewolves, and not just one. The injured werewolf is nearing collapse, giving Junwoo the perfect opportunity to go and steal the kill and demonstrate his abilities. He thinks just one hint of his powers should be enough to make them believe in his strength. Junwoo steps forth to help the mercenaries. Even though they're doing okay, it's hard to kill werewolves because of their hidden skill that NPCs don't know about. Junwoo demands the lowly hunter to step aside. Raymond talks shit despite his precarious condition. He thinks he's won the battle, but clearly this idiot wasn't aware of the werewolf's hidden skills. The monster unleashes its outrage, crushing the D-rank hunter's shield in a single tackle. The mercenary is sent flying, but then Junwoo steps in and instantly dismantles the monster in a single attack. What they witnessed was impossible. While it seems like Junwoo is the one who dealt the killing blow, the reality is, he activated a secret move which became the weakness of the werewolf. Since werewolves are beast-type monsters, they are capable of using a berserk state before death. This increases their physical strength to another level, and boosts their endurance stats too. An effective way to defeat berserk monsters is to use the purifying herb. Junwoo coated his weapon with the herb's powers and simply used it to defeat the werewolf. He already knows everything about the monsters inside the game, so it was an easy task. Junwoo leans forward to kill the final werewolf. Despite their difference in levels, he can still overcome monsters by memorizing their movements. Junwoo dodges each attack, displaying his impressive combat ability, even at level 10. He anticipates the werewolf dashing in his direction. Junwoo causes the beast to hit its own head in a tree. Now that the monster is temporarily stunned, he can easily land the killing blow. One stab from the weapon is enough to kill the werewolf at once. He didn't have
Welcome
to
to
go
the
this
new
far,
era of
but
video
it was all
creation
done to
with
show his
Heijin.
power.
Simply
Werewolves
type your
always die
script
after
to
they
get
leave the
started.
berserk state.
Welcome
In
to the
reality,
new era
if
of
Junwoo
video
tried swinging his
creation with
weapon against a
Heijin.
normal werewolf
Simply
state
type your
instead of
script to
berserk,
get
then
started.
he wouldn't have been able to hit
Welcome to the
anything at
new
all.
era
The
of video
priestess heals the
creation
injured
with
mercenaries
Heijin.
thanks to her
Simply
powers.
type your script to
Junwoo
get
displays
started.
his concerns for
Welcome
Raymond's
to the
health
new
and
era of
apologizes
video
for choosing a
creation with
dangerous path.
Heijin. Simply
His
type your
humility,
script to
coupled
get
with an
started.
amazing performance,
Welcome to the
earns him
new
Raymond's
era of
respect.
video
They
creation
finally
with
believe in his
Heijin.
skills.
Simply
Dude
type
ended
your
up with
script to
Respect
get started.
1000 like he's in a
Welcome
Grand
to
Theft
the
Auto
new
game.
era of
At
video
last, they're
creation
finally
with
able to
Heijin.
uncover the hidden
Simply
cave,
type your
thanks to the
script to
A-rank
get
mercenaries'
started.
guidance.
Welcome to
Convinced
the
of his
new era
value,
of
they
video
started to treat him
creation
like a
with
hero.
Heijin.
They want
Simply
to hear
type your
all about his
script to get
amazing stories
started.
and how he
Welcome
acquired the
to the
Medal of
new
Honor.
era of
But he
video
thinks it is much too
creation
soon
with
to swing for
Heijin.
celebrations
Simply
when they're
type
still
your
stuck with
script
the
to get
mission.
started. Welcome
Junwoo
to the new
recommends spending
era
the
of
night
video
inside the safe
creation
cave.
with Heijin.
Junwoo accomplished a
Simply
bunch of
type
things
your
all at
script to
once.
get started.
The only thing that is still
Welcome to
bothering
the
me
new
is the
era of
game's
video
update.
creation with
This
Heijin.
guy knows every inch of the
Simply
game
type your
since he ended
script
up
to get
no-lifing
started.
his way to max
Welcome
level
to the
7
new
of his
era
main
of video
characters.
creation
But thanks
with
to this
Heijin.
update, all of
Simply
that
type
knowledge
your
and
script to
experience
get
could end up
started.
useless.
Welcome
So he
to
needs
the
to
new
plan for
era of
cases where
video
the game
creation
deviates
with
from the original.
Heijin.
It will be
Simply
difficult,
type your
but
script to get
Junwoo assures
started.
himself that he can do
Welcome
it.
to the
The
new
following
era of
day,
video
he displays
creation
more
with
of his impressive
Heijin.
talents by
Simply
taking down
type
the
your
Ents
script to get
monsters.
started.
The hunters think it's
Welcome
because
to
of
the
his
new
raw
era
skill,
of video
but this
creation
smartass
with
has been
Heijin.
secretly using a plant
Simply
disease
type your
potion
script to
to
get
knock out the
started.
Ents in a single
Welcome
attack.
to the new
Bro
era
is
of
crying
video
because he can't
creation with
utilize the
Heijin.
experience points as
Simply
his
type
character
your
has
script
yet
to
to
get
establish a
started.
proper class.
Welcome to the
Despite the
new
plant
era
killing
of video
potion, the
creation
monsters
with
still attack the
Heijin.
mercenaries.
Simply
He
type your
recommends
script
Rika
to
to
get
parry their
started.
attacks instead of
Welcome to
directly
the
blocking
new
with a
era of
shield.
video
Junwoo
creation with
instructs Raymond to
Heijin.
concentrate on
Simply
attacking the
type your
enemy
script to get
relentlessly while
started.
they're in an abnormal
Welcome to
state.
the new
It's
era
all going
of video
swimmingly well for the
creation with
mercenaries,
Heijin.
who are succeeding
Simply
thanks to
type your
Junwoo's
script to
expert
get
knowledge.
started.
At last,
Welcome to the
they
new
arrive
era
under the
of
shade of
video
a great tree.
creation with Heijin.
Junwoo
Simply
inspects the
type your
surroundings
script
and
to get
finds what he's
started.
looking for.
Welcome to the new
Their goal
era
is to
of
enter the
video
narrow
creation
hole,
with
a
Heijin.
shortcut to the Forbidden
Simply
Temple.
type your script to get started.
Raymond and the others are
Welcome
uncertain.
to the new
They're
era
scared
of
they might
video
get stuck.
creation with Heijin.
Junwoo alerts
Simply
Clara to
type
be
your
careful.
script to get
She's
started.
getting swooned by his
Welcome
charm,
to the
but
new
his
era
warning
of
wasn't just
video
a light one.
creation with
They're
Heijin.
really supposed to fall
Simply
down.
type your
Junwoo
script to get
descends with the
started.
priestess, who
Welcome
screams
to
all
the
the way
new
in
era
fear.
of video
The
creation
horror
with
trip
Heijin.
ends with both of them
Simply
landing
type your
directly
script to
inside the
get
Forbidden
started.
Temple.
Welcome
Raymond and
to
the
the
others
new
quickly
era
follow
of
them
video
too.
creation
Clara
with
is speechless
Heijin.
seeing the ancient
Simply
murals.
type your script
In
to
the
get
original
started.
game, these murals
Welcome
serve
to
a
the new
specific
era
purpose
of
to
video
reveal clues about
creation
the
with
main
Heijin.
storyline. It's
Simply
about the
type
fight
your
between
script to
Luna
get
and the evil
started.
god who worshipped
Welcome
the
to the
demon
new
god.
era of video
Luna faced him as the
creation with
moon goddess of
Heijin.
the realm.
Simply
Raymond
type your
points to a
script to
unique
get
mural
started.
about knighthood.
Welcome
This
to the
particular
new
mural
era of
catches
video
Junwoo's
creation
attention,
with
who is
Heijin.
scared to find that
Simply
this
type
mural
your
is
script
different
to
from
get
the original
started.
story he
Welcome
remembers.
to the new
Reminiscing
era
with
of
the
video
events of the
creation
storyline,
with
the
Heijin.
Golden Knight is the
Simply
same
type
person
your
that was
script
seen
to
in the
get
trailer.
started.
Clara
Welcome
explains
to
that
the
they're
new
reading a
era of
prophecy
video
that has yet to come
creation with
true.
Heijin.
She saw much of it in
Simply
the temple,
type your
but
script to
didn't
get
expect to
started.
find one in a tunnel
Welcome
such
to
as
the
this
new
one.
era of
Clara
video
also serves the
creation
moon
with
goddess Luna,
Heijin.
so Junwoo is
Simply
interested
type
in
your
what she has
script
to
to get
share.
started.
The scripture is
Welcome
written
to
in a
the
dead
new
ancient
era of
language,
video
but thankfully
creation
Clara
with
knows it.
Heijin.
She
Simply
translates a
type
warning
your
from
script
Luna,
to get
which directly
started.
states the end of the
Welcome
world.
to the new
It's
era
exactly the
of
same
video
as the first line
creation
of the
with
game's trailer
Heijin.
song.
Simply
Junwoo is
type
now
your
dead
script to
certain the
get
Forbidden
started.
Temple will contain a
Welcome
unique
to the
event,
new
an
era of
event that
video
not even he
creation with
experienced before.
Heijin.
Despite his
Simply
worst
type your
fears,
script to
he has
get
to pedal
started.
through and move forward.
Welcome to the new era
Otherwise,
of
he
video
has no hope in
creation with
surviving the game's
Heijin.
world. He
Simply
commands
type
the
your
group to
script
head
to get
inside the temple.
started.
As they're
Welcome
making
to
their
the
way to
new
the
era
temple,
of video
they're astonished to
creation with
find a unique
Heijin.
path.
Simply
The golden
type your
statue of the
script to get
armored knight is the
started.
same person
Welcome
depicted
to
in
the
the
new
trailer
era
as
of
well as the
video
mural from
creation with
earlier.
Heijin.
Carla
Simply
admires the
type
beauty
your
of the
script to
statue
get
while Junwoo
started.
is cautious that it
Welcome
might
to the
start
new
moving.
era of video
Obviously, this
creation with
idiot is just
Heijin.
guessing.
Simply
Carla
type your
confirms that there
script
won't
to
be
get
any
started.
problems ahead as the
Welcome to
higher-ups
the new
already
era
confirmed
of
the
video
area's safety.
creation with
But it's still
Heijin.
strange sounding to
Simply type
Junwoo,
your script
who
to
knows
get
that if the
started.
statue really
Welcome
becomes the
to the
guardian
new
of the
era of
temple,
video
then he's about to
creation
get
with
destroyed
Heijin.
with his current party.
Simply type your
More like
script to get
obliterated
started.
even. The system
Welcome to
informs
the
him
new
about the
era
new
of
area.
video
The
creation
first condition
with
of the quest
Heijin.
has been completed
Simply
by
type
escorting
your
the
script to
priestess to
get
safety.
started.
Carla
Welcome
thanks
to
the
the
group
new
for being
era of
patient with
video
her.
creation
The most
with
difficult
Heijin.
part of the job is
Simply
finished.
type your
But
script to
Junwoo
get
came here with
started.
something else planned in
Welcome to the
mind.
new
His
era
job
of video
promotion is still needed
creation
to be
with
taken care
Heijin.
of. From
Simply
out of the
type
blue,
your
the
script to get
promotion scroll
started.
begins
Welcome
illuminating
to
an
the new
activation.
era of
The
video
system tells him
creation
that
with
he has reached the
Heijin.
hidden condition.
Simply type
In
your
response
script
to
to
the
get
hidden scroll,
started.
the entire
Welcome to
temple
the new
shakes as
era
the
of
golden
video
statue of the
creation
knight
with
shatters into a
Heijin.
million pieces.
Simply type your
From
script to
underneath
get
emerges a
started.
shadow monster that
Welcome to
neither
the
of the
new
party
era
members
of video
expected to face.
creation with
The Dark
Heijin.
Warrior steps
Simply
forth,
type your
donning a black
script to
metal
get
armor.
started.
They aren't just
Welcome
facing
to the
any
new
guardian.
era of
Rather,
video
this
creation
guy is
with
strong enough to
Heijin.
give level 300
Simply type your
adventurers a
script
really
to get
difficult
started.
time. He's the
Welcome to
cursed
the
knight
new
of
era
death.
of video
Junwoo is in a
creation
pickle.
with Heijin.
This type of creature
Simply
shouldn't be
type your
spawning in a
script to
lower
get
level area
started.
after all.
Welcome to the
Facing the
new
Death
era
Knight,
of video
Junwoo questions their
creation with
chances.
Heijin.
His
Simply
experience as a
type your
no-lifer
script to
gaming
get
loser
started.
leads him to believe
Welcome
that
to
there
the
is some
new
other
era of
goal
video
instead of
creation
confronting the
with
monster
Heijin.
directly.
Simply type
After
your
all,
script to get
each hidden
started.
quest is connected to
Welcome
some
to the
kind of
new era
background
of
story.
video
That
creation
means there
with
has to be another
Heijin.
way to solve the
Simply
quest instead
type
of
your
defeating the
script to
Death
get
Knight in
started.
battle. Suddenly,
Welcome to
his
the
book
new
of
era
promotion
of video
activates again,
creation with
forcing the
Heijin.
beginning of the hidden
Simply
quest.
type your
The
script to
mission
get
is to obtain
started.
the blade of the Death
Welcome
Knight.
to the new
It's
era of
exactly
video
the glimmer of
creation
hope he
with
was looking
Heijin.
for. When
Simply
searching for the
type your
game's
script
forum,
to get
Junwoo
started.
once stumbled upon a
Welcome to
guide
the
to
new
defeat the
era
Death
of
Knight
video
easily.
creation
Its
with
main
Heijin.
weakness is holy magic,
Simply type
so
your
if they have
script to
even
get
one
started.
priest-level NPC,
Welcome to the new
casting a
era
shield
of
should be
video
enough to cause the
creation with
Death Knight to
Heijin.
enter a stun state.
Simply type
Then,
your script
the
to
knight
get
will attempt to
started.
break the shield,
Welcome
which
to
will
the
skip
new
the
era
initial
of
battle.
video creation
Junwoo go
with
S for the
Heijin.
same exact
Simply
strategy with
type your
Clara.
script to get
The Death
started.
Knight unleashes its
Welcome to the
furious
new
flames to
era of
destroy
video
them.
creation
Clara is
with
worried for
Heijin.
Junwoo, who
Simply
instructs
type
her to
your
prepare
script
her
to
holy
get
shield at
started.
once. This
Welcome
mission
to
is
the new
supposed to become
era
the
of
key to
video
his hidden
creation
promotion,
with Heijin.
and they are perfectly
Simply
fitting
type your
Junwoo's
script
rank.
to get
Carla
started.
advises Junwoo
Welcome
not
to
to
the
fight
new
against the
era of
high-level
video
knight, as it
creation
could
with
prove to be
Heijin.
dangerous for him.
Simply
But
type
he
your script to
insists
get
that there's no
started.
choice but to
Welcome
cast the
to the
shield
new era of
before
video
it inevitably
creation
lays
with
waste
Heijin.
to every single
Simply
one of them.
type your script to get started.
Despite her hesitation,
Welcome to the new
Clara
era
steals her
of video
resolve and
creation
pours
with
her holy
Heijin.
magic inside
Simply
her spear.
type your script
When the
to get
spear is
started.
ready, she confronts
Welcome
the
to
Death
the
Knight.
new era of
Junwoo
video
helps her lead a
creation
precise
with
strike.
Heijin.
And at
Simply
last,
type your
Clara
script
casts
to get
the holy
started.
shield upon the Dark
Welcome
Warrior,
to the new era
entrapping
of
him in a
video
ball of yellow
creation with
magic energy.
Heijin.
Clara is
Simply
shocked
type
by
your
Junwoo's
script to get
impressive
started.
skills, which leads her to
Welcome to the
wonder about
new
his
era of
identity.
video
The battle
creation
has yet
with
to finish,
Heijin.
as the Death
Simply
Knight frees
type your
himself from the
script to get
prison of holy
started.
magic.
Welcome
But
to the
also,
new
the
era
first
of
phase of
video
the fight has been
creation
skipped
with Heijin.
instantly, forcing
Simply
them to
type
enter
your
the second
script to
phase of
get
the boss
started.
monster. For
Welcome
this
to the
phase,
new
the
era
Death
of
Knight
video
unleashes its
creation
giant
with
blades
Heijin.
targeting the ground.
Simply type
Ignoring
your
Clara's
script to
warning,
get started.
Junwoo shouts a question
Welcome
at
to
the
the
knight,
new
once
era
again
of video
fulfilling a condition of
creation
the
with
quest.
Heijin.
There's something
Simply
special about
type
the
your
Death
script
Knight.
to get
It is
started.
different from normal
Welcome to the
NPCs in
new
the
era
game.
of
The
video
monster is
creation
capable of
with
speech,
Heijin.
and thus a
Simply
connection between
type your
Junwoo
script
and the
to
Death
get
Knight is
started.
formed. Our
Welcome
pro
to the
gamer
new era
protagonist
of
is
video
betting his life to
creation with
gaslight the Death
Heijin.
Knight with a
Simply
convincing
type your
story.
script to
Everything
get
connects
started.
just like the
Welcome
clues.
to the new era
They
of
have entered
video
inside the trailer
creation with
video of the
Heijin.
game.
Simply
Madame
type your
Dark was
script
the
to get
holy knight of
started.
golden armor.
Welcome to
She
the
waited
new
for her
era of
messenger to
video
return with
creation with
reinforcements.
Heijin.
In a tragic
Simply
end,
type
the
your
messenger
script
never
to get
returned,
started.
causing Lady
Welcome
Dark
to
to
the
become a
new
Death
era
Knight
of
while the
video
messenger became a
creation
lost
with
spirit.
Heijin.
With all
Simply
puzzle
type
pieces
your
now
script to
connected,
get
Junwoo
started.
calls out Dark's name
Welcome
and
to the
fools her
new
by
era
claiming
of
to be the
video
messenger.
creation with
Proof of his
Heijin.
identity is
Simply
evident by the
type
Medal
your
of Honor
script to
that he
get
possesses.
started.
The Death
Welcome
Knight
to the
pauses
new
before
era
kneeling
of video
down,
creation with
congratulating Junwoo
Heijin.
for his performance.
Simply type
The
your
dude is
script to
actually
get
shocked that he
started.
made it this far
Welcome to
and
the
gained
new era
allegiance to
of
the Death
video
Knight of the Holy
creation with
Empire.
Heijin.
Dark explains
Simply
that they
type
were
your
eventually
script to
defeated
get
and the
started.
Holy Empire
Welcome
fell.
to the
She
new
waited for
era
a
of
long
video
time for her
creation
messenger to
with
return,
Heijin.
with most of her
Simply type your
comrades fading
script
into
to get
non-existence.
started. Welcome
She
to the
mentioned a
new
bunch of their
era of
names,
video
but one name
creation
in
with
particular
Heijin.
was censored for a
Simply
reason.
type your script
Junwoo
to
thinks
get
it will serve a
started.
purpose,
Welcome
and
to the
wonders if
new
he has
era
yet to
of
meet a
video
specific
creation
condition.
with Heijin.
In what little time
Simply
he
type
has,
your script to
Junwoo
get
thinks about the
started.
final clue,
Welcome to
while
the
Dark
new
prepares
era
her
of video
blade.
creation
She
with
has rekindled
Heijin.
her flames of
Simply type
determination.
your script to
Dark
get
grazes
started.
Junwoo with her
Welcome
blade,
to the new era
recreating
of
the
video
exact mural that
creation
he
with
saw.
Heijin.
The clues
Simply type
encircle
your
his
script
mind.
to get started.
Throughout this time,
Welcome to the new
Junwoo
era of
overlooked one
video
critical
creation
detail.
with Heijin.
It was the trailer
Simply
song's
type your
lyrics.
script to
Dark
get
wasn't
started.
just waiting for
Welcome
reinforcements
to
to
the new
arrive,
era of
but
video
also grieving
creation
in
with
hopes of her
Heijin.
loved messenger to
Simply
return.
type your
The
script
Holy
to
Knight
get
Dark
started.
longed for the return of
Welcome
someone
to
she
the new
loved.
era of video
Junwoo has acquired
creation
the
with
last clue.
Heijin.
This person
Simply
is
type
connected
your
to the final
script to get
piece.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome
remembers
to
how
the
he
new
acquired
era
the
of
A-rank
video
mercenary
creation
medallion.
with Heijin.
The temple in which he
Simply
found the
type
medal
your
was
script
linked
to
to the
get
ancient
started.
Holy Empire.
Welcome to
So
the
when the
new
game was
era of
updated,
video
the same
creation
item
with
found a new
Heijin.
purpose.
Simply
Dark
type
ended
your
up as a
script to get
cursed knight,
started.
transcending
Welcome
death
to the
and
new
waiting
era
even
of
beyond.
video
He
creation
shows her
with
the
Heijin.
medallion, questioning
Simply
if this is
type
the
your
final
script to
condition.
get started.
At once, the Dark
Welcome
fidgets
to the
as her
new
armor
era
tethers
of video
away.
creation
The final
with
condition
Heijin.
has been met,
Simply
freeing the
type your
Golden
script
Knight.
to get
She
started.
questions if her lover
Welcome
still
to
has
the new
affection for
era
her,
of video
despite her
creation
path
with
filled with
Heijin.
cursed blood and her
Simply
body no
type your
longer the
script to
same.
get started. Welcome
Junwoo
to the
doesn't
new
get how he's
era of
supposed to
video
respond to her.
creation with
Dark
Heijin.
claims that her very
Simply
being
type
trembles
your
in his
script to get
presence.
started.
Even though Junwoo
Welcome
isn't the
to the
person
new
she
era
yearned
of
for all
video
this time,
creation with Heijin.
he has returned as a
Simply type
messenger
your
to
script
return
to
the
get
final
started.
medallion of the fallen
Welcome
warrior.
to the new
With her
era
shaking
of video
hands, Dark
creation
embraces
with
the
Heijin.
medallion,
Simply
begging
type
God to
your
be kind
script
to
to
her
get
lover and
started.
grant him a place in
Welcome
heaven.
to the new
From his
era
light,
of video
dark finds her
creation
own.
with Heijin.
And finally, the
Simply
story of the
type your
fallen holy
script to
knight
get
is
started.
completed. Junwoo
Welcome to
receives
the
the
new
ancient
era
death
of
sword as his
video
reward.
creation with Heijin.
The system adds a new
Simply
trait to his
type your
body
script to
and
get
reconfigures
started.
it completely.
Welcome to the
Junwoo
new
finds
era
himself
of
glitching
video
out of the game
creation
before
with
the game
Heijin.
level shatters to
Simply
oblivion.
type your
He
script to
regains
get
consciousness
started.
in his normal body
Welcome
in
to
the
the
real
new
world.
era of video
Junwoo is actually
creation with
shocked and
Heijin.
thinks that everything
Simply
was just
type
a
your
dream,
script
as
to
there was
get
no way the
started.
game could end up
Welcome
becoming
to the new
reality.
era of
He
video
experienced so much
creation with
fun,
Heijin.
to the point he is
Simply
depressed
type
that his
your
dream
script to
ended.
get started.
Suddenly, the real
Welcome
Junwoo
to the
wakes up
new
from his
era of
slumber.
video
Turns out the
creation
guy
with
was dreaming
Heijin.
about his dream.
Simply
He's
type
still
your
stuck in the
script to
game.
get started.
Clara and the others have
Welcome
come
to
for
the
him.
new era
They're
of
so
video
happy that he
creation
returned
with
after defeating the
Heijin.
monster by
Simply
himself.
type your
It's not
script to
something
get
to be proud
started.
of, especially
Welcome
when
to
these
the new
imbeciles
era
ended
of
up running
video
away from the
creation
fight.
with Heijin.
Junwoo wants to enjoy
Simply
his rest
type
in
your script
silence
to
and
get
throws him out of
started.
the camp.
Welcome to the
Inside,
new
he
era of
inspects the
video
ancient death
creation
sword
with
with a level
Heijin.
limit of 350.
Simply type your
He's
script to get
confused about the
started.
weapon's special
Welcome
restriction
to the new
status.
era of
Just
video
like he thought,
creation with
the game has
Heijin.
experienced a bunch
Simply
of different
type your
changes
script to
because
get
of the recent
started.
update.
Welcome
The only
to the
thing he
new
discovered
era
so
of
far is
video
the story's
creation
connection
with
to the
Heijin.
ancient Holy Empire.
Simply type your
Junwoo is at
script
a
to get
loss,
started.
because everything he knew
Welcome
up
to
to
the
this
new
point
era
won't be
of
useful to
video
him by much,
creation with Heijin.
especially if changes
Simply
keep
type
popping
your
up out of the
script to
blue.
get started.
He wants to stay
Welcome
sharp on
to
his
the
feet
new
to ensure
era
he
of
lives
video
through the end.
creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
exits the camp and
Simply
sees
type your
Clara.
script to
He
get
tells her to
started.
return home with the other
Welcome to the
mercenaries
new
because he
era
has a
of
solo
video
mission to finish at
creation
the
with
altar.
Heijin.
Back at the altar,
Simply type your
Junwoo
script to
configures the
get
promotion
started.
scroll.
Welcome
It's
to the
finally
new
time for him to
era of
receive the
video
benefits of his
creation
class
with
change.
Heijin.
The system has been
Simply type your
satisfied with
script
every
to get
condition,
started.
which leads to an
Welcome to
immediate
the new
promotion.
era of video
It is covered by a
creation
thick
with
void of
Heijin.
energy that the Death
Simply
Knight
type
used
your
with her
script to
weapon.
get started.
At long
Welcome
last,
to the new
Junwoo's
era of
promotion
video
meets its
creation
completion.
with Heijin.
His new profession is the
Simply
forgotten
type your
swordsman
script to
with the
get
capacity
started.
to grow.
Welcome to the new
Speaking of
era of
growth,
video
Junwoo
creation with
experiences 3
Heijin.
instant level
Simply
ups.
type your
This is
script
thanks
to
to
get
the experience
started.
points he
Welcome
gathered
to
after
the new
defeating the
era of
monsters in
video
the forest.
creation with
What's
Heijin.
more, is that
Simply
he's never
type
heard
your
of this
script to
unique
get
job title
started.
before. It's an
Welcome to the
ordinary
new
ranked
era
job,
of
so
video
maybe his
creation
expectations
with
were too
Heijin.
high, and he
Simply
still
type
doesn't know
your
what
script to
growth
get
type
started.
even means for his
Welcome
case.
to the new
Clara
era
comes
of
back to
video
him and
creation
requests
with
they head back to the
Heijin.
village,
Simply
but she
type
wasn't
your script
expecting
to
to
get
find him in a
started.
pensive state.
Welcome to the new era
Junwoo
of
assures
video
her that
creation
everything's
with
all right and
Heijin.
decides to return
Simply
together
type
with
your
the group.
script to get
After a long
started.
journey, our hero
Welcome to the
returns to
new
Avra
era of
village.
video
Raymond thinks
creation
that the
with
struggles they
Heijin.
went through in the
Simply
forest were
type
all
your
a part of
script to get
Junwoo's training.
started. Welcome
Little
to the
does he
new
know,
era
our
of
boy
video
was just acting
creation
for
with
his own
Heijin.
benefit.
Simply
He's
type your
excited to
script
reap
to
the
get
rewards by
started.
checking in with the
Welcome
guild,
to the new
but
era
Junwoo
of
didn't
video
come here looking for
creation
one,
with Heijin.
so he took his early
Simply
leave.
type your
The
script
priestess
to get
stops him and
started.
explains that the Church
Welcome
of
to
Luna
the
is
new
compelled
era
to
of
grant him a
video
reward
creation with
despite his initial
Heijin.
negotiation.
Simply type your
Raymond backs
script
him
to
up
get
and casually
started.
invites him to a
Welcome
drink
to the
too,
new
which
era of
means he's all
video
buddy-buddy with
creation
this
with
guy.
Heijin.
Still,
Simply type
Junwoo
your
impressively
script to
formed a
get
good
started.
connection with his new
Welcome
team,
to the
but
new
he has
era of
important
video
matters to take care
creation
of
with
and leaves
Heijin.
without sharing a drink.
Simply type
His
your
fake
script to
identity
get
imposes a
started.
certain risk
Welcome
that
to
he
the
doesn't
new
want to
era
let
of
loose and
video
exposed by growing
creation with
closer to these
Heijin.
guys.
Simply
Raymond and
type
the
your
rest of his
script
party
to
are
get
left
started.
saddened, but ultimately
Welcome to the
accept his
new
decision.
era of video
Junwoo returns
creation with
home,
Heijin.
no longer feeling the need
Simply
to
type
adopt his
your
hood.
script to get
He's
started.
already cautious of his
Welcome
next
to the
objective.
new era
The
of
reason he
video
was so worried
creation
about
with
achieving a
Heijin.
promotion is
Simply
because
type your
Junwoo knows
script to
about
get
the incoming
started.
monster wave that will
Welcome to
attack
the
the
new
village.
era of
His
video
status window
creation with
displays a bunch of
Heijin.
different stats.
Simply type your
Thanks to his
script to get
experience in the
started.
forest,
Welcome
Junwoo is
to
at
the
level
new era
35,
of video
but he has a job
creation
he
with
knows nothing
Heijin.
about. His
Simply
only clue
type
is
your
that it
script
must be
to get
related to the
started.
Death Knight herself.
Welcome to the
After
new
all,
era of
the
video
red energy from the
creation with
promotion
Heijin.
scroll matched her
Simply
powers.
type your script
A
to
bad
get
feeling
started.
succumbs Junwoo,
Welcome to the
who
new
tries to
era
assure
of video
himself. He's
creation
had the
with
experience
Heijin.
of leveling up
Simply
characters
type
that
your
he didn't
script
know
to get
about.
started.
All 7
Welcome
of his
to the
max
new
level
era of
characters
video
experience the
creation
same
with
hurdles, in
Heijin.
fact.
Simply
Well, the
type
problem
your
now
script
is
to
that
get
he's leveling
started.
up the real deal
Welcome
with
to the
stakes
new
involved.
era of
It's
video
important to
creation
withstand
with
the wrath of
Heijin.
the monster wave,
Simply
and so
type your
that's
script to
Junwoo's
get
next line of
started.
focus. He
Welcome
starts
to the
off by
new era
inspecting
of
his newest
video
skill that he
creation
received
with
from the
Heijin.
promotion.
Simply
Pledge of
type your
Liberation
script
is a
to get
level 1
started.
skill with a
Welcome to the
condition-based
new era
effect.
of video
If the
creation
target
with
accepts the
Heijin.
truce, all
Simply
their
type
health
your
will be
script to get
consumed,
started.
and they will become
Welcome
enslaved
to the
to the
new
caster.
era of video
For
creation
now,
with Heijin.
he can only adopt
Simply
one
type your
contractor.
script to get
It's a
started.
weird skill with too many
Welcome to
risks
the new
involved at
era
face
of
value.
video
Its
creation
main
with
effect is to
Heijin.
siphon the stats
Simply
of
type
others,
your script
and
to
it
get
definitely
started.
won't work on targets
Welcome
much
to the
stronger.
new era
At
of
the same
video
time,
creation
using
with
it on weaker
Heijin.
targets would be
Simply
pointless.
type your
The
script
second
to
skill
get
he acquired
started.
is called Slash.
Welcome to the new
This one
era
is a
of
sword
video
skill, but it's just
creation
way
with
too basic.
Heijin.
It's so
Simply
basic
type
that
your
Junwoo is
script to
losing
get
his damn
started.
mind even calling it a
Welcome to the
typical
new
skill.
era of video
In an
creation
unexpected
with
twist,
Heijin.
red energy
Simply
emerges
type
from
your
within
script to
Junwoo's
get
body.
started.
It's the same
Welcome
energy
to
that
the new
emanated
era
from the
of
Death
video
Knight. The
creation
system
with
informs him
Heijin.
that his skills
Simply
change
type your
depending on the
script to
state he
get
is in.
started.
That
Welcome
means,
to the new
if
era
Junwoo
of video
experiences anger and
creation with
frustration,
Heijin.
the normal skill
Simply type
Slash
your
changes
script to
into
get
something else.
started.
Adopting
Welcome
the
to the
emotion of
new
anger,
era of
the
video
skill stats
creation
boosted.
with Heijin.
The evolution
Simply
conditions are
type
also
your
listed
script
to
to get
ensure a steady
started.
path of progress.
Welcome to the new
Junwoo
era
is
of
beginning
video
to grasp an
creation with
understanding of
Heijin.
his unique growth
Simply
skill.
type your
His
script
basic
to get
skills are
started.
subject to evolve,
Welcome
which
to the
means his
new era
potential
of
is sky
video
high.
creation with Heijin.
Junwoo also possesses a
Simply
special
type your
item
script
called
to
the
get
Essence of
started.
Fire. It's an
Welcome to
item
the
with an
new era
increased
of
drop
video
probability when
creation with
defeating higher
Heijin.
level monsters.
Simply type your
Junwoo's goal
script
is
to
to
get
level up and
started.
increase his skills
Welcome to the
proficiency
new
so
era
that he
of
can at
video
least get to level
creation with
50 before the
Heijin.
monster wave
Simply
hits the
type your
village.
script
Our
to
boy
get
quickly
started.
takes action and
Welcome
defeats
to
the
the new
armored turtle
era of
monster,
video
much
creation
stronger
with
than his current
Heijin.
level.
Simply
These types
type
of
your
monsters
script to
are
get
pretty weak
started.
and and sluggish,
Welcome to the
making
new
them an
era
easy
of
kill
video
as long as you
creation
dodge
with
their attacks.
Heijin. Simply
Junwoo
type your
dodges one of its
script to get
attacks and
started.
goes for the killing blow.
Welcome to the new
The level
era of
difference isn't
video
hard to
creation
overcome
with
as long as he
Heijin.
knows about the
Simply
weaknesses
type
and
your
attack
script to
patterns
get
of his
started.
enemies. He levels
Welcome
up
to
to
the new
36,
era of
and
video
though he could have finished
creation
the
with
fight much
Heijin.
faster with a better
Simply
weapon,
type your script
Junwoo
to get
can't use
started.
anything in his inventory
Welcome to
because
the
of his
new
level
era of
restrictions.
video creation
Basically,
with
he's too weak
Heijin.
to use them.
Simply type
But it's
your
okay
script
for
to
this
get
no-lifer
started.
who leveled up
Welcome
7
to the
characters
new
to
era
max.
of video
You
creation
can only
with
imagine
Heijin.
that this type of training
Simply
is light
type
work
your
to him.
script to get
All
started.
he has to do is grind
Welcome
his way
to
to
the
the
new
top.
era of video
Junwoo increases
creation
his
with
swordsmanship
Heijin.
proficiency with
Simply
every
type your
encounter.
script to get
After
started.
hours spent in tireless
Welcome to the
training,
new
he
era
stands
of video
exhausted, having
creation
finally
with
conquered
Heijin.
level 50.
Simply type
Corpses
your
of the
script to
armored
get
turtles lay
started.
wasted around
Welcome
him,
to the
as
new
that was
era
the
of
cost to
video
clear the
creation
mission.
with Heijin.
Satisfied with his current
Simply
level,
type your script
Junwoo
to
is
get
happy to
started.
retrieve the item from his
Welcome to the
warehouse,
new era of
concluding his
video
preparations
creation
for the
with
incoming
Heijin.
monster wave.
Simply
The
type
system
your script
informs
to
him of
get
a local
started.
quest to stop the
Welcome to
monster
the new
wave by
era
helping
of
the
video
villagers.
creation
Only
with
5 minutes
Heijin.
remain. Back at
Simply
the
type
village,
your
the
script
village
to get
guards are
started.
preparing for yet another
Welcome to
monster
the
wave
new era
invasion.
of video
An
creation
entire
with
platoon of hungry
Heijin.
monsters are
Simply
coming their
type
way.
your script to
The
get
archers
started.
unleash their first column
Welcome
of
to the
arrows,
new era
raining
of
down on
video
many of the
creation
monsters
with
and severely
Heijin.
wounding them.
Simply
The
type
next
your
phase of
script
action
to
is
get
to activate
started.
the shield bearers.
Welcome to the
These
new
men are
era of
responsible
video
for blocking
creation
and
with
defending
Heijin.
against the incoming
Simply
monsters.
type your script
They
to
do their
get
best to
started.
surround and stop the
Welcome to
monsters
the
from
new
stepping
era
foot
of video
inside the village.
creation with
Next,
Heijin.
the leader tells his
Simply
spearman
type
group
your
to prepare
script to
for an
get
attack.
started.
Suddenly,
Welcome to
a
the new
warrior
era
cloaked
of
in red
video
arrives at the
creation
front
with
lines,
Heijin.
cutting apart the
Simply type
monsters
your
in a
script
single
to get
slash.
started.
This
Welcome to the
mysterious
new
warrior
era
is
of
revealed to
video
be our hero,
creation with
Junwoo,
Heijin.
who also
Simply
happens to be
type
the
your
famous
script to get
A-ranked
started.
mercenary. Seeing
Welcome
him
to
on the
the new
battlefield
era
has
of
ignited
video
the hopes of the
creation
village
with
guards.
Heijin.
They offer
Simply
his
type your
gratitude.
script to get
The leader of the
started.
guards seems to
Welcome
find
to
his
the
face
new
a bit
era of
familiar,
video
which
creation
startles
with
Junwoo.
Heijin.
He remembers
Simply
first
type
meeting
your
the same
script to get
NPC at the
started.
beginning.
Welcome to the new era of video creation with Heijin.
The guard thanks him for helping them out.
Simply type your script to get started.
An A-rank
Welcome
mercenary
to the
is an
new
amazing
era of
support to
video
the villagers.
creation with Heijin.
They're happy to lend him a hand in the battle
Type your
ahead.
script to get
Junwoo
started.
likes what he's hearing,
Welcome to
even
the
though
new
every
era
monster
of
in the
video
upcoming wave is
creation with
double his
Heijin.
current level.
Simply type
Still,
your script
he's
to get
figured out a
started.
solution for that
Welcome
too.
to the new
After
era
activating
of
the lens
video
of certainty,
creation with
Junwoo can
Heijin.
see the health bars
Simply
of the weaker
type your
monsters.
script to get
This
started.
smartass targets only the
Welcome to
weaker
the new
monsters
era of
and
video
annihilates them in the
creation
final
with
attack.
Heijin.
As a show of
Simply
strength,
type your script
Junwoo
to get
slices and
started.
dices all the weaker
Welcome to the
monsters in
new
his
era
path.
of video
Just like his
creation
A-rank
with
status,
Heijin.
the village guards
Simply
are
type your
impressed by his
script to get
fearless attacks,
started.
which are
Welcome to
powerful
the
enough
new
to beat
era
any
of video
monster in his way.
creation with Heijin.
What they don't know
Simply
is that
type
he's
your script to
cherry-picking
get
only the
started.
weakest monsters.
Welcome to the
Junwoo
new era
lunges for
of
an
video
aerial strike and
creation
cuts
with
down on another
Heijin.
monster.
Simply
It is
type your
required that he
script to
deals
get
the finishing
started.
blow,
Welcome
because
to the
unlike his
new era
previous
of
mission with
video
the party,
creation with
this mission
Heijin.
can't grant him any
Simply type
rewards
your
or
script to
experience
get
points
started.
without his participation.
Welcome to the new
Junwoo is
era
able
of
to use
video
his sword with
creation with
precision,
Heijin.
impressing the village
Simply
guards even
type
more.
your script to
They're
get
glazing the
started.
heck out of him, but they
Welcome
don't know
to
the
the
dude
new
is fooling
era
their
of video
asses. He
creation
spots a
with
berserk
Heijin.
werewolf and
Simply
happily takes
type
his
your
shot
script
by
to
killing
get
the monster
started.
in a single attack.
Welcome to the new era of
Junwoo
video
levels up as a
creation with
consequence and even
Heijin.
kills another monster
Simply
to save a
type your
guard's
script
life.
to get
His
started.
experience points keep
Welcome to
racking
the
up
new
one
era
after the
of
other.
video creation
Junwoo is
with
annoyed about the
Heijin.
status window
Simply
and turns
type
it
your
off to stop
script to
getting
get
distracted.
started.
He
Welcome
steps
to the
into the
new
fight,
era of
this
video
time setting his eyes
creation
on
with
5
Heijin.
insect-type
Simply
monsters
type your
with less
script
than
to get
10%
started.
health remaining.
Welcome
It's
to
an
the
easy
new
kill,
era of
the
video
ideal prey.
creation with Heijin.
So he launches a
Simply
full-scale
type
attack
your script to
and with
get
a single
started.
sword swing
Welcome
causes
to the
heavy
new
damage.
era of video
The
creation
village
with
guard is
Heijin.
worried for him since
Simply
Junwoo's
type your
previous
script
attack
to get
didn't kill the
started.
monster, but
Welcome
he's
to the
prepared
new
for that
era of
possibility
video
too.
creation with
He strikes
Heijin.
down a second,
Simply
and then a
type your
third
script to
insect
get
monster
started.
with such grace that
Welcome
it
to
makes
the
it
new
seem
era of
effortless.
video
After
creation
taking
with
down the fourth
Heijin.
and fifth
Simply
insect
type
class
your
monster,
script to get
a smile
started.
forms on his face,
Welcome to the
followed
new
by a
era of
giant
video
explosion of
creation
magic,
with
shocking the
Heijin.
guards again with
Simply
his
type your
powers.
script to
They
get
weren't
started.
expecting this mercenary
Welcome
to
to the
also
new
wield the
era of
powers of a
video
competent
creation
mage.
with
When the
Heijin.
smoke clears,
Simply
Junwoo
type your
stands with
script
his
to get
reputation
started.
higher than ever.
Welcome to the
Back when he
new era
concluded
of
his
video
training,
creation
Junwoo
with
capably
Heijin.
leveled up his sword
Simply
proficiency
type
to
your
100.
script to get
He
started.
unlocks a new stat
Welcome
called
to
Mark,
the new era
which
of
allows
video
him to leave
creation
additional
with
attacks on
Heijin.
targets that have been
Simply
stunned
type
by
your
his slash
script to get
skill.
started.
After using this
Welcome
skill,
to the
they
new
cause an
era of
explosion
video
effect with a high-level
creation with
fire damage
Heijin.
for each mark
Simply
used.
type your
In short,
script to get
after
started.
slashing 5 targets,
Welcome to the
Junwoo
new
can make
era
them
of video
explode with his sword
creation with
skill.
Heijin.
Normally,
Simply
detonation
type
skills
your
like these
script to
come with a
get
drawback
started.
for the caster
Welcome
because
to the
they're
new
also
era
caught in
of
the
video
blast.
creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
comes up with an
Simply
idea
type
and
your
decides to
script to
check his
get
warehouse
started.
for more help.
Welcome to
That's
the
how he
new
ended
era
up
of
wearing
video
light red armor
creation
to
with
resist the effects
Heijin.
of the flames.
Simply type
It's a
your
sturdy
script to
armor
get
that makes him
started.
resistant to
Welcome to the
explosions,
new era
negating
of
any
video
drawbacks of his
creation
mark
with
skill.
Heijin.
Junwoo lunges
Simply
forth to
type your
strike,
script to get
unleashing
started.
barrels of explosions
Welcome
with
to the
every
new
monster
era
he
of video
attacks. The
creation
best
with
part about his
Heijin.
fire type skill is
Simply
that
type your
insect-type
script to
monsters
get
are weak
started.
to flames.
Welcome to the
Suddenly, a
new
giant
era of
monster
video
enters the central
creation
square,
with
causing
Heijin.
great unease.
Simply type
It's
your
a
script
guillotine
to
bear
get
standing
started.
tall at level
Welcome
150.
to the new era
What's
of
more is
video
that it's a named
creation with
monster,
Heijin.
which is much more
Simply type
superior
your
and
script
powerful
to
than
get
typical
started.
monsters. The
Welcome
best
to the
strategy
new
against a
era of
named
video
monster is to
creation
escape
with
and let the
Heijin.
guards deal with it.
Simply type your
But this
script to
cannot
get
get any worse
started.
for our boy.
Welcome
In
to
a
the new
hilarious
era of
twist,
video
the guards make
creation
way
with
for their best
Heijin.
mercenary to
Simply
deal with the
type your
threat all
script
on
to
his
get
own.
started.
Bro is
Welcome
starting
to
to
the
sweat
new
so
era of
hard.
video
But anyway,
creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
anticipated the
Simply
coming of a
type your
high-level
script
monster.
to get
The
started.
rampaging guillotine
Welcome
bear
to the new
thrusts
era
forward
of
to slash
video
him.
creation
Our
with
hero
Heijin.
leaps away,
Simply
barely
type
avoiding
your
its
script
strike.
to get
He
started.
counters with a piercing
Welcome to the
slash,
new era
rendering a
of
great
video
deal of damage.
creation with
Luckily,
Heijin.
Junwoo knows
Simply
about the
type your
monster's
script
attack
to
pattern
get
to the point
started.
he can successfully
Welcome to the
anticipate
new
its
era of
attacks.
video creation
Unfortunately,
with
his
Heijin.
explosion ability
Simply
won't be of
type
much
your
use here
script to
due to
get
the thick
started.
skin of the rampaging
Welcome to
monster.
the new era of
Instead,
video
he went for an
creation
agile
with
approach,
Heijin.
dodging the
Simply
creature's
type your
attacks and
script
running
to
right
get
towards the
started.
other monsters.
Welcome to the
On his
new
way through,
era of
Junwoo
video
annihilated the
creation with
lower-level
Heijin.
monsters with his sword
Simply
slashes.
type your script
The
to
bear
get
refuses
started.
to forfeit its
Welcome
chase.
to the new
Its only
era of
target is
video
to kill
creation
Junwoo,
with
but that's
Heijin.
exactly what our boy
Simply
was hoping
type
would
your
happen.
script to get
He's
started.
happy with the current
Welcome
result
to
and
the
new
era of video creation with Heijin.
A strange effect starts
Simply
to take
type
place,
your script to get
marking the
started.
creature's body.
Welcome
Finally,
to the new
Junwoo
era of
releases
video
his explosion
creation
magic,
with Heijin.
defeating the monster
Simply
in a single
type your
attack
script to
and
get
earning the
started.
praise of the city
Welcome
guards.
to the new
Witnessing
era
his
of
mighty
video
strength,
creation
the
with
rest of the
Heijin.
monsters don't have the
Simply
guts to
type your
challenge the Red
script to
Warrior.
get started.
Junwoo
Welcome
is
to the
feeling the
new
opposite
era of
and
video
shares no
creation with
ambitions of
Heijin.
stopping. He
Simply
happily
type
lunges
your
forth
script
to
to
defeat
get
them all.
started.
After the fight
Welcome
ended,
to the new era
Junwoo
of
made a
video
name for himself
creation
as
with
the Monster
Heijin.
Hunter.
Simply
He is
type
currently
your
on his way
script
to
to get
Libranos,
started.
after clearing the
Welcome to
monster
the
wave
new
in
era
Afro
of video
Village. Even the
creation with
coachman is a big
Heijin.
fan of the guy
Simply
now,
type
and his
your
fame has
script to
reached
get
well beyond
started.
his own expectations.
Welcome to the new
The
era
carriage
of
enters
video
the Paramount
creation with
Plains.
Heijin.
Junwoo no
Simply
longer
type
feels the
your
same
script to
despair
get
as he did when
started.
he was a level 10
Welcome
storage
to the
character.
new era of
Now,
video
he has
creation
boosted his
with
stats all the
Heijin.
way up to 80,
Simply type
which
your
is taking
script to
care of
get
much of his
started.
worries. He
Welcome to
inspects
the
his
new
stats
era
using the
of
status
video
windows.
creation with
The Mark
Heijin.
explosion skill was
Simply
one of the
type your
best skills
script
he
to
could
get
have asked
started.
for. His next
Welcome to
mission
the
is in
new era
Libranos
of
to
video
retrieve the essence of
creation
fire
with
that he
Heijin.
stored. From
Simply
there,
type your
he wants to
script to get
access his level
started.
100 items
Welcome
too.
to the new era
Junwoo
of
ponders
video
for a while and
creation
asks
with
the coachman a
Heijin.
question.
Simply
He wants
type
to
your
know about
script to
certain
get
rumors
started.
swirling around the
Welcome
empire.
to the new
The coachman
era
is
of video
surprised by the question
creation
and
with
reveals that only
Heijin.
10 days ago,
Simply
a
type your
group of
script to
bandits
get
created an
started.
uprising in the western
Welcome to the
region.
new
The
era
third
of
prince
video
is currently
creation
drafting
with
soldiers,
Heijin.
looking to strengthen
Simply
his army
type
to
your
defeat
script
those
to get
bandits.
started.
Actually, Junwoo
Welcome to the
vividly
new
remembers
era
clearing
of
this
video
exact same
creation
quest
with
using another
Heijin.
one of his characters.
Simply type
After
your script
completing
to
the
get
mission, the
started.
player's relationship
Welcome
with
to the
Prion
new
greatly
era of
improves.
video
The
creation with
coachman remarks that
Heijin.
Libranos Village
Simply
has a
type
bunch
your
of missing
script to
people
get
reports
started.
going in the air.
Welcome to the
It's
new
caused
era
era of video creation with Heijin. Simply type your script to get started. Welcome to the new era of video creation with Heijin. Simply type your script to get started. Welcome to the new era of video creation with Heijin. Simply type your script to get started. Welcome to the new era of video creation with Heijin. Simply type your script to get started. Welcome to the new era of video creation with Heijin.
in which the worst and most disgusting evil gang in the game roams free.
Welcome
It's
to
the
the
same
new
group that
era
is
of
responsible
video
for abducting
creation with
people in Livernos
Heijin.
village.
Simply
Hence the
type your
report.
script to get
These
started.
guys are actual human
Welcome
trash
to the new
and are
era of
responsible
video
for human
creation with
trafficking as well as
Heijin.
other heinous
Simply
acts.
type your script
It's
to
not
get
like our
started.
boy wants to be the hero
Welcome
of
to the
justice.
new era
He's
of
not
video
Goku or
creation
anything.
with
All he
Heijin.
cares about is
Simply
obtaining
type
the
your script
agility
to get
elixir,
started.
which can only
Welcome
be
to the
obtained
new
after
era
slaying the
of video
boss.
creation
Junwoo
with
hides behind a
Heijin.
tree, observing
Simply
a bridge.
type your
He
script to
maintains
get
his disguise
started.
and slowly
Welcome
approaches
to
the
the
cave.
new era
A bunch
of
of
video
bandits are talking
creation
about
with
the success
Heijin.
of their last
Simply
auction.
type your
They
script
want
to
to
get
celebrate by
started.
getting drunk and dirty, not knowing our boy is about to put them to sleep in seconds. And that's what he does by trapping one of the bandits with his rope, before lunging upwards to attack. The second bandit is barely able to shout a warning for an intruder, but he's also slashed with a single attack. These guys aren't so tough, they're only level 50 so they're not even worth using skills on. Junwoo spots a beautiful bird trapped in a cage. He frees the little guy and hopes that it never falls into their dirty hands again. The system acknowledges Junwoo's entrance inside the cave. The bandits inside are happy as their treacherous acts have lent them a great deal of money from the dealers. One of them shares his concern for the people of Livernos
Welcome
village
to the
deploying a
new
search
era
party
of
against
video
them.
creation
Their
with
leader
Heijin.
displays not an ounce
Simply
of concern.
type your script
He
to
thinks
get
the nobles
started.
care about their money
Welcome
so
to
much
the
they
new
won't bother
era of
looking for
video
them at all.
creation with
I have to
Heijin.
say, he places
Simply
a lot of
type your
faith in a
script
lame
to get
theory.
started.
Suddenly, the
Welcome
leader
to the
senses a
new
presence
era of
approaching the
video
cave.
creation with
The bandits
Heijin.
all act up in
Simply
unison
type
to
your
confront the
script to get
intruder.
started.
With a confident
Welcome
smirk,
to the new
Junwoo
era of
questions why
video
they've stopped
creation
enjoying
with
their drinks.
Heijin.
He tossed
Simply
them a
type
barrel
your
of a
script
corpse
to
of one
get
of the bandits
started.
for added
Welcome
disrespect.
to the new
Both
era
men
of video
foolishly jump him,
creation with
thinking they've got the
Heijin.
warrior
Simply
outclassed.
type your
But
script to
Junwoo
get
casually
started.
shrugs off their
Welcome to
attacks
the
before
new era
slicing
of
them in a
video
single slash,
creation with
killing both
Heijin.
men.
Simply
Now,
type your
the
script
leader
to
is
get
scared
started.
shitless and alone.
Welcome to the
He
new
can't hide
era of
behind his
video
goons anymore.
creation with
With
Heijin.
Junwoo's warrior
Simply
dipped in
type
blood,
your script
he's
to
more
get
than happy to
started.
kill the last vermin
Welcome to
inside
the
the
new
cave.
era of
It
video
comes as no
creation
surprise
with
that the leader of the
Heijin.
bandits
Simply
ended up on the
type your
brink of
script
death.
to get
He
started.
thought negotiating with our
Welcome to
boy
the
was
new
going to
era
save
of
him from
video
his impending
creation with
doom.
Heijin.
After all,
Simply type
Junwoo
your
was
script to
approaching
get
him with his
started.
blade in hand,
Welcome to the
ignoring his
new
cries.
era of video
Even though a
creation
shitty
with
human being
Heijin.
like him is clearly
Simply
deserving of
type your
death,
script to get
Junwoo
started.
almost feels bad
Welcome
for
to the
killing him.
new era
To
of
remind the
video
evil man of his
creation
terrible
with
deeds,
Heijin.
Junwoo
Simply
questions
type your
if he also
script to
showed
get
any mercy
started.
to the ones who fell
Welcome to
before
the
him
new
and
era of
begged for their
video
lives.
creation with
After
Heijin.
that, he
Simply
deals the
type
killing
your
blow
script to get
and ends the
started.
man's life.
Welcome
From
to
his
the
corpse,
new era of
Junwoo
video
retrieves the secret
creation
key
with
to unlock a
Heijin.
chest.
Simply type your
Junwoo
script to
opens the
get
chest and
started.
acquires the object
Welcome
he
to
was
the
looking
new
for,
era of video
the agility
creation with
elixir,
Heijin.
which is a permanent
Simply
stat
type your
increase that will
script to
help
get
him greatly
started.
in battle.
Welcome to
Without
the
any
new
hesitation,
era of video
Junwoo ingests
creation
the
with
potion down to
Heijin.
every last
Simply
drop,
type your
curing
script
his
to get
fatigue as a
started.
side effect.
Welcome to
His
the new
agility
era
stats
of
have now
video
shot up by
creation with
5.
Heijin.
He turns around to
Simply
get back to his
type your
journey,
script to
when
get
suddenly,
started.
a realization
Welcome to
strikes
the
the
new
man.
era of
He
video
senses the presence of
creation with
another human,
Heijin.
lurking near
Simply
him.
type your script
But
to
the
get
voice seems to
started.
be resonating
Welcome
from a
to the
wall,
new era
which
of
leads him to
video
wonder if the
creation
slave
with
auction is still
Heijin.
underway.
Simply
He
type your
clearly heard
script
from
to
the
get
bandits that
started.
it was over, so it
Welcome
doesn't
to
make
the new
sense.
era of
Then
video
Junwoo remembers
creation
something
with
crucial.
Heijin.
He's
Simply
confident
type
of
your
his
script to
suspicions and
get
places a
started.
hand on the wall,
Welcome to
opening
the
a
new
secret
era
pathway
of
to a
video
slave prison.
creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
steps inside and
Simply
observes the
type your
lifeless
script
bodies
to
of
get
humans who are
started.
starved and
Welcome
mistreated
to
to
the
the
new
brink of
era
death.
of video
He can't dare to
creation
look
with
at them,
Heijin.
but thanks to
Simply
his
type your
experience playing
script
the
to get
game,
started.
he knew how to find
Welcome
them.
to the
Then
new
again,
era of
if it
video
was his first
creation
time
with
coming here,
Heijin.
Junwoo would have
Simply
faced a
type your
really
script
difficult
to get
time
started.
navigating through the prison.
Welcome to the
He
new
spots a
era
wooden
of
door
video
just around the corner
creation
and
with
goes up to
Heijin.
inspect it.
Simply type
Junwoo
your
opens
script
the
to
door
get
to peek
started.
inside.
Welcome to
There,
the
he
new
discovers
era
a
of
woman
video
with white hair,
creation with
trapped in a
Heijin.
magical seal of
Simply
some
type
kind.
your script to
It's
get
just like he
started.
thought would happen.
Welcome to
The
the
woman
new
pleads with
era
him
of
to end her
video
life in
creation with
suffering.
Heijin.
She can no longer
Simply
bear to stay
type
in
your
this
script to
disgusting
get
place.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome
confirms
to
that
the
she's
new
Sepia,
era of
the
video
extra character
creation
black
with
mage.
Heijin.
She was used as a
Simply
human
type your
sacrifice
script
by
to
the
get
bandits in
started.
a ritual which
Welcome
ended
to
her
the new
life.
era of video
Her brother is a
creation
known
with
figure and the
Heijin.
head of the secondary
Simply
night
type your
corps.
script to get
Sigmund soon
started.
awakens after
Welcome
Sepia's
to the
death
new
and
era
ends up
of
becoming
video
the Knight of
creation
Judgment
with
under the moon
Heijin.
goddess Luna.
Simply type
Long
your
story
script
short,
to get
Sepia's death
started.
causes an entire
Welcome to the
storyline to
new
take
era
place.
of video
The players were never
creation
even
with
required to
Heijin.
save her in the
Simply
original
type
story
your
because her
script to
death
get
was always
started.
going to be a canon
Welcome
event.
to the new era
To
of
make
video
matters worse,
creation with
Sepia is
Heijin.
cursed by the stigma
Simply
of
type
death,
your script
which
to get
adds another
started.
layer of complexity
Welcome
to
to the
freeing
new
her.
era of
Players
video
can't use any
creation
magic
with
potion to help
Heijin.
her.
Simply
Her entire
type your
purpose
script to
inside the
get
game was to
started.
become a character
Welcome
who was
to the new
destined to
era
die
of
without
video
fail.
creation
Even
with
now,
Heijin.
Sepia has accepted
Simply
her fate
type
and
your
begs the
script to
warrior
get
in red
started.
to end her life.
Welcome to the
While other
new
players
era
don't
of
have a
video
way of saving
creation
her,
with
our boy
Heijin.
is built differently.
Simply type your
He's got a
script to
method
get
to save her
started.
life. It
Welcome
comes
to
from
the
having
new
the Pledge
era
of
of video
Liberation skill.
creation with
This will allow
Heijin.
him to neutralize
Simply
her
type your
abnormal
script to
status
get
as a side
started.
effect. It will
Welcome to
also
the
cause
new
Sepia
era
to
of
become
video
dependent on
creation with
Junwoo as the
Heijin.
original caster.
Simply type your script to
Focusing on the
get
detail of
started.
neutralizing her
Welcome to
abnormal
the new
effects,
era of
Junwoo
video
contemplates
creation
if
with
this skill is
Heijin.
capable of
Simply
removing the
type
stigma
your
of
script
death
to
curse
get
from her
started.
body. He's got a
Welcome to
strong
the new
feeling that it
era
might be
of video
possible to remove the
creation with
curse this
Heijin.
way. But
Simply
he's
type
hesitant
your
in
script to
placing the
get
curse,
started.
because it comes as a
Welcome to
big
the
risk
new
for him
era
just
of
to
video
ally with
creation
Sepia.
with Heijin.
Junwoo's contemplation
Simply
ends
type
as he
your
stands
script to
before
get
Sepia,
started.
ready to make his
Welcome
call.
to the new
While
era
it's true
of
that she
video
was just a game
creation with
character before,
Heijin. Simply
things are much
type your
different
script
now
to get
as the game has
started.
become his
Welcome
reality.
to the new era
Knowing
of
that she's
video
very much in
creation with
pain and
Heijin.
suffering,
Simply
Junwoo
type
can't
your
stand to
script
let
to
her
get
live in pain
started.
forever.
Welcome
After
to the
all,
new
he
era
was
of
also
video
responsible for
creation
ending
with
the lives of the
Heijin.
trash bandits
Simply
for the sake
type
of
your
the greater
script to
good.
get started.
He refuses to turn a
Welcome to
blind
the
eye
new
on a
era
person
of
clearly
video
experiencing
creation with
pain.
Heijin.
Junwoo kneels
Simply
and tells
type your
Sepia that
script
he has
to get
found a way to
started.
not only save her
Welcome
life,
to the new
but also
era
get
of
rid of the
video
curse that has been
creation with
torturing her.
Heijin.
But before he
Simply
does,
type your
he
script
wants
to
to
get
know what she
started.
wants to do.
Welcome to the new
Sepia
era
faces a
of
moment
video
of contemplation
creation with
before
Heijin.
coming to her decision.
Simply type
She
your
nods,
script to
giving
get
Junwoo the
started.
signal to act.
Welcome
Now
to
that
the
he's
new
gained her
era of
trust,
video
Junwoo
creation with
activates the Pledge
Heijin.
of Liberation
Simply
skill,
type your
the same
script
skill
to
he
get
thought was
started.
useless in his
Welcome
arsenal.
to the new
Sepia
era of
willingly
video
agrees to bearing the
creation with
contract,
Heijin.
and so the
Simply
next phase
type
of
your
effects
script
kick
to get
in.
started.
The caster's
Welcome to
health
the
will be
new
drained
era
to
of video
neutralize Sepia's
creation with
abnormality,
Heijin.
which means
Simply
Junwoo is
type your
going to end
script
up
to
in a
get
lot of pain
started.
just for the cause.
Welcome to the
The
new era
contract
of
won't
video
proceed if he's
creation
low on
with
health either.
Heijin.
Junwoo
Simply
agrees,
type
which
your
leads to a
script to get
spiraling
started.
effect, draining
Welcome
his
to the
vital
new
points.
era of video
By saving
creation with
Sepia,
Heijin.
he has fulfilled the
Simply
conditions
type
for
your
her hidden
script to get
quest too.
started.
After a burst
Welcome
of
to the
light and a
new
status
era of
window's
video
appearance,
creation with
Junwoo fails to
Heijin.
recognize where
Simply
he has been
type your script
transported.
to get
It's like a
started.
hellish land filled
Welcome
with
to
an
the
army
new
of
era of
monsters.
video
Facing
creation
these
with
monsters are the
Heijin.
golden knights
Simply
of the Holy
type your
Empire.
script to get
What's
started.
interesting is that not
Welcome
even
to the
Junwoo has
new
seen
era
battle
of
armor
video
like that
creation
before,
with
despite his
Heijin.
overwhelming
Simply
experience.
type your
A
script to
three-headed
get started.
Cerberus causes the
Welcome
destruction
to the
of
new
humans,
era of
and from the
video
looks of this
creation
fight,
with Heijin.
it seems like the humans
Simply
are on the
type your
back foot
script to get
and about to
started.
lose.
Welcome
Then,
to the
out of
new
nowhere,
era
a
of
glimmer
video
of hope shines
creation
through the
with
cracks
Heijin.
as an angel
Simply
descends
type
from the
your
heavens.
script to get
Donning
started.
blonde, beautiful hair
Welcome
and a
to the
halo
new
over her
era
head,
of video
the angel
creation
glances at
with
Junwoo
Heijin.
and wishes the
Simply
best for
type
his
your
journey.
script to get
Junwoo
started.
instantly wakes up from
Welcome
his
to the
dream,
new
only
era
to
of
find
video
Sepia exhausted
creation
and
with
unconscious
Heijin.
before him.
Simply
The
type
illusion
your
he just
script to
saw, he
get
wonders if
started.
it ties into a clue
Welcome to the
regarding
new
Sepia's
era of
fate.
video
From the looks
creation
of
with
it, the world
Heijin.
breaks into a
Simply
large-scale
type your
war,
script to
and
get
an angel will
started.
descend from the
Welcome
sky.
to the
This
new
illusion
era
is
of
proof
video
that Sepia might
creation
have a
with
much bigger
Heijin.
role to play in the
Simply
game than
type
he
your script to
anticipated.
get started.
She's no longer the extra
Welcome to
character
the
he
new
thought she
era
would
of
be.
video
Another
creation
status
with
window hovers
Heijin.
over Junwoo.
Simply
It's
type your
regarding the
script
hidden
to get
quest to
started.
save Sepia's
Welcome
life.
to the new
The curse he
era of
broke was
video
beyond the powers
creation
of the
with
holy
Heijin.
magic. So the
Simply
fact that
type
he
your
managed a
script
way
to
to
get
break the curse
started.
is extraordinary.
Welcome to the
It
new
leveled
era
up his
of
skill.
video
The
creation
system
with
asks if he would
Heijin.
like to form a
Simply
pledge
type
as it
your
would
script
cost
to get
90% of
started.
his life.
Welcome to the new
Junwoo
era of
acknowledges the
video
risks
creation
involved
with
and accepts.
Heijin.
It
Simply
initiates the
type your
neutralization
script to
effects
get
for the
started.
curse, draining
Welcome
Junwoo's
to the
health
new
points all
era
the way
of video
down.
creation
While it helps
with
heal
Heijin.
Sepia, it's
Simply
draining
type your
Junwoo's
script
life,
to get started.
so much so that he
Welcome to the
experiences
new
terrible
era of
effects when
video
his health
creation
crumbles
with
below
Heijin.
10%.
Simply
When he
type your
realizes he's
script to
coughing
get
blood,
started.
Junwoo is
Welcome to
suddenly
the new
questioning
era
his
of
decision to
video
become a
creation
last-minute
with
internet
Heijin.
simp and dying
Simply
in
type
vain.
your script
It's
to get
just not his
started.
health that's
Welcome to
experiencing a
the new
decline.
era of
Rather,
video
he's
creation with
experiencing the draining
Heijin.
effect in real
Simply
time.
type your script to
The
get
pain is
started.
evidence of his
Welcome
suffering.
to the new era
Sepia
of
rests on
video
the ground,
creation with
slowly regaining
Heijin.
her consciousness.
Simply type your
Junwoo, on
script
the
to
other
get
hand, is
started.
not in good shape.
Welcome to the
The
new
warm
era
energy
of
Sepia
video
experienced
creation
is
with
helping her
Heijin.
rejuvenate.
Simply
Sepia
type your
wonders why
script to
someone
get
would go to
started.
such lengths for her.
Welcome to the new era
At
of
last, the
video
hidden quest is
creation with
completed,
Heijin.
and Sepia's
Simply
life is
type your
saved.
script to get
His skill
started.
levels up, and
Welcome
Junwoo
to
can
the new
finally take
era
a
of
stand for
video
himself.
creation with Heijin.
The pain was unlike
Simply
anything like
type
he
your
ever
script to
experienced
get
before.
started.
He takes her
Welcome
hand
to the
and
new
assists
era
Sepia
of
to get
video
her to a safe
creation with
location.
Heijin.
In her dream,
Simply type
Sepia
your script to
recognizes
get
the cloaked
started.
red figure as her
Welcome
big
to the
brother,
new era of
but then
video
realizes that
creation
it's
with
not Sigmund
Heijin.
who came to save
Simply
her.
type your
After all,
script to get
he has silver
started.
hair just like
Welcome
her.
to the
But
new
instead of
era
fearing
of
to take
video
this man's
creation
hand,
with Heijin.
Sepia had made her
Simply
decision.
type your script
She
to
too
get
wakes up
started.
from a bad dream.
Welcome to the
Every
new
character
era
in
of
this manga
video
is getting put in
creation
a
with
coma every
Heijin.
5 chapters.
Simply type your
Sepia
script to
feels
get
clarity
started.
that she isn't used
Welcome
to.
to the new
It's been a
era
long
of
time
video
since she felt as
creation with
comfortable and
Heijin.
safe.
Simply
Then
type your
Sepia sees
script
the
to
man
get
who saved her
started.
life.
Welcome
He's
to
fully
the
knocked
new
out,
era of
but
video
she still can't place
creation
a
with
finger on why
Heijin.
someone like him
Simply
would attempt
type
to
your
save
script
someone
to get
worthless.
started.
Sepia
Welcome
assumes her
to the
brother
new
Sigmund
era
sent
of
the man
video
to save her life,
creation with
but his
Heijin.
face is nothing
Simply
like the
type your
Libernos
script
village
to get
knights,
started.
and despite using a
Welcome to
weapon
the
like
new
this
era
sword,
of
he
video
doesn't have any
creation
injuries
with
on him.
Heijin. Simply type type your script
As
to
she's
get
staring in his
started.
face,
Welcome to
Junwoo
the new
regains
era of
consciousness.
video
It makes her
creation with
embarrassed to
Heijin.
peep on him like that,
Simply
and she
type
jumps
your
back.
script to get started.
Our boy
Welcome
remembers that
to
he
the new
slept.
era of
He
video
introduces
creation
himself
with
as Dio.
Heijin.
Sepia
Simply
thanks him for
type your
saving her
script to
life
get
and asks
started.
how he came to find her,
Welcome to the
and if
new
it has
era
anything
of
to do with
video
her brother.
creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
reflects that she's the
Simply
only
type
character
your
in the
script
game
to
he
get
has little to
started.
no information about
Welcome to
because
the
of her
new
short
era
stay.
of video
The only common
creation with
factor players knew
Heijin.
about Sepia's
Simply
fate was
type
her
your script to
sacrificial
get
ritual.
started.
But apart
Welcome
from
to
that,
the new era
Junwoo
of video
believes that it would be
creation with
troublesome if he
Heijin.
assumed to possess more
Simply type
information
your
on her
script
than
to
he
get
should.
started.
So in this case,
Welcome to the
he plays
new
the part
era
of a
of
fool
video
and asks
creation
about her
with
brother's
Heijin.
identity.
Simply
Realizing that
type
he
your
doesn't know
script
this
to get
man,
started.
she's curious why he
Welcome to
saved
the
her.
new era of
This is a
video
problem.
creation
Even
with
Junwoo
Heijin.
knows that no one in
Simply
their right
type your
minds would
script
stake
to
their
get
own life
started.
for a stranger they don't
Welcome
know
to the
anything
new
about.
era of
He doesn't
video
have a good
creation
excuse,
with
so he goes with a
Heijin.
particularly
Simply
strange
type your
reason.
script to get
He tells her he
started.
wanted to earn her
Welcome to
gratitude.
the new
It's
era
an
of
awkward
video
reason, but it works
creation
in his
with
favor.
Heijin.
After that,
Simply
they
type
talked
your
for a
script
bit.
to get started.
Sepia's memories are
Welcome to
hazy,
the
and she
new
still
era
doesn't
of
recall
video
the details of the
creation with
contract.
Heijin.
The skill
Simply
forces her to
type your
become
script to
dependent
get
on him,
started.
so she's now become
Welcome
her
to the new
subordinate
era
without
of
fail.
video creation with Heijin.
Junwoo inspects her
Simply
status
type your
window and
script
sees
to
the
get
subordination
started.
trait that is
Welcome
currently in
to the
effect.
new era of
With this,
video
if she goes
creation
against his
with
commands,
Heijin.
Sepia will
Simply type
experience
your
a world of
script to get
pain.
started.
With bind skill,
Welcome to
she
the
will
new era
experience
of
pain if
video
out of range.
creation with
And
Heijin.
finally, with destruction
Simply type
ability,
your script to get
Sepia's life will be
started.
forcibly
Welcome
taken
to
if
the
the
new
pledge is
era of
broken.
video
Junwoo
creation
wasn't
with
expecting the
Heijin.
restrictions to be this
Simply
harsh.
type your
At the
script
same
to get
time,
started.
it makes sense because her
Welcome to the
original
new
fate was to
era
die
of video
anyway. The
creation
pledge
with
was the only
Heijin.
way to save her
Simply
life, so
type
he's
your
not guilty
script to
about
get
adopting a
started.
cruel method.
Welcome
The
to the
idiot
new
is trying
era
not
of
to freak
video
her out, so he
creation
wants
with
to explain
Heijin.
with patience.
Simply type your
Confirming the
script to
identity
get
of her brother,
started.
Junwoo
Welcome
suggests
to the
they head
new
to the
era of
Livernos
video
village at once.
creation with
But
Heijin.
Sepia seems to be
Simply
hesitant
type
about
your
trusting
script to
him,
get
and
started.
for understandable
Welcome
reasons.
to the new era
The
of
slave
video
traders altered her
creation with
perception of a
Heijin.
normal person.
Simply type
Still,
your script to get
Junwoo
started.
extends his hand.
Welcome to the
You might
new
think he's
era
trying
of
to be
video
gentle, but
creation
no.
with Heijin.
This man straight up
Simply
commands her
type
to
your
hold his
script
hand.
to get started.
Sepia is in utter
Welcome
shock.
to the
Her
new
body
era
moved
of
without
video
her permission.
creation with
But
Heijin.
this was a good way of
Simply
demonstrating their
type your
contract.
script to get started.
Junwoo explains
Welcome
that they
to the
formed a
new era
contract,
of
so
video
now she
creation
has
with
become his
Heijin.
subordinate. He
Simply
explains
type your
every
script to
detail
get
about what would
started.
happen if she went out of
Welcome
range
to the
or
new era
disobeyed
of
him
video
or attempted to
creation
break the
with
pledge.
Heijin.
Junwoo
Simply
clarifies
type
that
your
it's not his
script
own
to get
intention,
started.
but rather the
Welcome
conditions
to
of
the
the
new
contract.
era of
It
video
was the only
creation
method he
with
had to
Heijin.
neutralize the curse
Simply
effects,
type your
so now
script
they're
to get
trapped with each
started.
other even if they
Welcome
hate
to
one
the new
another.
era of
It's a
video
difficult thing to
creation
admit,
with Heijin.
and Junwoo knows that
Simply
no one
type
would
your
just
script to
follow a
get
random
started.
dude.
Welcome
The
to the
fact
new
is,
era of
after
video
reuniting with her
creation
brother,
with Heijin.
she would be forced
Simply
to journey
type your
along with
script to
Junwoo
get
because of the
started.
range condition.
Welcome to
It's
the
a
new
tough thing.
era of video
Surprisingly,
creation with
instead of
Heijin.
distrust,
Simply
Junwoo comes
type
to
your script
experience
to get
trust from
started.
Sepia after his
Welcome to the
transparency.
new era of
She
video
knows that he's the
creation
only
with
reason
Heijin.
she's still alive,
Simply
so
type
she's
your
hoping
script
he
to
takes
get
good care of
started.
her.
Welcome
Junwoo
to
is
the
glad
new
that she's
era
easy
of
to
video
persuade.
creation
With
with
that,
Heijin.
they lock their next
Simply
destination
type
to be
your
the
script
village
to
of
get
Livernos.
started.
The scene
Welcome
cuts
to
to
the
another
new
hideout
era
of the
of video
bandits.
creation
Their main
with
leader comes to
Heijin.
learn about the
Simply
disappearance
type
of
your
Sepia,
script to get
who was
started.
supposed to become their
Welcome to the
sacrifice.
new era of
His
video
trembling
creation
servant can
with
barely
Heijin.
deliver the news of the
Simply
deaths of
type your
all the
script
bandits
to get
inside the
started.
cave. In
Welcome to the
frustration,
new
he
era
lashes
of
out
video
against the servant,
creation with
furious to
Heijin.
have lost such an
Simply
important
type your
sacrifice
script
so
to get
easily.
started.
He's the one
Welcome
responsible
to
for
the new
catching her in
era
the
of
first
video
place. But
creation
after
with
that,
Heijin.
he soon came to
Simply
realize
type your
Sepia's
script to
talent,
get
which
started.
exceeded that of a great
Welcome
mage.
to the new era of
With her
video
serving as the
creation
human
with
sacrifice,
Heijin.
he could have
Simply
climbed to
type
the
your
seventh
script to
circle
get
of magic in
started.
an instant.
Welcome to
Losing
the
her was
new
clearly
era
the
of
worst
video
thing to have
creation
happened.
with
Another
Heijin.
servant comes to
Simply
inform him
type
about
your
Sepia's
script to get
location,
started.
who hasn't gone far.
Welcome to the
Victor
new era
prepares
of
his men
video
in his vicious
creation with
mission to kill
Heijin.
the person who stole
Simply type
Sepia
your
away from
script
him.
to get
Back
started.
to our boy, who
Welcome
is
to the
resting and
new
moving
era
slower
of
than
video
usual because of
creation with
Sepia's
Heijin.
condition.
Simply
But he's
type your
sensing a bad
script to
feeling.
get started.
Lost in thought,
Welcome to
Sepia
the
has to
new
call his
era
name
of
twice
video
to catch his
creation
attention.
with Heijin.
She wants to
Simply
confirm if he
type
is a
your
roaming
script to get
mercenary and asks
started.
how he's capable of
Welcome to
using
the
such a
new
strange
era of
skill.
video
After all,
creation with
nothing
Heijin.
could overpower the
Simply
curse,
type your
not even
script to
holy
get
magic.
started.
And no one can just
Welcome to
form a
the new
magic
era of
contract
video
casually.
creation
These
with
penetrating
Heijin.
questions stab our
Simply
boy
type your
because they're
script to
difficult to
get
answer.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome
trembles
to
to
the
give her
new
an
era
adequate
of video
explanation
creation
and
with
reveals that he
Heijin.
got it from a
Simply
temple.
type your
But this
script to get
explanation has
started.
wavered her trust in him
Welcome
by
to
a
the
small
new era
margin,
of video
much to
creation
Junwoo's
with
disappointment.
Heijin.
He
Simply
questions why
type your
Sepia was
script to
captured
get
in the first
started.
place.
Welcome
Sepia
to
has
the new
experienced
era
an
of
order from
video
him before,
creation
so
with
she's wondering
Heijin.
if he's going to force an
Simply
answer out
type
of
your
her this
script
time
to get
too.
started.
Junwoo clarifies
Welcome
that he
to the
shares
new
no such
era of
intentions.
video
And
creation
if she
with
doesn't want to
Heijin.
say, then it's
Simply
all right.
type your
She
script to
finds
get
his strange
started.
mannerisms cute,
Welcome to the
and
new
thus
era
Sepia's
of video
trust increases
creation
again.
with Heijin.
Sepia clarifies that
Simply
she doesn't
type
find
your
anything
script to
wrong
get
with him.
started.
But Junwoo
Welcome
grabs her
to the
hand and
new
pulls her
era
away,
of video
making her
creation
question his
with
motives.
Heijin.
Junwoo
Simply
points
type
to her
your
behind.
script to get
She had just
started.
been attacked by a
Welcome
dark
to the
energy,
new era
the
of
same
video
energy that
creation
trapped
with
her.
Heijin.
Victor smirks,
Simply type
happy
your
to have met a
script to
good
get
challenge from the
started.
opposing mercenary.
Welcome to the new
He's
era
brought his
of
little
video
friends along to take
creation
him
with
down.
Heijin.
Junwoo knows
Simply
about his
type
identity,
your
which
script to
surprises
get
Victor,
started.
who assumes it
Welcome
must
to
be
the
thanks
new
to the
era
mark he
of
left.
video
He's
creation with
furious that a
Heijin.
wannabe noble like
Simply
him chose
type
to
your
mess with the
script to get
bandits and stole
started.
his human
Welcome
sacrifice.
to the new
Junwoo
era of video
apologizes before
creation with
unleashing an attack of
Heijin.
his own.
Simply
He
type
has
your
marked
script
several
to get
logs with his
started.
explosion skill,
Welcome to the
only to
new
unleash
era
them at
of
a
video
timely moment.
creation with
But when the
Heijin.
dust settles,
Simply
Victor is
type your
standing without
script to
harm.
get started.
He has taken an interest in
Welcome
the
to the new
mercenary.
era of video
This is problematic
creation
for
with
Junwoo,
Heijin.
because this guy is
Simply
clearly
type your
tanking all of
script
his
to get
attacks.
started.
Victor is a
Welcome
powerful
to the
third
new
circle
era
mage
of
after
video
all, and while
creation
he
with
has yet to
Heijin.
climb to the fifth
Simply
circle,
type your
Junwoo
script
still
to
has a
get
chance to
started.
win this fight.
Welcome to
Victor
the new
releases an
era of
energy
video
wave that barely
creation with
grazes the red
Heijin.
mercenary.
Simply
Our
type
boy
your
leaps
script to
ahead like
get
he's Red
started.
Robin Hood or something.
Welcome to the
And
new era of video creation with Heijin.
One of them tries to cast a shield, but Junwoo's slash is powerful enough to neutralize his shield too. Victor's subordinates prioritize protecting their master until he is done preparing for his ultimate attack.
Welcome to the new era of
Junwoo
video
is happy to keep
creation
them
with
entertained
Heijin.
with his explosion
Simply
magic,
type your
leaving
script to
only
get
2 more
started.
assassins.
Welcome
He
to
leaps
the
ahead
new
and
era
slashes
of
the last
video
few
creation
assassins,
with
all the way
Heijin.
down to 1.
Simply
With
type your
Victor's
script
attack
to get
finally
started.
prepared, he
Welcome
releases
to
the
the new
devastating
era of
effects of the
video
eternal
creation
curse.
with Heijin.
This magic is
Simply
relentless in
type
its
your script
pursuits
to get
and
started.
guarantees death.
Welcome
The
to the
leader of
new
the
era
bandits
of
is
video
confident in his
creation
victory
with
now.
Heijin.
That is, until
Simply
Junwoo
type your
surprises
script
him.
to get started.
He takes the body of
Welcome
another
to the
bandit
new
as a
era
shield
of
and
video
inflicts the curse
creation
upon
with
him
Heijin.
instead. An easy
Simply
way to
type your
divert the
script to
effects.
get started.
Junwoo insults Victor's
Welcome to the
outdated,
new
pathetic
era of
attempt to
video
take him down.
creation with Heijin.
Enraged, the furious
Simply
mage
type your
releases
script
more of
to
his
get
magic,
started.
but his defeat
Welcome
is
to
certain
the
now.
new era of
Junwoo
video
finds him way too
creation
slow
with
for a third
Heijin.
circle mage
Simply
and
type your
casually
script
shrugs
to
off
get
his magic
started.
attacks. An
Welcome to
annoyed
the
Victor
new era
confesses
of
that he
video
could have leveled
creation
all
with
the way up to the
Heijin.
7th circle
Simply
if he
type your
possessed
script to
Sepia
get
as his
started.
sacrifice. But
Welcome to
Junwoo
the new
laughably
era of
corrects him,
video
stating
creation
that
with
his limit
Heijin.
is at most the
Simply
5th circle
type
of
your
magic.
script to get
Now that he's
started.
gotten inside of his
Welcome
head,
to the new
Junwoo
era
throws the
of
serpent
video
right at him
creation
before
with
releasing
Heijin.
explosion magic in
Simply
his
type your
face.
script to get started.
Victor is blindsided as
Welcome
the
to the
mercenary
new era
approaches
of
him to
video
end this fight.
creation with
But strangely,
Heijin.
the man is glowing
Simply
in red,
type your script
burning
to
his
get
body.
started.
Even though his
Welcome
mark
to the
skill is
new
supposed to
era
be a
of
fire
video
attack,
creation
it is
with
reacting
Heijin.
strangely.
Simply
Junwoo
type your
turns to
script
find
to get
Sepia,
started.
who has activated
Welcome
some
to
of
the
her
new
powers
era
in an
of video
enraged state of her
creation with
own.
Heijin.
Sepia has entered an
Simply type
unusual
your
state that
script to
not
get
even Junwoo
started.
expected.
Welcome
Her
to the
boundless
new
anger
era
and
of video
frustration for her
creation
pain
with
unraveled
Heijin.
in the forms of
Simply
chains,
type your script
binding
to get
Victor into
started.
place and letting him
Welcome to the new
experience the
era
same
of
amount of
video
suffering.
creation with
Sepia
Heijin.
smiles,
Simply
happy to
type your
inflict the
script to
seething
get
pain that
started.
she endured throughout
Welcome
her
to the new
imprisonment.
era of video
The constrained
creation
assassin
with
begs to be
Heijin.
freed from his
Simply
suffering
type
and
your
wails in
script to get
agony.
started.
Junwoo observes
Welcome
her
to
usage
the
of
new
special
era
magic.
of video
The strange part
creation
about
with
this magic
Heijin.
is that it contains
Simply
an ego.
type your script to
There
get
are only a
started.
few NPCs
Welcome
that
to
can
the
use this
new
kind of
era of
magic in the
video
later stages of
creation
the
with
game,
Heijin.
but it's not
Simply
something just
type
any
your
mage
script
can
to get
acquire.
started.
The fact that
Welcome
Sepia is
to the new
capable of
era of
activating
video
magic of such a
creation with
special level
Heijin.
proves her talent.
Simply type
She
your
soon
script to
crumbles in
get
his hands.
started.
Her eyes
Welcome to the
tear-filled
new
from the
era of
experience.
video
Junwoo
creation
thinks
with
that she has
Heijin.
yet to master her
Simply
powers
type your
and that he may
script
have
to get
stumbled across
started.
someone special.
Welcome to the
Back
new
at the
era
Libernos
of video
village,
creation
Sigmund
with
receives an
Heijin.
update from one of his men,
Simply type
who
your
have come to
script to
inform
get
him of
started.
Sepia's location.
Welcome
They
to the
believe the
new
bandits
era
are
of
going
video
around in the mountain
creation with
ranges.
Heijin.
Fully
Simply
enraged,
type your
Sigmund
script to
curses
get
them and
started.
orders his knights to
Welcome
chase
to the
after
new
those
era
men.
of
He
video
longs for his
creation
sister
with
Sepia's
Heijin.
presence.
Simply
Back to our
type your
boy and the
script
new
to get
chick.
started.
Sepia asks if
Welcome
they're
to the
heading in the
new
right
era of
direction.
video creation
Junwoo
with
confirms
Heijin.
that he knows of a
Simply
shortcut
type
around
your
the village,
script
so
to
they're
get
following
started.
that.
Welcome
Sensing
to
her
the new
unease,
era
the red
of video
mercenary wonders if
creation
she's
with
still
Heijin.
distrusting of him for
Simply
easily knowing
type your
his way
script to
without
get
using the map.
started.
He thinks that
Welcome
it's
to the
going to
new
be
era
tough
of
maintaining
video
a good
creation
relationship
with
with her if he
Heijin.
keeps making
Simply
excuses.
type your script
The
to
only
get
logical way
started.
is to keep his mouth
Welcome
shut,
to the new
and
era
yet
of
Junwoo
video
was careless
creation
because
with
she happened to be
Heijin.
defenseless.
Simply type your
He didn't
script to
expect
get
her to wield
started.
so much power
Welcome to
underneath.
the new
After
era
she
of
fell
video
unconscious,
creation with
Junwoo even
Heijin.
inspected her status
Simply
window
type your
and found
script to
nothing
get
unusual.
started.
The only
Welcome
worrisome
to the new
aspect was the
era of
class
video
section, which
creation
seemed
with
to be hidden.
Heijin.
He goes as
Simply
far as to
type your
believe that her
script to get
talent might
started.
rival and surpass
Welcome to the
Sigmund's
new
combat
era of
ability,
video
deeming her
creation
to be a
with
force to be
Heijin.
reckoned with.
Simply type
Junwoo
your
directs her
script
to
to
the
get
path.
started.
They're almost
Welcome
on their
to
way
the
to the
new
village
era
now.
of video
Sepia is
creation
acting
with
strange
Heijin.
and weirdly
Simply
accepts
type your
whatever he
script to
says.
get started.
Bro is starting to
Welcome to the
understand
new
that he's going
era
to have
of
to
video
level up her trust
creation with
before asking
Heijin.
anything again.
Simply type
Because
your
if this
script
chick
to
goes
get
out of
started.
control, he's the one
Welcome
who's
to the
getting
new
burned
era
alive.
of video
Her
creation
alter
with
ego is
Heijin.
interesting,
Simply
so
type
Junwoo
your
is curious
script to
about her
get
backstory.
started.
At one
Welcome
point,
to
he
the
almost
new
wants to
era of
forget the
video
concept of
creation
trust
with
levels.
Heijin.
His curiosity
Simply type
overwhelms
your
him,
script to
and he
get
musters the
started.
courage to ask
Welcome
Sepia
to
a
the new
question.
era of video
Gathering
creation
his
with
words,
Heijin.
Junwoo
Simply
directly
type
asks
your
if she's a
script to
heretic
get
of some
started.
kind. This
Welcome
strange
to the new
question
era of
instantly
video
decreased her trust in
creation
him
with
by 5
Heijin.
whole points.
Simply
What an
type your
idiot.
script to
The
get
scene
started.
switches to the Holy
Welcome
Kingdom's
to the
Adara
new
Cathedral.
era of video
Carla
creation
has come to
with
the cathedral
Heijin.
for a meeting.
Simply
It's her
type your
first time
script to get
inside, so
started.
she's speechless with how
Welcome to the
spacious
new
it is.
era of video
The man advises
creation
her to
with
behave
Heijin.
properly for what's
Simply
next.
type your
Carla
script to get
panics and
started.
excites. She becomes a
Welcome to
nervous
the
wreck
new
and
era
greets
of
the moon
video
goddess
creation
Luna,
with
who
Heijin.
advises her to raise her
Simply
head.
type your
The
script to get
saintess of the
started.
cathedral, Luna,
Welcome
thanks
to
her
the
for her
new
trouble.
era of video
Carla returns her
creation with
gratitude for meeting
Heijin.
the saintess in
Simply
person.
type your
The
script
reason
to
she was
get
called here
started.
is regarding her
Welcome
journey
to
to
the
the
new
Forgotten
era of
Temple.
video
An
creation
inquisitive
with
Luna is dying
Heijin.
to know the
Simply
exact
type your
details of what
script
went
to get
down
started.
regarding everything
Welcome
Carla
to the
witnessed
new
and
era
heard.
of video
So Carla told the
creation
story
with
until the
Heijin.
defeat of the Death
Simply
Knight.
type your
But
script
Luna
to get
stopped her and
started.
concluded that her
Welcome to
information
the
had been
new
helpful.
era of video
For her help, she will
creation
be
with
granted a
Heijin.
reward.
Simply type your
Overjoyed like
script
a
to
little
get
girl,
started.
Carla thanks the
Welcome to
saintess
the
and
new
leaves.
era of video
Saintess Luna
creation
enters a
with
contemplative
Heijin.
state and
Simply
requests for
type your
Archbishop
script to
Paul.
get started.
She sensed that
Welcome
while
to the
Clara was
new
telling
era
the
of
truth,
video
the man known
creation
as
with
Monte
Heijin.
is most
Simply
definitely
type
someone
your
she made
script
up.
to get started.
Luna wants to send a letter to
Welcome to the
Libernos
new
village to
era of
uncover the
video
whereabouts of this
creation with
Monte
Heijin.
person. Let's
Simply
revisit
type your
Sepia's
script to get
situation,
started.
who is offended to have been
Welcome
asked
to the
such a
new
vile
era of
question.
video
She
creation
claims
with
that the Black
Heijin.
Mages were
Simply
clearly
type
bad
your
people,
script to get
but Junwoo
started.
mentions that cults are
Welcome to
always
the
similar
new
in their
era of
desire to
video
seek power
creation
instead
with
of chasing
Heijin.
faith.
Simply
He could
type
sense
your
that the
script
power
to
she
get
used was
started.
unlike anything he
Welcome
had
to
ever
the new
seen.
era of
Sepia
video
is baffled
creation with
and
Heijin.
reflects that he might be
Simply
suspecting
type
of her
your
in
script
return
to get
because she
started.
hasn't done anything to
Welcome
win
to the
his
new
trust.
era of video
She's
creation
scared
with
that he might be
Heijin.
someone representing
Simply
the Church
type
of
your
Luna.
script to
The
get
girl
started.
decides to risk it all and
Welcome to the
exposes
new
everything
era
about
of
her
video
past.
creation
As a
with
little child,
Heijin.
she
Simply
experienced
type your
phases of being
script to
mana
get
overload,
started.
causing her
Welcome to the
consciousness
new
to
era
fade.
of video
To remedy her
creation with
cause, her
Heijin.
family consulted
Simply
many
type your
mages
script
and
to
failed
get
to find a
started.
solution to her
Welcome
problem.
to to the new era of
Sepia
video
was unable to
creation
control
with
this
Heijin.
overload of mana with
Simply
her own might,
type your script
but
to
she
get
strongly
started.
believes the source of her
Welcome to the
powers
new
isn't
era
anything
of
evil.
video
After
creation
all,
with
the
Heijin.
mana she experiences
Simply type your
originates from
script
fire
to get
and light.
started.
Junwoo is
Welcome to
surprised
the
by the
new
mention of
era
light
of
magic,
video
which
creation
connects
with
the dots
Heijin.
from the illusion
Simply
he saw
type
at the
your
moment
script
he
to
made a
get
contract
started.
with her. It
Welcome
leads
to
him
the
to
new
wonder if
era
she is
of video
connected to holy
creation with
magic in some
Heijin.
regard.
Simply
Sepia
type
is
your
hoping
script to
Junwoo
get
will trust her.
started.
As though she
Welcome
is
to the new
overloaded
era
with
of
mana
video
frequently,
creation
she
with
has yet to
Heijin.
hurt the soul
Simply
of an
type
innocent
your
human.
script to get
Junwoo
started.
is a little on edge because
Welcome
he
to
saw
the
what
new
happened to
era of
Victor's
video
body.
creation
I mean,
with
I get
Heijin.
it. You wouldn't want to
Simply
go how
type
that
your
guy
script
went.
to get
Junwoo
started.
wonders if her memories
Welcome
are
to the
erased
new
after the
era of
fight.
video
What's more,
creation with
he doesn't
Heijin.
get why she suddenly
Simply
decided
type
to
your
share
script to
everything.
get started.
It might be out of
Welcome to
fear.
the new era of video
Sepia
creation with
hesitantly asks
Heijin.
if he's an
Simply
investigator
type
of
your
some
script
kind.
to get started.
Junwoo
Welcome
clarifies
to
that
the
he isn't
new era
anything
of
like
video
that. He's just
creation
an
with
ordinary
Heijin.
mercenary like any
Simply
other.
type your
Sepia
script to get
assumed he was an
started.
Easterner based on his
Welcome to the
appearance, but
new
it's a
era of
stretch.
video
Poor guy
creation
didn't
with
know about his
Heijin.
storage character's
Simply
hometown,
type
so
your
he doesn't really
script to
give a
get
damn.
started.
Sepia
Welcome
asked
to
because
the
she
new
heard many
era of
foreigners
video
like to join the
creation
Holy
with
Church.
Heijin.
Junwoo
Simply
quells her
type
worries
your
by
script
stating
to
that
get
he isn't
started.
allied with those people.
Welcome to the
In
new
fact, he
era of
despises
video
such groups to
creation
begin
with
with.
Heijin.
The people of the Holy
Simply
Office are
type your
called the
script
First
to get
Moons of Luna.
started.
They
Welcome
possess
to the
great
new
power,
era
but their
of video
ability to act is
creation with
limited.
Heijin.
They will cut anyone
Simply
down if
type
they
your
belong to a
script to
certain
get
cult.
started.
So in their
Welcome to
methods,
the new
they are
era
quite
of video
unforgiving and
creation
brutal.
with Heijin.
Junwoo explains that if he
Simply
really
type
was
your
an
script to get
investigator, then he
started.
would have killed her on the
Welcome
spot.
to the new
Sepia
era of
has no
video
reason to doubt this
creation with
logic.
Heijin.
The red mercenary
Simply
tells her
type
that
your
it's best
script
they
to
make a
get
joint
started.
story for how they
Welcome
arrived
to
in
the new
Livernos,
era of
as it
video
would save them
creation with
suspicions of the
Heijin.
villagers.
Simply
After all,
type your
if he
script
revealed
to
to her
get
brother that
started.
he made a contract
Welcome
with
to
her,
the new
it would end
era
up
of
pretty
video
bad.
creation
Since she
with
can become a
Heijin.
victim to the range
Simply
effect,
type your script
Junwoo
to get
plots a story to
started.
cure Sepia's
Welcome
injury.
to the new
However,
era of
she thinks
video
it's a bad
creation
excuse,
with
as not even
Heijin.
Sigmund would believe
Simply
such a
type
thing.
your script to get
Instead, he will
started.
strongly reject the
Welcome to
approach.
the new era
Junwoo
of
thinks it's
video
still better than
creation with
opening up about the
Heijin.
details details of the
Simply
contract.
type your script
Sepia
to get
requests
started.
that he make a promise.
Welcome to the new
If in any
era
case,
of video
Sigmund follows
creation
them,
with
she begs
Heijin.
Junwoo to stop
Simply
him.
type your
The
script
boy
to get
grew up
started.
experiencing the worst
Welcome
in the
to the
slums.
new era of
He did
video
everything in his power
creation
to
with
climb up to his
Heijin.
current position.
Simply type your
She doesn't
script
want
to
all
get
his efforts
started.
to be wasted while
Welcome
helping
to the
her.
new era
Sepia
of
feels
video
guilty that her
creation
brother
with
is at risk
Heijin.
of losing his life for
Simply
saving
type your
her.
script to get
Junwoo was
started.
originally banking on the
Welcome to the
possibility
new
that he
era
might
of
convince her
video
brother to come
creation
along,
with Heijin.
but now he has to
Simply
follow her
type your
request.
script to get
He
started.
promises her and looks
Welcome
forward
to
to
the
entering
new
the city,
era of
when
video
out of nowhere
creation
the
with
Knights of
Heijin.
Livernos come rushing.
Simply type your
Sepia
script to
carelessly
get
runs,
started.
happy to return
Welcome
to her
to the
brother.
new era of
Junwoo is
video
cautious of her
creation
and
with
warns her not to
Heijin.
trip and fall.
Simply
Her
type your
excitement might
script to
end
get
up in her
started.
undoing.
Welcome to
On the
the
flip
new
side,
era of video
Sigmund is unlike
creation
his
with
sister.
Heijin.
This dude is livid.
Simply type
He's
your
mad
script
pissed
to get
because he thinks the
started.
girl is being
Welcome
chased by
to
the
the
red
new
bastard.
era of video
Junwoo
creation
experiences
with
an oh shit
Heijin.
moment when
Simply
Sigmund swings
type your
his sword
script to
right in
get
his face.
started.
The sheer
Welcome to
force
the
of his
new
attack
era
is
of
able to send
video
him back.
creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
tries to clarify his
Simply
position,
type
but
your
enraged
script
as
to
he
get
is,
started.
Sigmund doesn't listen
Welcome
to
to the
anyone and
new
swings
era
his
of
sword.
video
Our
creation
boy
with
is barely
Heijin.
dodging and
Simply
blocking his
type
heavy
your
attacks.
script to get
He even
started.
suffers a slash to
Welcome
his
to
face
the
and
new
turns to
era of
Sepia,
video
who sees this
creation
going
with
down.
Heijin.
Junwoo
Simply
realizes that he
type your
messed up
script to
and that
get
she isn't
started.
going to help him at all.
Welcome to the
He's
new
happy
era
that the
of
current
video
Sigmund has yet to
creation with
reach his full
Heijin.
potential from the
Simply
story.
type your
Junwoo
script to get
activates his
started.
barrier, while the
Welcome
leader
to
of the
the
Knights
new era
lunges
of
forth to
video
attack him
creation
again.
with Heijin.
Our boy leaps
Simply
away from
type
his
your
attack
script to
before
get
releasing a
started.
counter kick.
Welcome to the
Impressed,
new era
Sigmund
of
remarks
video
that his skills
creation
are
with
noteworthy,
Heijin.
but he's yet to
Simply
unleash
type your
his full
script to
powers
get
too.
started.
He dodges a sudden
Welcome to the
attack from
new era
Sepia,
of
who
video
interrupts their fight.
creation with
A puzzled
Heijin.
Sigmund doesn't
Simply
get why
type
she
your
interrupted,
script to get
while our boy
started.
over there in the
Welcome
background
to
is
the
out
new
here
era
questioning
of
his
video
choices.
creation with
Sepia calls her
Heijin.
brother an idiot
Simply
for
type
acting
your
recklessly
script to
and
get
risking both their
started.
lives.
Welcome to the new
Unfortunately,
era of
this
video
blabbermouth
creation
accidentally
with
spilled
Heijin.
that her very
Simply
life is
type your
dependent on
script to
Junwoo.
get started.
Sigmund is utterly
Welcome
stumped
to
to
the new
discover this
era of
horrifying
video
reality,
creation
while
with
our
Heijin.
protagonist thinks he now
Simply
has even
type
more
your
explaining
script
to
to get
do.
started.
At last, they're finally
Welcome to
inside
the
the
new
village of
era of
Livernos.
video
In the
creation
reception
with
room,
Heijin.
everything between the three
Simply
of them is
type your
spilled,
script to get
but not in
started.
a way you expected.
Welcome to the new
Junwoo
era
is
of
acting like a
video
doctor from the
creation
Middle
with
East who
Heijin.
cured Sepia's
Simply
curse
type
using
your
his
script to
techniques and
get
saving her
started.
life. Not
Welcome
only
to the
that,
new
he
era
also
of
finished
video
the Black Mages
creation
on
with
his own.
Heijin.
It's a tough
Simply
story to
type your
believe.
script to get
Dude isn't
started.
just a doctor. He's out
Welcome
here
to the
playing
new
Doctor
era of
Strange.
video
Sepia's
creation
brother
with
apologizes
Heijin.
for his sudden
Simply
attacks
type your
and
script to
claims
get
that he doesn't look
started.
anything like the
Welcome to the
description.
new era of
He
video
wonders if many other
creation with
Eastern doctors
Heijin.
are like him.
Simply
His
type
deep
your script to
interrogation
get
is evidence that
started.
Sigmund is going to
Welcome
take
to
a
the
while
new
to
era
convince.
of video creation
Junwoo
with
makes up a story
Heijin.
about how he
Simply
crossed the
type
ocean
your
just to
script to
protect
get
himself.
started.
He also
Welcome to
clarifies
the
that
new
Sepia's
era
curse
of
hasn't
video
completely
creation
cured.
with
The
Heijin.
technique he used is
Simply
just a
type your
temporary
script
means
to
to
get
delay the
started.
curse. Her
Welcome
mark
to
is
the
still in
new
effect
era
and
of
won't be
video
cured like this.
creation with Heijin.
Frustrated,
Simply
Sigmund
type your
asks if
script
there's
to
a way
get
to remedy
started.
his sister for
Welcome
good.
to the new era
The
of video
conversation is going
creation with
exactly in the
Heijin.
direction Junwoo
Simply
wants it
type
to.
your script to
He
get started.
confirms that there is in
Welcome
fact
to
a
the
way,
new era
as he's
of
the
video
best doctor in the
creation with
East.
Heijin.
It's a loudmouth
Simply
excuse that
type your
baffles
script to
Sepia.
get started.
Junwoo comes up with a
Welcome
story
to the
regarding
new
another
era of
poison
video
found in his
creation with
hometown.
Heijin.
The patients who were
Simply
inflicted with
type
such
your
a poison
script
were
to get
monitored during
started.
their treatment,
Welcome
and
to
their
the
medicines
new
were
era of
subject to
video
constant change.
creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
insisted on
Simply
traveling to
type
find
your script
ingredients
to
for
get
new
started.
medicines.
Welcome
Sigmund's
to the
world
new
goes to
era
hell
of
when he
video
hears that Sepia
creation
will
with
have to embark on a
Heijin.
constant
Simply
journey with
type
this
your
guy.
script to get
He immediately
started.
lashes out,
Welcome to the
expressing
new
his
era of
disdain
video
and even
creation
offering
with
himself
Heijin.
instead.
Simply
But
type your
Junwoo
script to
insists
get
that it
started.
won't happen,
Welcome
as
to
the
the
curse
new
will
era
worsen
of
if the
video
medicine isn't
creation with
administered
Heijin.
immediately. He
Simply
roars his
type your
concerns
script to
regarding
get
his little
started.
sister, who
Welcome
literally
to
just
the new
escaped
era
being
of
kidnapped
video
by a bunch of
creation with
bandits.
Heijin.
Sepia tries to
Simply
assure her
type
brother
your
that she will
script to
be
get
okay as
started.
she's feeling
Welcome
alright.
to the
Our
new
boy is
era of
playing the
video
third wheel in this
creation with
brother-sibling
Heijin.
bonding.
Simply type your
Sepia's
script to
brother
get
recommends
started.
that she go and take some
Welcome
rest
to the
because
new
he wants
era
to have
of
a
video
one-on-one
creation
conversation
with
with the doctor.
Heijin.
Happy
Simply
as she
type
is,
your
she's ready
script
to
to get
rest.
started.
Sepia proceeds
Welcome
to
to the
leave,
new
but
era of
Junwoo
video
suddenly grabs her
creation
hand,
with
insisting
Heijin.
on checking her
Simply
pulse.
type your
He
script to
whispers a
get
warning,
started.
instructing her to be
Welcome to
sick
the new
and write
era
a
of
farewell
video
letter to confirm
creation with
leave.
Heijin.
After that, he
Simply
frees her and
type
lets
your
her go.
script to get
Now,
started.
the so-called
Welcome
doctor
to the
is left
new
with the
era
leader
of
of the
video
Knights.
creation with
Sigmund is
Heijin.
done playing around
Simply
and wants him
type
to
your
drop the
script to
bullshit.
get started.
He straight up
Welcome
demands an
to the new
explanation for
era
his
of
identity.
video
Now,
creation
our
with
protagonist
Heijin.
knows his previous
Simply type
excuse
your
won't work
script
in
to
this
get
situation.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome
speaks
to
the
the new
truth and
era of
claims that
video
he's called
creation
Dio,
with
and he's a
Heijin.
mercenary.
Simply
In fact,
type
he was
your
planning to
script to
get a
get
medallion
started.
at Libernos.
Welcome to the
Sigmund is
new
dubious
era
of his
of video
ability to lift the
creation with
curse.
Heijin.
In reality, the
Simply
curse
type
has
your
already been
script to
lifted.
get started.
But Sigmund doesn't know
Welcome
that
to the new
because they
era
can't
of
tell him
video
about the
creation
details of
with
the Pledge of
Heijin.
Liberation.
Simply
Of course,
type
he
your
would never
script to
admit
get
to that.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome to the
emphasizes
new
that he's
era of
cured the
video
curse,
creation
but
with
Sigmund is
Heijin.
sharp. He
Simply
knows this is
type
just
your
a ploy,
script to get
and that the
started.
mercenary keeps
Welcome
lying.
to the new
He
era
just
of
doesn't get why
video
he ended up
creation
saving
with
Sepia from the
Heijin.
bandits,
Simply type
especially
your
by staking
script
his
to
own
get
life on the
started.
line. It
Welcome
just
to
doesn't
the
make any
new
sense.
era of video
After thinking for a
creation with
while,
Heijin.
Junwoo reflects that
Simply
it's the
type your
hardest
script
question
to
for him
get
to answer.
started.
He
Welcome
had to
to
come
the
up with an
new
excuse
era
the
of
first
video
time,
creation
and
with
now he
Heijin.
doesn't really know
Simply
either.
type
He
your
asks
script
if
to
there's a
get
reason for
started.
helping others.
Welcome to the new era
Sigmund
of
glances
video
at him and
creation
admits
with
that he's
Heijin.
uncomfortable leaving
Simply
Sepia
type
like
your
that.
script to
He's
get
too
started.
mysterious about his whereabouts.
Welcome to the new
Sigmund
era
is right
of
on the
video
money, but
creation
still,
with Heijin.
it's not like anyone would
Simply
believe that he
type your
possessed a
script to
trash
get
storage
started.
character.
Welcome to
However,
the new
he
era
admits
of
that the
video
mercenary did
creation
in
with
fact save
Heijin.
his sister.
Simply
Not
type
only
your
that,
script to
he
get
knows about the
started.
details of the curse.
Welcome to the new
This
era
leads him
of
to
video
wonder if Junwoo
creation
can
with
truly
Heijin.
save his sister.
Simply
The
type
man
your
confirms
script
that
to get
apart from him,
started.
no one can
Welcome
save
to
her.
the new
The only
era of
person that
video
might be able to pull it
creation with
off is the
Heijin.
Archbishop of Luna.
Simply type your
But the knight
script to get
despises the
started.
people of the church,
Welcome
just
to the
like
new
Sepia,
era of
which is
video
exactly why
creation with
Junwoo brought them
Heijin.
up.
Simply
wanted him to
type
feel
your
the weight
script
of
to get
comparison between
started.
a mercenary
Welcome
and the
to the
church.
new
It's
era of
obvious that
video
if given the
creation
choice,
with Heijin.
Sigmund would come around
Simply
and
type
select
your
the lesser
script
of
to
the
get
two.
started.
Junwoo furthers
Welcome
that he
to
can
the
help
new
cure the
era of
curse,
video
and even help
creation
them
with
uncover the
Heijin.
missing people of the
Simply
village.
type your
He's
script
fine
to
with
get
exposing
started.
some of his powers to
Welcome
gain
to
the
the
man's
new
trust.
era of video
Sigmund questions
creation
how
with
he would be able to
Heijin.
help them at all.
Simply type
With
your
one
script to
word,
get
back
started.
alley. He
Welcome
provokes
to
the
the
knight, who
new era
immediately
of
draws
video
his sword,
creation with
pointing it at the
Heijin.
red mercenary
Simply
with his
type your
seething
script
rage.
to get
The sheer
started.
force scratched
Welcome to the
Junwoo's
new
face.
era of
He
video
recommends the vice
creation
captain
with
to stand down
Heijin.
and come to his
Simply
senses.
type your
It's
script
not a
to get
surprise he
started.
reacted so heavily
Welcome
against
to
such
the
a
new
name.
era of
Junwoo
video
confirms that he
creation with
probably
Heijin.
believed the
Simply
disappearances of the
type your
people were
script to
somehow
get
connected
started.
to the back alleys.
Welcome to the
He
new
also
era
wonders
of
just how
video
Sigmund
creation
initiated
with
the search
Heijin.
for his sister when she
Simply
went
type
missing.
your script to get
Junwoo is
started.
almost certain that he wanted to
Welcome to
raze
the
the
new
back
era
alleys to
of
the
video
ground just to find
creation
her.
with
The
Heijin.
criminals reigning in the
Simply
back
type
alleys
your
are
script to
extremely
get
powerful,
started.
to the point they
Welcome
gave
to
the
the
knights
new
a really
era
tough
of video
time.
creation
Because of
with
Sigmund's
Heijin.
actions, he has
Simply
stirred up a
type
bunch
your
of trouble
script
for
to get
himself.
started.
Sigmund is
Welcome
tired
to
of
the
his
new
constant
era
chatter,
of video
but it's the only
creation
way
with
Junwoo can
Heijin.
demonstrate his
Simply
worth.
type your
He
script to
can't
get
really think of
started.
another way after
Welcome
all.
to the
The
new
Blue
era
Knight
of
questions
video
just how the Red
creation with
Mercenary could
Heijin.
prove his worth.
Simply type
But
your
for that
script
part,
to get
Junwoo
started.
replies with a
Welcome to
confident
the new
smirk,
era of
stating that
video
he's already
creation
figured
with
everything out.
Heijin.
He's dead
Simply
certain of a
type
way
your
to
script to
completely
get
annihilate the
started.
criminals of the back
Welcome to the
alley.
new
After
era
laying
of
down his
video
plan,
creation with
Sigmund is
Heijin.
convinced that he isn't
Simply
just
type
bluffing.
your script to
It's a
get
convincing
started.
strategy to take them
Welcome to
down,
the new era
which
of
makes him
video
wonder if
creation
Junwoo has
with
been around in
Heijin.
Libernos before.
Simply type
The
your
Red
script to
Mercenary
get
confirms
started.
that he used to be an
Welcome
army
to the
surgeon,
new era
so
of
he's
video
also done a bit of
creation with
investigation work
Heijin.
from around here.
Simply
He
type
wants
your
to acquire
script
the
to get
trust of the
started.
knight, who finally
Welcome
gives
to the
in,
new era
as
of
Sigmund
video
questions what he
creation
wants for
with
helping them.
Heijin.
Later,
Simply
Sigmund
type
thinks
your
that even
script
with
to
the
get
investigation
started.
aspect of it,
Welcome to
he
the
couldn't
new
have
era
deduced
of
so
video
much based on
creation
rumors
with
alone.
Heijin.
The fact that he was
Simply
able to
type your
figure out a
script to get
connection between
started.
Sigmund and the
Welcome to
underground
the new
criminals
era
is
of
shocking.
video creation
But the
with
reality
Heijin.
is, he has been
Simply
wanting to
type your
get rid of those
script to
crooks
get
for a while
started.
now.
Welcome
Sigmund
to
is
the
betting
new
on this
era
new
of
guy to
video
show his skills
creation
and
with
solve some of
Heijin.
his problems.
Simply
But
type
since
your
he still
script to
doesn't
get
trust him
started.
fully, he
Welcome
decides
to
to
the new
monitor him in
era of
secret.
video
The Red
creation with
Mercenary stumbles
Heijin.
into the market,
Simply type your
observing and
script to
scouting
get
for any
started.
potential details that
Welcome
may
to
have
the new
changed
era
since the
of
game's
video
recent
creation
update.
with Heijin.
Nothing about Libernos has
Simply type
changed.
your script
It's
to
just a
get
busy
started.
street like it used to be
Welcome
with
to the
people
new
filled
era
around.
of video
But this
creation with
exact same
Heijin.
location leads to the
Simply
secret
type your
alleyway that
script to
leads to
get
the criminal
started.
underground.
Welcome to the
Initially,
new
when
era
he
of
played over
video
the fantasy the
creation
first
with
time,
Heijin.
Libernos was his
Simply
first
type
city.
your script to
He
get
remembers how
started.
this story ended up in
Welcome
the
to the
back
new
alleys.
era
In
of
fact,
video
he remembers
creation
it
with
vividly.
Heijin.
But the
Simply
experience in
type your
person,
script to
seeing
get
the emptiness
started.
of the alleyway,
Welcome to the
it
new
creeps him
era
out
of
when he's
video
playing for real.
creation with
In the
Heijin.
underworld, there are
Simply
two
type your
main
script to
opposing
get
factions that
started.
govern it. The
Welcome to
first
the
party
new
is the
era of
moderate party
video
called Golden
creation with
Dawn,
Heijin.
while the second
Simply
party
type your
comprises
script to get
extremists.
started.
These
Welcome
people are
to the
known as the
new
Gore
era of
Howl.
video
With the
creation with
progression of the
Heijin.
story, the second
Simply
faction
type your
completely
script to get
devours the
started.
first. Thus, the
Welcome to the
underground
new
becomes the
era of
land of the
video
extremists.
creation with Heijin.
But also in the
Simply
original
type
story,
your script to
Sigmund
get
ended up
started.
on a rampage
Welcome
after his
to the
little
new
sister's
era
death.
of video
He
creation
annihilated the
with
extremists,
Heijin.
as well as
Simply
the rest
type
of the
your
criminals
script to get
underground
started.
as revenge.
Welcome
But
to
this
the new
time,
era of
things are
video
different.
creation with Heijin.
The story has experienced a
Simply
clear
type your
shift with
script to
Sepia's
get
survival.
started.
Now, the vice
Welcome to
captain
the
has no
new
interest
era
in
of video
despising the criminal
creation with
underworld,
Heijin.
and so he would
Simply
never
type
embark
your
on a
script to
ruthless
get
rampage
started.
to end them.
Welcome
From
to
this
the
point
new era
onwards,
of
the
video
story is filled in
creation
gray
with
for even our
Heijin.
hardcore
Simply
gamer.
type your
Yet,
script
thanks
to
to
get
his knowledge of
started.
the original story,
Welcome to the
he has
new
exactly
era of
what he
video
needs to finish the
creation with
job.
Heijin.
Junwoo recalls
Simply
that in the
type your
original
script
game,
to get
the Golden
started.
Dawn faction was
Welcome to the
demolished by
new
the Gore
era of
Howl
video
extremists.
creation with Heijin.
That's also due to the fact
Simply
that
type
Sigmund
your
had
script to
previously
get
damaged
started.
much of their party
Welcome
through
to
his
the new
knights.
era
The
of
current
video
phase of the story
creation
is
with
exactly
Heijin.
that.
Simply
Junwoo
type
sneaks
your
inside the
script to
Golden
get
Dawn's
started.
base and maintains a
Welcome to
false
the new
identity of
era
an
of
inspector
video
general.
creation with
Rudens is
Heijin.
especially happy that
Simply
someone came
type
to
your script to
apologize
get
on their
started.
behalf, since Sigmund is a
Welcome to the
hard
new
ass who
era
doesn't
of
extend
video
them the same
creation with
kindness.
Heijin.
Junwoo pretends to be
Simply
homies
type
with
your
them and
script to
assures the
get
man that they
started.
will no longer mess
Welcome
with the
to the
affairs
new
of the
era of
underground
video
back alleys.
creation with
Smiling with
Heijin.
this outcome,
Simply
Junwoo
type
thinks
your
that the
script
leader
to
of the
get
Golden
started.
Dawn wouldn't think
Welcome
twice
to
to
the
back
new
out from
era
this
of
deal,
video creation
especially
with
since they're on the
Hagen.
brink of collapse.
Simply type
It
your
still doesn't
script to
change the
get
fact that
started.
he's one heck
Welcome
of a
to the
criminal,
new
but playing
era
the
of
hero of
video
justice is
creation
not our
with
boy's
Hagen.
objective right now.
Simply
He
type
bids
your
farewell
script
to
to get
Grandpa Rudens
started.
over here and prepares
Welcome
to
to the
leave.
new
The
era
first
of
part of the
video
strategy for the
creation
days
with
ahead is
Hagen.
set.
Simply
Now,
type
the
your
red
script to
mercenary
get
has to take
started.
care of the storage
Welcome
NPC
to the new
nearby.
era of
When he's
video
done with that,
creation with
Junwoo takes
Hagen.
it to leveling up his
Simply
skills
type
by
your
killing
script
rat
to get
monsters and
started.
grinding his way
Welcome
down.
to the
He
new era
slashes
of
his
video
giant ass sword
creation
in the
with
creature's
Hagen.
stomach before drawing
Simply
it out
type
and
your
slashing
script
the
to
one
get
from
started.
behind.
Welcome
The
to the
rats are
new
wasted
era
in
of
an
video
instant by the Red
creation
Ranger.
with Hagen.
He inspects the
Simply
status window
type
and
your
discovers
script
that
to
he
get
met a skill
started.
evolution
Welcome
requirement.
to the new era of
Despite meeting
video
the skill
creation with
requirement,
Hagen.
Junwoo reflects that he has
Simply
yet to
type your
experience
script
an
to get
actual change in
started.
the skill itself.
Welcome to the
While
new
he's
era of
inspecting the
video
status screen,
creation with
one of the rat
Hagen.
bastards
Simply
lunges
type
forward
your
to strike him
script to
down.
get started.
He shoots him a good
Welcome
glance
to the
before
new era
activating
of
his
video
powerful defense
creation with
barrier.
Hagen.
The rat is unable
Simply
to penetrate
type
the
your
shield.
script to get
Little
started.
guy is actually sweating
Welcome to
bullets
the
because
new
he knows
era
he
of
fucked
video
up.
creation
Junwoo
with
crushes him
Hagen.
with the swing of his
Simply
sword,
type your
sending the
script to
clown
get
back to his
started.
circus of friends.
Welcome to the
For his
new era
masterpiece
of
of a
video
performance,
creation with
Junwoo
Hagen.
unleashes the explosion
Simply
ability.
type your script to get
He loves
started.
abusing explosion
Welcome
effects
to the
like
new
Michael Bay
era
in his
of video
movies.
creation
Right as
with
he's done with
Hagen.
laying waste to the
Simply
monsters,
type
a
your
priest
script
comes
to
to
get
check up on
started.
him. He tells
Welcome to
Priest
the
Krupus
new
that he's
era of
perfectly
video
fine.
creation with
After all,
Hagen.
the salamander
Simply
armor
type
he's
your
wearing
script to
isn't
get
just for show.
started.
It
Welcome to
specifically
the
works
new
against
era
his
of
own
video
fire resistance
creation
spell,
with Heijin.
negating any
Simply
potential
type your
threats or
script to
damage.
get started.
Krupus comments on his
Welcome to the
incredible
new
strength.
era of video
His magic
creation
shattered
with
his holy
Heijin.
shield after all.
Simply
The
type your
defensive
script to
barrier
get
that protected
started.
him was actually
Welcome
the
to
work
the
of
new
Krupus
era of
instead
video
of Junwoo.
creation with
This
Heijin.
priest represents the
Simply
Luna
type
Temple,
your script to
and they
get
met each
started.
other soon after
Welcome
Junwoo
to the
signed up
new
as a
era of
mercenary for
video
Libernas to
creation
take
with
on a bunch of
Heijin.
different quests.
Simply type
His
your
first
script
quest
to get
involved monster
started.
extermination.
Welcome to
As
the
you can
new era
expect,
of
the dude
video
just killed all
creation
of the
with
rat men
Heijin.
that were stirring trouble in
Simply
the
type your
sewers.
script to get
In return,
started.
he was rewarded with
Welcome to the
performance
new
points
era
and
of
gold.
video
Junwoo
creation
wanted
with
to take this
Heijin.
quest on his own,
Simply
but
type your
figured it'd be
script to get
beneficial to have a
started.
priest go with him.
Welcome to the
Krupus
new
is so
era of
happy that
video
the mercenaries'
creation with
efforts have greatly
Heijin.
helped with their
Simply type
investigation
your script
missions.
to get
Junwoo
started.
thinks little of his
Welcome to the
accomplishments
new
and
era
thanks
of
him back
video
for helping him out a
creation with
bunch.
Heijin.
Krupus asks
Simply
if they
type
need to
your
explore
script
the
to get
deeper levels
started.
of the sewers,
Welcome to
and
the
even
new
recommends
era of
stopping.
video
Junwoo
creation with
confirms and
Heijin.
thinks that they've already
Simply
taken
type
care
your
of most of
script
the
to get
ratmen,
started.
which means they have
Welcome
achieved
to
their
the new
objective.
era of video
Junwoo tries to
creation
exit
with
the sewers,
Heijin.
with Krupus
Simply
left
type your
standing there,
script to get
proud to
started.
bless him with his prayers.
Welcome to the
As
new
he's making
era of
way,
video
Krupus marks a
creation with
malicious grin on
Heijin.
his face.
Simply
He
type your
confirms from a
script to
note
get
regarding the
started.
mercenaries' powers.
Welcome to the new
After
era
all,
of video
this guy was
creation with
secretly recruited
Heijin.
by the Archbishop
Simply
Paul
type
to
your
search for
script
the
to get
mysterious
started.
Monte.
Welcome to the
Krupus
new
ended up
era
being a
of
fake
video
friend.
creation with
Junwoo is
Heijin.
confronted by a bunch of
Simply
crooks.
type your
They're the
script to get
extremists of the
started.
Gore Howl
Welcome
faction,
to the new
and they
era of
believe he's a
video
spy from the
creation
Golden
with
Dawn.
Heijin.
He's not
Simply type
surprised
your
that word
script
got
to
to their
get
ears pretty
started.
fast.
Welcome to the
It's the
new
criminal
era of
world, so they
video
were
creation
anticipating
with
him anyway.
Heijin.
The crooks
Simply
call him an
type your
arrogant
script to
fool
get
for treating
started.
them like a weak
Welcome
group and
to the new
underestimating
era
their
of video
abilities,
creation
proudly
with
announcing
Heijin.
themselves as the
Simply
Gore
type
Howl,
your
with
script to
sword
get
in hand.
started.
The man points
Welcome
his
to the
weapon at
new
him.
era of
In
video
response,
creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
simply laughs.
Simply
It's the
type your
perfect time
script
to
to get
grind these
started.
losers until he gets to
Welcome
level
to the
90.
new era
He
of video
expresses his simple
creation
desire
with
to meet their
Heijin.
leader.
Simply
But he
type your
also knows
script
that
to
these
get
chumps won't
started.
let him pass until he
Welcome to
beats
the
them
new
black
era
and
of
blue.
video
Provoked by
creation
his
with
innocent
Heijin.
words, the
Simply
Gore Howl
type your
warriors
script to get
advance forward to
started.
strike him down.
Welcome to the new era
Junwoo
of
smirks
video
with confidence,
creation with
happy to
Heijin.
take them on.
Simply
It doesn't
type your
take him
script
long,
to get
but eventually,
started.
Junwoo
Welcome
smashes
to the
one of their
new
men to the
era of
boss's
video
office.
creation
The
with
leader of the Gore
Heijin.
Howl faction
Simply
is a woman
type your
who wasn't
script to get
expecting one guy to
started.
beat her goons.
Welcome to the new
Junwoo is
era of
pleasantly
video
surprised.
creation with
He found the
Heijin.
exact person he was
Simply
looking
type your
for,
script to
their
get
leader.
started.
He tosses the man
Welcome
on the
to the
ground,
new era
thanking
of
him for the
video
guide.
creation with
The leader
Heijin.
acknowledges
Simply
Junwoo as the
type your
Easterner
script to
who
get
sided with
started.
Sigmund and then
Welcome
went
to
to
the
the
new
Golden Dawn
era of
faction.
video creation
She's
with
curious why he's
Heijin.
here.
Simply
Junwoo
type your
explains that
script
he's
to
here to
get
clean up the
started.
mess, to
Welcome
cleanse
to
the
the
back
new
alleys
era
for
of
good.
video
It's
creation
quite
with
the inviting
Heijin.
challenge, enough
Simply
to make
type
the
your
leader of
script to
Gore
get
Howl break
started.
into laughter.
Welcome
She
to the
knows it's a
new era
lie
of
as the
video
vice captain of the
creation with
Knights wouldn't let an
Heijin.
outsider
Simply
handle
type
all of
your
his
script to
problems.
get started.
She smashes a bottle right
Welcome
next
to
to
the
him,
new
and
era
before
of
fully
video
gearing up for
creation
battle,
with
she
Heijin.
questions if he's here
Simply
to
type
declare
your
war.
script to get
The innocent
started.
mercenary calmly
Welcome to
declines
the
any
new
such
era of
intention,
video
surprising
creation
her
with
with his
Heijin.
refusal. She
Simply type
inquires
your
the meaning
script to
behind
get
his words.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome to the
clarifies
new
that while
era of
Sigmund does
video
want him to
creation
execute
with
this
Heijin.
request, he's
Simply
not playing
type
the
your
part of
script
being
to
his
get
servant
started.
and following every
Welcome
order.
to the new
The
era
real
of
reason he
video
has come here is to
creation
prove
with Heijin.
unification of the back
Simply
alleys.
type your
It's a
script to get
grandiose goal
started.
that infuriates
Welcome
her.
to the new
She
era
readies
of
her
video
underlings to beat the
creation
shit
with
out of him for
Heijin.
making such a crude
Simply
joke.
type your
The
script to
Gore
get
Howl men all
started.
gather together to
Welcome
jump
to
this
the new
guy,
era of
thinking they'll
video
have an edge in
creation with
numbers.
Heijin.
And boy are they
Simply
wrong,
type your
because
script to
this guy
get
literally
started.
blocks an arrow
Welcome
at
to the new
point-blank
era
range.
of video creation
Junwoo
with
assesses the
Heijin.
situation.
Simply
He has
type
to
your
care for
script to
20
get
men, but
started.
thankfully there aren't any
Welcome to
annoying
the new
mages in the
era of
group.
video creation
One of the
with
men
Heijin.
charges at him with an
Simply
aerial
type your
slash.
script to get
Junwoo
started.
carves his blade out of his
Welcome to the
inventory
new
and
era
dices
of
these
video
guys with his
creation
slashing
with
skill.
Heijin.
What was supposed to
Simply
be a
type
normal
your script
slash
to
is
get
actually a
started.
really powerful
Welcome
ability
to
for
the
him
new
now.
era of
One
video
simple attack
creation
pushed
with
many men on the
Heijin.
back foot.
Simply
His
type your
overwhelming
script to
strength
get
made them
started.
question if he's some kind
Welcome
of
to the
magic
new
swordsman
era
with
of video
abilities of both the
creation
sword
with
and
Heijin.
spells. They don't
Simply
dare to go
type
near
your
his
script
blade
to get
after all.
started.
The skill level
Welcome to
between
the
him
new
and the rest
era
of them
of
is
video
vast.
creation with
But Junwoo
Heijin.
isn't planning to let
Simply
them sit
type
there
your
all day.
script to get
He goes on
started.
the offensive and
Welcome to
approaches
the
one of the
new era
guys.
of video
charges a
creation
full-blown
with
fist in
Heijin.
his stomach,
Simply
throwing this
type
guy
your
on top of
script
the
to
other
get
clowns.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome
smirks
to
for
the
having
new era
annihilated
of
them
video
with little to no
creation with
difficulty.
Heijin.
He taunts the
Simply
final
type your
warrior and
script
the
to
leader
get
of the Gore
started.
Howl group for
Welcome
simply
to the
watching
new
the
era
fight.
of video
Tusk is getting
creation
more and
with
more
Heijin.
enraged as time goes
Simply
by,
type your
but
script
Junwoo
to
has
get
secured an
started.
upper hand.
Welcome to
He
the
tells
new
her that her
era
game
of
won't
video
end well because
creation
he'll
with
destroy her
Heijin.
underlings.
Simply
Tusk is
type your
done sitting
script to
around
get
and roars to
started.
take the fight
Welcome
herself.
to the new
She
era
charges
of
like a
video
wild beast to
creation
claw
with
him down.
Heijin. Simply type
Junwoo
your
exchanges
script to
his
get
first clash
started.
against her,
Welcome
which is
to the
enough to
new
overwhelm
era
him
of
in
video
strength.
creation
Tusk
with
foolishly
Heijin.
believes that he's
Simply
nothing
type your
compared to him
script
in
to
terms
get
of skill.
started.
Junwoo
Welcome to
compares
the
her
new
strength
era
to the
of
vice
video
captain of the
creation
Knights,
with Heijin.
Sigmund.
Simply
In
type
terms
your
of
script
strength,
to get
she has the
started.
clear upper hand.
Welcome to the new
But our
era
boy
of
has a bunch
video
of tricks in
creation
store.
with
He
Heijin.
breaks the clash,
Simply
inviting
type your
Tusk to
script to
swing
get
for a killing
started.
blow with her final
Welcome
attack.
to the new
Her
era
axe
of
is
video
seconds away from
creation with
dismantling his
Heijin.
head.
Simply
Then,
type your
something
script to get
happens.
started.
Tusk can't
Welcome
believe
to
what
the
she's
new
seeing.
era of
This
video
guy blocked the
creation
axe with
with
his arm,
Heijin.
an impossible
Simply
feat.
type your script to
It's
get
all thanks
started.
to the level 100
Welcome to
equipment
the
that our
new
boy
era of
acquired,
video
massively
creation with
increasing his base
Heijin.
stats.
Simply
Tusk
type your
comes to the
script to get
realization
started.
that she's facing
Welcome
an
to
artifact
the new
user.
era of video
NPC characters
creation
don't know
with
anything
Heijin.
about equipment and
Simply
stuff,
type your
so they
script
call
to get
these things
started.
artifacts inside
Welcome
the
to the
game.
new
It
era
seems
of
like a
video
detail to glance
creation
over
with
at first,
Heijin.
but even according
Simply
to the
type
game
your
settings,
script to get
certain
started.
equipment called the
Welcome
artifacts
to
are
the
deemed
new
highly
era of
desired.
video
Faced
creation
with a
with
disadvantage
Heijin.
and unable to
Simply
pierce his
type
armor,
your script to
Tusk
get
hesitantly
started.
questions if he can win
Welcome
this
to the
brawl
new
because
era
of
of
one
video
measly
creation
artifact.
with
She
Heijin.
charges at him with her
Simply
shield.
type your script
Junwoo
to get
responds with a
started.
thunderous fist,
Welcome to the
confirming
new
that he
era
can,
of
in
video
fact,
creation
defeat her
with
like this.
Heijin.
His punch
Simply
penetrates
type
her
your
defenses,
script to get
causing her a
started.
great deal of pain
Welcome
upon
to the
impact.
new era
She
of
is
video
forced to take a
creation
knee,
with
defenseless
Heijin.
from his
Simply
overwhelming
type
attack.
your script to
The
get
unique
started.
equipment Junwoo is
Welcome
wearing is
to the
called the
new era
Instigation
of video
Set, and it's
creation
not for
with
show but to
Heijin.
kick ass.
Simply type your script
The
to
base
get
strength
started.
stat increase alone
Welcome
is a
to the
boost of
new
over
era of
150
video
points.
creation
It's
with
nothing to
Heijin.
scoff at. Even
Simply
with level
type your
difference,
script to get
Tusk is
started.
simply outmatched by
Welcome
his
to
better
the new
equipment.
era of
Unable
video
to accept
creation
defeat,
with
Tusk
Heijin.
roars in an
Simply
outrage and
type your
surprises
script to get
Junwoo with her sudden
started.
recovery.
Welcome
She
to the
tackles
new
him with
era
the full
of video
force of her axe,
creation with
forcing him to
Heijin.
block.
Simply type
She's
your
gone
script to
berserk,
get
scaring
started.
even the likes of
Welcome
him.
to the new
It
era
ended
of
up in a
video
dangerous battle
creation
which
with
guaranteed a
Heijin.
difficult victory.
Simply type your
Junwoo was
script to
barely
get
able to catch
started.
her punch.
Welcome
This
to
man
the
goes
new
for a
era
full
of
force
video
takedown by swinging
creation
her
with
body down to the
Heijin.
ground.
Simply
It
type
leaves
your
Tusk with a
script to
stinging
get
impact.
started.
With this, the
Welcome
fight
to
is
the
over
new
as she's
era
fully
of
knocked
video
out.
creation
Her
with
underlings have
Heijin.
just seen her go
Simply
down by
type
the
your
red
script to
mercenary,
get
who
started.
threatens to kill her.
Welcome to the new
He
era
recommends
of
they stay
video
right where they
creation
are
with
if they want their
Heijin.
leader to stay in
Simply
one
type your
piece.
script
So
to
they're
get
forced to
started.
obey him.
Welcome to the
Finally,
new
the
era
fight
of
is over.
video creation with
Junwoo
Heijin.
is somewhat impressed by his
Simply
current
type
level,
your script to
but he
get
knows
started.
there's a long way for him to
Welcome
go.
to the new era of
Letting out a
video
sigh of
creation
relief,
with Heijin.
he's actually missing
Simply
Raymond's
type your
annoying
script
chatter.
to get
Poor
started.
guy is wondering how
Welcome
that
to the
imbecile
new
is holding
era
up
of
right
video
now,
creation
especially
with
since he's
Heijin.
the first friend he
Simply
ever made in
type
the
your
game.
script to get
Speaking of
started.
Raymond, the dude is
Welcome to
currently
the
being
new
brutally
era of
tortured.
video
The
creation
other
with
guys that were in his
Heijin.
party and paired up
Simply
with
type your
Junwoo
script
have
to
already
get
been killed.
started. Welcome
Raymond
to
is
the
crying
new
for a
era
chance
of
to be
video
free, but his
creation with
oppressor is Lady
Heijin.
Scarlet, who has
Simply
come to
type
seek
your
her answers
script to
in
get
brutal
started.
ways. She asks her
Welcome to the
minion
new
ghoul if they
era
were
of
able to
video
discover any
creation
new
with
information.
Heijin.
The ghoul
Simply
remarks
type
that
your
Raymond and
script
his
to get
friends were forced to
started.
spew everything
Welcome
for the
to the
sake of their
new era
lives.
of video
The last thing they
creation
know
with
about Monte
Heijin.
is that he left on
Simply
a
type your
carriage.
script to get
Even the carriage
started.
driver was killed.
Welcome to the
He
new
said that the
era
man
of
suddenly
video
dropped himself in
creation
the
with
plains.
Heijin.
Scarlet
Simply
pities the
type
poor
your
party
script to
members
get
who chimed in
started.
with confidence and
Welcome to the
loyalty,
new era of
only to end
video
up spilling
creation with
everything.
Heijin.
She questions if
Simply
this is the
type
end
your
result of
script to
Raymond's
get
loyalty
started.
to his friend.
Welcome to the
Scarlet
new
despises
era of
weak
video
concepts like
creation with
loyalty in the first
Heijin.
place, as
Simply
they're the
type your
easiest way to
script to
promise
get
one's
started.
suffering. One of her
Welcome
men
to the
comes to
new
report to
era of
Scarlet
video
about a message.
creation with
It's a note
Heijin.
regarding a suspicious
Simply type your
mercenary who is
script to
making
get
way in
started.
Libernos.
Welcome
The
to the
details are
new
the
era
same,
of video
outlining his
creation with
explosion skill
Heijin.
and use of
Simply
swordsmanship in
type your
battle.
script to get
It's the same as the
started.
monster hunter
Welcome
she's
to the
searching
new
for.
era of
She wonders
video
if they could
creation
catch
with
this mercenary
Heijin.
and uncover
Simply
Monty's
type your
identity.
script to get
In
started.
fact, Scarlet is hoping for this mysterious mercenary to end up as Monty. She commands her group to prepare a journey for Libernos. As for poor Raymond, he's promised a brutal death. Scarlet initially told him that she would let him go, but he's a fool for believing in her word, and that's how Junwoo's first friend met his brutal demise. Back to the mercenary in red and his adventures in the criminal underground. Tusk questions why he refused to kill her when he had every opportunity to. Junwoo emphasizes that he came here for a discussion, instead of obliterating their faction. Forced to listen to him this time around, Tusk asks what he's looking for. Junwoo goes back to his part about Sigmund, explaining how the vice captain wants the unification of the two forces in the back alleys. However, Junwoo adds his own twist and acts like he hates that concept. After all, it would require him to stay and keep an eye on the alliance to make sure everything stays in place. To avoid that fate, Junwoo proposes that Tusk be the person to unify the back alleys instead of him. It's a sudden request, and a strange one too. She's confused. Junwoo explains that he's already tried this speech with the leader of the Golden Dawn faction, but they weren't cut out for the job because they're traitors with the mask of good people. Instead, he actually likes Tusk and the way she operates. He's ready to inform the vice captain that he has unified the back alleys under his command, but in reality, it will be Tusk who will supervise and rule the back alleys in his absence. It's going to be exactly like she originally wanted. She would supersede the control of the Golden Dawn. A whole 10 years had passed since this baldhead joined the Gorehowl faction. Times were tough at first, as the criminals weren't split into factions of two, but operated individually and attacked just about anyone. One person became the sole benefactor of all, responsible for uniting the criminals and ending their violence and pain. That person was in fact Tusk herself, the boss of the Gorehowl faction. She was violent beyond violence, and possessed a heroic charm with an astonishing ability to lead others. Because of her ambition to one day conquer the back alleys and completely control Libernos under her foot, the man decided to join her for life. Well, that's where our boy, the Red Mercenary, chimed in. That dream of Tusk from over a decade ago can now easily be fulfilled by one simple proposal. She easily accepts without a second thought, much to the dismay of the Baldy who feels bad. Poor guy is feeling miserable that she accepted an outsider's proposal with ease. Anyway, Junwoo lays out the plan. He wants Tusk to install bombs in the city before blowing them off. Yes, you heard that exactly right. He said bombs, and he also said blowing. Bro is about to pull an Oppenheimer sequence out of his ass. After that, he instructs her to defeat the remaining members of the Golden Dawn faction, who will assume that they're the ones being attacked. It's going to be an easy victory for the Gorehowl faction because of how weak their opponents currently are. Tusk is worried about the intervention of the knights who could clearly become an obstacle in her way. But Junwoo is here for exactly that purpose. He guarantees that the knights, instead of stopping them, will choose to help and turn the tide to their favor. Everything will be recorded as such. Tusk's group will become responsible for stopping the terrors of the Golden Dawn, and at the same time saving citizens as a consequence. She could catapult herself into fame and instantly become the ruler of the back alleys. It's quite the decent plan, but something is fishy, and even the baldhead senses it. He just can't trust Sigmund happily letting them do as they please. He wonders if this hotshot mercenary has any idea what he's doing while plotting a unification plan. Sensing that it's a devious trap to destroy the Gorehowls, the man raises his voice to object to his plan. He can't let his boss be fooled by such an openly blatantly insulting plan. But Tusk has already made up her mind and tells him to keep his mouth shut. After all, if Junwoo insisted, he could have wiped them clean, so this is nothing more than a golden opportunity for them to get everything they ever wanted. Without wasting a second, she orders her men to prepare the explosives for the execution of his plan. They have no choice but to obey. Even the blind Baldy is shocked that Tusk is trusting him without an ounce of skepticism or doubt. For the sake of his leader, he decides to plot a plan of his own. The scene switches to our lovable Sepia. She sees Junwoo, who has returned to check up on her health. Sepia explains that she's fine for the most part, but every time he travels far, she senses an odd feeling in her heart. It's almost as if she's being suffocated from the inside. Sepia wonders if it's okay for her to feel that way. Junwoo shrugs, believing that it would be fine as long as they don't travel too far from each other. So far, he's been meticulous about their distance. But now, he's starting to feel the necessity to keep her close by so she doesn't get afraid of the side effects. Junwoo confirms that he's almost done with his business in Libernas, which means it's time to leave and head to the next destination. Sepia has no choice but to leave with him, so he recommends that she make good use of her time and do just that. Sepia agrees, accepting the cold reality. The fact that she has to leave her beloved hometown and stray from her family is obviously going to leave anyone like her depressed. But unfortunately, not even Junwoo, the hardcore pro gamer who is good at everything, can do anything about her situation. He pats her head, comforting her with what little effort he can, and expresses that they'll probably find a way to break the pledge safely somehow. To make it better for Sepia, he offers to show her the most beautiful view of Libernas unlike anything she's ever seen before. In the next scene, Junwoo reflects on his previous thought about being an inadequate person when it comes to matters of the heart. He turns to face the vice captain of the Night Corps, who had been waiting for him until he finished speaking to Sepia. But Sigmund is irritated and reminds him to know his place. In fact, he knows everything about Junwoo's activity, since he sent off a spy to observe him the entire week. He was really surprised to find out that he went to both factions and even signed up as a mercenary to finish a quest in the sewers. Sigmund is curious why he felt the need to enter the sewers at all, or if it had to do with money. Junwoo internalizes that he knew he was being followed. Sigmund explains that he doesn't have details about much else, but his reckless decision to enter the Gore Howl base was still dangerous. After all, those criminals are quick to do the worst to any person. Not like this guy is worried about Junwoo's health or anything. All he cares about is what would have become of Sepia if he died. The Red Mercenary assures him that he's keeping track of what he's doing. He advises Sigmund to operate on moving the Night Corps the right way. He agrees and learns that Junwoo's plan is to help capture the Gore Howls by making them believe the Knights of Libernas are by their side. In short, it's going to be a betrayal of trust and expectations. Junwoo wants Tusk's group to finish off the Golden Dawn members, and only then will the Knights sweep in to capture the Gore Howls. Sigmund is pleasantly surprised about the mention of a signal. Junwoo happily confesses that the signal will be loud and clear. After all, they're going to be a cluster of explosions. The vice captain doesn't like the fact that this man literally endangered the lives of innocents for this plan, but our boy assures him that they will all be fine. 4 days after their discussion, the day of the ultimate battle has at last arrived. The people of Libernas experienced a season of tranquility and peace in these 4 days, but unbeknownst to them, a long and agonizing battle was about to take place, and preparations were underway. Tusk was happy as she could ever be. Her men had just finished installing the explosives in the designated plaza. All she has to do now is play the waiting game for the bombs to explode at noon. She thinks her time to shine and fulfill her ambitions is moments away. After all, she has received a great benefactor aiding her cause and helping the unification of the back alleys all at once. They could have always overcome the Golden Dawn faction, but always struggled against the Libernas Knights. However, that is no longer the obstacle, thanks to Junwoo's intervention, who supposedly solved everything for her. She can't wait for noon to arrive. Her blood boils in excitement, and the wait feels longer than ever. Then, she experienced a sudden feeling, a feeling that she had honed after many battles. Her intuition could not rest but inform her of an incoming danger. The realization hit at last. Enraged, she got up and approached the crate. After lifting the shed, she was baffled to find a set of explosives just underneath their own hideout. It was left with a note by the same damn cheating mercenary who concocted this plan in the first place. Destruction. The bombs annihilated the base. Interestingly, the Libernas people saw fireworks happening around the same time. They couldn't fathom why there were pretty fireworks in the air when there wasn't any festival going on. It led them to wonder if their gracious lord is thinking of their people. Sepia also saw those beautiful fireworks from her window. As for our cheeky protagonist, he's annoyed that the Gore Howl group installed tons and tons of explosives. He had to manually replace each and every single one of the explosives with a Christmas firework item for this plan to work. It helped save the civilians and made for a nice view. The Libernas people are overjoyed to find such a beautiful scene, as if it were a blessing from the heavens. But not even they couldn't ignore the rampant fire engulfing a house. Believing that it must have been caused by the fireworks, they decide to call the guards. Junwoo had to do nothing in this fight. The explosives took care of the entire Gore Howl group for him, including Tusk, which helped rack up a bunch of experience points. It was a huge explosion, so it's clear no one survived. The only members who survived are currently killing the Golden Dawn members like fools. They call out Rudens, the opposing faction's leader. In the conclusion to their bloody battle, the only person who benefited was Junwoo. He cleared a quest and acquired experience points, as well as an honorary badge. 1 hour is nearly done, and before long the Knights will be here to take care of the mess. Speaking of the Knights, Sigmund and his men are quick to storm to the battlefront. Junwoo is overjoyed to see them in action. While they're cleaning up the mess, he decides to check up on Sepia, deciding that it would be the best course of action to take her away while her brother gets his hands full. He doesn't want to risk a change of heart at the last moment by reuniting them. As she is witnessing the beautiful fireworks, Sepia wonders if this is the view he promised to her. She struggles with the thought of leaving the village. Sepia is startled when a person comes to her door. She remembers locking it in place, so it doesn't make sense that it busted open on its own. While she's horrifically unaware, a giant man has already got inside and could do anything. But let's leave that cliffhanger for later. In the next scene, Sigmund winds up cleaning the mess with his knights. He's not the type to praise Junwoo's efforts, but it's true that everything went swimmingly according to his plan. The Gore Howl group was completely decimated by their own whim, and the Golden Dawn was taken out as a byproduct. The survivors of both groups were destroyed by the Libernos Knights. It was an excellent plan from Junwoo, who has proved his skills, but Sigmund feels uneasy leaving his sister in his care. He orders his men to collect Ruden's corpse and evacuate. In an unexpected twist, Ruden's body exerts a violent purple energy. It's a curse that has taken effect right after the man's death. The mist is identical in appearance to the works of the demon race, causing Sigmund great discomfort. The curse rises and darts its way towards Sepia. Sigmund orders his men to draw back and return to protect his sister. Speaking of which, just about everything went according to Junwoo's plan, except for one thing. He didn't account for Ruden's to be so strong and sharp enough to dismantle Sepia. The old fart is intrigued in having a discussion with the mercenary. This is a strange experience for Junwoo, as originally, this guy is supposed to stay dead after getting killed once in the original game. So why is he acting up now? The Golden Dawn became what it was by prioritizing business. But the moment Sigmund awakened his true strength, this guy was defeated. It may not be the best outcome, but Junwoo is starting to think that this guy might have had a hidden story arc of his own. He's no longer the calm and peaceful Rudens that he first talked to. He wonders if everything until this point was a part of his acting. Junwoo curiously asks if the man is interested in doing business with him of some kind. Rudens confirms, before snapping his fingers and unleashing his trap. The room has been sealed with mana. It's a surprising revelation, but he somehow has the powers of a mage. At this point, Junwoo is clueless about this guy's powers. He wonders if there's any chance of beating him to begin with. There's also Sepia being held hostage. The red mercenary takes his chances and throws his blade right in the man's head. This dude wasted no time in making his kill shot. But just to be sure, he leaped on top of Rudens with his sword, impaling his body in a pool of blood. Rudens falls, having suffered from 2 fatal injuries that he normally should not recover from. But that's the thing. He's not normal right now. Junwoo realizes that he's dealing with someone who is too stubborn to die, but he takes Sepia in the meantime. Rudens gets back up like this happens on the daily for this dude. He praises the red mercenary for his excellence in strategy and combat. He wonders if Junwoo has figured out the secret behind his powers. Junwoo shows a confident smirk and happily confirms that this dude is a literal vampire. Rudens isn't surprised that he knows this secret. Vampires are the only species in the game with this level of extreme regeneration factor. Rudens remarks that he's rather unimpressed with the mercenary's skill level. He wonders if it has something to do with Junwoo's equipment or powers. He's not shit-talking either, because Junwoo confirms in his monologue how he's outclassed right now. The only thing keeping him alive is his inventory and weapons, which are also not the best right now. He taunts Rudens with a slick remark, making him laugh. Junwoo clarifies that he kidnapped an important person out of the blue. He questions why Rudens is gunning for him. The old man is intrigued to hear this response. He's quick to show the mercenary an answer by charging at him with such insane force that it takes everything in Junwoo to block his attack. The man's fist morphs into a vampiric claw, revealing more of his powers. Rudens is impressed to see him keep up. But in reality, Junwoo is struggling in this fight. He's getting severely outclassed. In fact, Rudens rushes to finish him off after exploding his weak spot. Suddenly, the mercenary stabs his eye with a sharp object, staggering him for a moment. It's a candle holder, and I must say, it makes him look better. Rudens hates his new look, so he pulls it out of his eye socket, only to receive another taunt from the mercenary of pure sass and savagery. It is revealed that Junwoo created an opening to invite the vampire for an attack. It's a good way of handling opponents that completely outclass someone in speed. But that's as far as Junwoo's tricks can take him. He's on the back foot, and even a candle holder proved ineffective against the high-class vampire. Rudens goes off laughing in his face again, before declaring that Junwoo passed. The mercenary is almost offended that he said such a thing. The vampire confirms that he knows about his identity, and claims that he's in fact the forgotten swordsman. The conversation took a turn in a way that Junwoo didn't expect. Rudens wonders why he's feeling like his soul got sucked out of him. It's only natural that he knows about his identity. Our protagonist enters a state of contemplation, questioning Rudens' real identity. Apparently this dude is a vampire who has survived for millennia. The guy is a certified fossil, a relic, the oldest of the old, the primordial granddaddy. After experiencing his long years, he ended up becoming the leader of the Golden Dawn. Junwoo realizes that he's not just a higher-class vampire, but in fact, this guy is the vampire lord himself, which means his powers are way beyond the levels of 350, making him a godly opponent to fight against. It's also confirmed that if Rudens has tried his hardest from the beginning, our boy would have been washed and dry-cleaned all over the place. He asks if there are more vampires like him in Libernos, only to learn that it's only Rudens who is left. It's a shocking admission for Junwoo, who wants to know why. After a slight pause, the vampire confesses that their land contains ancient history, evident by the murals of the temple. He even refers to the mercenary as the forgotten swordsman. The system delivers Junwoo a sudden notification, confirming that he's found someone who knows about the forgotten history of the game. His background story that was shrouded in mystery is being casually told like it's Christmas. Junwoo inquisitively asks about the history of power. Rudens begins to explain what happened in the Holy Age, many thousands years ago. There was once a deity, the same deity people worship today, the moon goddess Luna. However, in the past, such deities were known for bestowing their teachings upon the humans. During this time, one deity with powers beyond Luna also existed. Pointing to the tattoo on his arm, Rudens explains that it was the sun. The exact crest was visible on the armor of the Golden Knights that Junwoo saw in his illusion. He strongly remembered a storyline involving the church. Every single one of those churches were annihilated except for Luna's. The sun mark is direct evidence to one of the churches which were destroyed in the past. This begs the curious question, why didn't the stronger deity outlast Luna and survive the destruction? Junwoo asks about the deity's name. But it's a sacred and treasured name not even the vampire lord would carelessly drop. Especially when the world is governed by Luna's authority. There's going to be loads of problems for him if she ever finds out he's plotting to revive the sun deity. Also, apparently our protagonist shares his powers with the same deity. Junwoo is surprised to hear this, shocked even. He wants to hear about the matter in detail, and Rudens has to treat him like a child for it. He refers to the murals from the temple. In the Holy War, and after the Demon King's invasion, both the sun and moon deities worked together to ensure humanity's survival. But the moon deity grew envious of the sun's powers, so in an outlash, it erased the sun's powers from history. Junwoo has a lot of questions at this point, but the basic concept he understands for now is that the Moon Church betrayed the Sun Church. In fact, they were hell-bent on removing all records of history that alluded to the sun. Luna personally erased every last trace of their existence. In the end, the sun deity was never heard of again. Then the big question comes flying. How did someone like the Vampire Lord survive the extinction of the Sun Church? It is explained that he among others fled, but in great misfortune, the rest of the survivors were cursed to death. Luna had sworn hands and allied herself with the Demon King just to bring about the extinction of the Sun Church. The curse was to make them into monsters that would forever exist in a blank state without life or death. The Golden Knight Dark was also a follower of the Sun Church, which is strongly the reason Junwoo ended up attaining the powers of the sun. Rudens is glad that he was able to piece together that information for himself. It's not just him, but also Sepia who possesses the power of the sun. That explains her alter ego state, and her extreme form of magic. All this time, Junwoo assumed that she was just built differently. Turns out she's more special than he thought. Rudens came to Libernas for her sake, but unfortunately, Sepia found herself kidnapped in his absence. He chalks it off as a coincidence of fate to bring all three of them together. All this time, Junwoo thought that he was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. But as it turns out, everything in his life so far probably must have happened under the influence of the sun deity. The fireworks were underway when Scarlet saw them. Grupus verifies that he also hasn't seen something like this before. Scarlet wants everything to be recorded in their report. She wants to know about this Dio mercenary whom he met on a mission. Grupus explains that he was last seen hanging around with Sigmund, the vice captain. She wonders how they came to know each other. Grupus has yet to figure that part out as the Knights are well guarded and tight-knit in their connections. It's a long way of saying that the Knight Corps are more powerful in the Libernas village than the Church of Luna. Scarlet has heard a bunch about Sigmund's stellar accomplishments, and Grupus confirms this fact. Hearing the qualities of honor and faith, she is more than happy to put Sigmund's value to the test. The Lady in Red loves breaking people's beliefs after all. She issues an order to prepare and check on the vice captain, who is currently on his way to save his sister's life. Junwoo certainly wasn't expecting himself to get entangled with the works of the sun deity, as well as the god of the game. Rudens sees a certain someone approaching and explains that their conversation will have to wait as Sigmund is already on his way. He orders a full-scale search on the mansion for Sepia. Rudens is well aware that the Forgotten Swordsman is itching to know about his many questions, but the only way he'll get his answers is in due time. He instructs Junwoo to head to Estellum to meet a friend who would explain the rest. With that, Rudens' energy fades as he meets his end. Before his banishment, he declares his faith in the revival of the sun. The dude is gone while Sigmund comes crashing full speed inside, questioning where the intruder went. But he's very surprised to find both Sepia and Dio, as well as the wretched state of the room. He wants to know what went down, but Junwoo is too busy staring at his status window. The new class quest keeps him busy. As one would expect, our boy is locked up without a second chance. They don't even spare him the mercy to feed him anything. Junwoo's plans went up in flames, but it's not like he didn't anticipate this outcome. It was always going to happen when he was involved with literal demons on the loose. The old fart of a vampire vanished and created an even bigger mess with his absence. Sigmund's guards greet their captain, while our boy begs to be freed. The guard shouts at him for talking to their leader so casually. Sigmund requests to have a private discussion with the supposed culprit. Junwoo is quick to point out the ill treatment he's getting for all the work he's done. Turns out Sigmund had no choice but to put him in jail because of witnesses. He has no vendetta against the guy, but there's still a problem bothering him. Junwoo tries to clear his name, but Sigmund cuts him off, stating that a representative from the Church of Luna came to visit them. They were interested in a guy called Monte and the person responsible for explosions. Hearing this news comes as a shock to Junwoo's mind. The knight adds that the church actually wants to interrogate both Sepia and Dio, who were at the scene of the crime. But this guy, being the alpha male knight he is, said no you and repelled their command. Even Junwoo is shocked that he went against the decision as it could jeopardize his own life. Even Rudens pointed out how strong Luna's influence ranges across the world. At full scale, the Libernas Knights won't prove to be a match for the church, so it seems like a foolish move. Sigmund argues that he did that to ensure they never find out about his sister's powers. It was a necessary move to protect her life. While he doesn't trust Junwoo completely, it was the only way he could resolve the situation. He frees our boy from behind the bars. Junwoo asks how he's going to handle Luna. Unfortunately, even for Sigmund, he can only try to stop them. Speaking of which, Luna's people have come to talk to Sigmund. He tells Junwoo to take Sepia and make a run for it. It's much to his dismay and demise. But this is the only choice he has right now. Junwoo immediately acts on his words, rushing to save Sepia's life. He can't let his sacrifice go to waste, and he's still unsure if Sigmund will be capable enough to bring down the investigators from the church. Originally when he played the game, and throughout the entirety of the story until now, Junwoo always assumed that the moon goddess Luna was the good side, that they were supporting the players all along, but it turns out to not be the case. It's the church itself that's the main enemy. The sudden twist to the storyline excites him. The guards representing the moon goddess have arrived to act as they please. It causes a conflict against the Libernos Knights, who are unwilling to tolerate their disrespect. Scarlet laughs as she makes way through her men. She thinks it's them who are disrespectful for standing in the way of the church. Before the man is capable of finishing his sentence, his life is cut short in a single, precise slash. Scarlet displays her dominance by cutting them down and starting a new battle. She claims that she was just punishing the man as an inquisitor of the church. Scarlet has been especially sent to target Sepia and the mysterious mercenary. She's fine with leaving them be as long as they surrender both of those people. And if they refuse, only death awaits them by her hands. The guards prepare to challenge her, which is exactly what she was hoping they would do. One man's voice penetrates the scene. It's Sigmund who orders his knights to cease battle. He tells them to remove the body of their fallen comrade. Scarlet blushes at the sight of the charming knight who is currently the leader of the Knight Corps. Sigmund humbly states that he's acting as a substitute to their lord. He wonders why and how an inquisitor like her could go so far as to kill a Libernos knight. Scarlet sharply responds that they chose their own fate by standing in her way. Enraged by her response, the rest of the knights speak of their disdain, as they didn't even cause any offense or raise their swords, and yet they were met with cruel punishment. Sigmund tells them to stop, and offers to understand the situation. He wants the knights to conclude their investigation before the church, and isn't planning to let them do what they want. But Scarlet is sharp. She knows he's hiding something. Scarlet quickly exposes that he's trying to protect his little sister. Sigmund responds that his sister has nothing to do with the affair, as she's in the process of recovering. He wants the knights to be the first one to investigate her. Scarlet happily accepts his answer, which leads him to wonder if she's willing to back down now. But clearly not, as she becomes the first person to initiate the fight, grazing Sigmund's face slightly and refusing to back down. She has a sword pointed at Sigmund and is impressed to find him dodging her attack. His abilities are indeed stellar. Scarlet even believes that he could have created an opportunity to counterattack in that instance. But he didn't even reach for his sword. She's swooned by him and his amazing talent. But the humble knight thinks the red rose of the goddess is much too remarkable on her own. She's flattered he knows her name. She rushes for her second attack, but even now, Sigmund barely blocks the attack. She knows that the reason he refuses to fight is because he's arrogant and thinks she's inferior to him. Scarlet uses a whip to grab his hand before kneeing him straight in the face, rendering the knight a great deal of pain. Scarlet has sensed that Sigmund is intentionally stalling this fight for a reason. It's clear that he's got a goal in mind. He responds that he's just being careful. While it's clear that the church won't take extreme measures, even the church sensed the presence of demons in Libernos yesterday. Scarlet was here and knew everything. Sigmund responds that while they're looking to find his sister and the mysterious mercenary, they have a more important target at hand, that being Monte. She stops to listen to him. Scarlet confirms and believes that Monty is hiding somewhere as a direct witness to yesterday's incident. More important than the demons, she cares about the mercenary. She thinks he's trying to protect him. Sigmund confirms that she's been deceived in her understanding and attempts to rectify the situation. He claims not knowing any mercenaries in Libernos going by the name Monte. The same goes for the guy they're keeping captive. Scarlet maintains her grin, but she senses that he's telling the truth. But she can't place a finger on his actions. To what end and why is he doing so much as a knight? More than that, she's dying to shatter his resolve. One of the church's guards calls for Scarlet's attention to relay an important news regarding the disappearance of the detained mercenary. Let's go back a few moments before this whole shit show went down. Junwoo was upset by how little Sigmund helped. He's literally stuck in a damn labyrinth maze which is near impossible to solve. The only reason he seems to be doing relatively fine is because he's experienced it before in the actual game. Junwoo shifts the bed and finds the secret escape route. He manages to climb out of the suffocating shithole and lands behind the residence of the knights. Junwoo heard the whole scene went down before Sigmund's arrival. His objective was to secure Sepia and he knows exactly where she is. One way would be to crash in guns blazing, but he can't do that right now. It's supposed to be a stealth mission where he doesn't come in contact with a single soul from either party. At the same time, he can't just be selfish and escape without taking Sepia along. The guy is starting to realize he's playing the game at max level difficulty. With nothing else in mind, he looks to his handy inventory for a solution. Junwoo could have grabbed some good stuff from the NPC character when he had the chance. He has a bunch of potions, but only one of them is going to help him survive this situation. It's the mystical transformation potion, which helps the user transform into a target and maintain the disguise for 10 minutes. So with his new disguise, the dude enters inside as Ted, a servant. He claims to have come here to meet Sepia and knock the original one down for it. Junwoo feels bad, but what has to be done must be done in this instance. He has retrieved Sepia's medicine from Sigmund and wants to help her out. Junwoo is glad that he ended up going for the transformation potion instead of staking his life on invisibility. He won't have to worry about opening doors anymore. He comes to Sepia's room and introduces himself as a servant of Sigmund. Sepia opens her room, only to get creeped the heck out by this random blonde guy. Before long, Junwoo's disguise disappears as the time limit expires. She has a bunch of questions right now, but it's not the right time to talk. They're in the middle of a really bad confrontation. Sepia can't believe her ears while our boy assures her that he's going to give her a good explanation on the way. Extending his hand, he asks if she still trusts him. Sepia happily rests her faith in his hands, confirming their alliance. Bro literally sprays the petrification potion right on her face. It's supposed to turn her to stone, which it does for 10 minutes. Next, this man pulls up his inventory and checks this out. He literally stores her inside the inventory as a statue. That's just funny. Over the fantasy only forbids the players from placing living items inside the inventory. But after the process of petrification, they are classified as stone, and thus capable of being stored. This happened when our hardcore gamer stored a monster in his inventory. It's a secret he happened to stumble upon by chance, but a good one that's going to help him stay light on his feet. Junwoo exits the base and disappears from sight, and he hears about the Church of Luna causing an outrage over his disappearance. With both of the suspects disappearing at the same time, this will erupt in war between the opposing factions. It's all left for Sigmund to salvage. In the meantime, our boy is going to peace out from this location and never look back. His current destination is Estelum to meet Rudin's friend. Estelum, the city of the undead, awaits his arrival. Both of the silver-haired siblings were orphans from birth. They experienced a harsh childhood in the slums, barely clinging to each effort to survive. They experienced cruelty of great magnitude at the hands of many people. The criminals, the knights, the nobles, everyone. Back then, the back alleys of Libernas were known for their terrible security. Sepia ended up learning a harsh truth that day. That human nature always demands something in return when offering a hand. The both of them were once fooled by a man who nearly sold them as slaves. They also experienced deception by a noble who nearly traded them for drugs. Sepia developed a quality to doubt people and trusted only her brother Sigmund. That used to be the case until now. Until she met the red mercenary who showed his concern for her in each moment. Her hardened walls suddenly crumble when facing the light of this person. She still clings to the cold truth. That virtue is accompanied by some trade-off. But with his radiance, she has come to question her beliefs, that maybe she learned the wrong truth. Sepia awakens to find Junwoo concerned for her. She is free from the effects of petrification, but feels guilty for worrying both her brother and the mercenary. Sepia is sick and tired of acting helpless and wants to become stronger. Sensing her discomforted state, Junwoo wonders if something happened as a result of petrification. Sepia confesses the truth. She wants to become strong. She wants to become strong and support herself without needing any protection from outside. She wonders if it'd be possible if she journeyed along with him. Junwoo smiles before confirming that it would indeed be possible. However, he warns her that the suffering and difficulty of her trials will continue to increase from this point onwards. Sepia is happy and assures him she won't cry or back down. The red mercenary is happy to hear that, as he would rather she become dependable and strong. While Sigmund wanted her to be protected, it's clear that Sepia has fostered a determination for herself. He gets to the nitty-gritty details of their current situation. Takes a while, but after explaining everything, she learns that the people of the Moon Goddess Church are actually the real enemies, and that her powers are linked to the sun deity. Sepia knows that he could have escaped and prioritized his own life, but he chose to maintain his promise with Sigmund, and rescued her life. She's a little upset being unable to say her goodbyes with her brother. Junwoo tells her to cheer up, because they're destined to meet again someday. He also offers her a weapon to use for her protection. Junwoo unveils the crystal recurve bow, a weapon with no level restriction. It's also a unique item that can be paired with low physical stats. One could classify it as an artifact even. Ever since he stepped foot in Libernas, he wanted to start treating Sepia in a different manner. The bow fits her perfectly, as she's closer to the mage class and would require honing her accuracy. This sparks up bright expectations in his head. He wonders what else he should let her experience. Speaking of experiences, Sepia launches her arrow and kills a goblin at once. Then she aims at the second goblin and releases her arrow, a clean headshot this time. The second goblin is dead. Sepia leaps down to kill the final goblin. She attacks him from behind and senses a counter from the monster. She dodges the creature's attack and coats her arrows in fire magic, before launching it right in its eye. The pain staggers the goblin while Sepia jumps over and chokes its neck with all her might. The monster is suffocated, and at last, falls to the ground. This girl is tough as hell to take down a monster 5 times her size. She stands as a confident victor and smiles at Junwoo, who has a mixed opinion on her growth. He reflects that her rate of growth is insane because she's already adept in sharp movements. He was the one who thought of her for being too weak and fragile. She astonished him with her efforts, so he went the extra mile and for her. With only 15 days of training, she exceeded his expectations. Done with her training, she decides to go check up on any surrounding monsters. Junwoo leaves her to herself because this chick can defend herself. But her powers of the sun are still dormant, and if she masters them, then she could become really strong. Since she can't use that power at the moment, it's a problem. But it actually does activate every time she senses deep danger. Even before Junwoo's intervention, her powers go into overdrive and obliterate her enemies to ashes. But the side effect of using the powers of the sun is that she loses consciousness. The mercenary inspects her status window and discovers that she doubled her level in a short amount of time, but her class has yet to be revealed. He thinks of a way to unlock the information somehow, and wonders if it is tied to a quest. Junwoo suddenly takes note of the bag that was dropped by the orcs. They're carrying a sickle, which means these guys lived in groups. There has to be an orc cave around here somewhere. Sepia worriedly asks if there's something troubling him. Junwoo murmurs the talks of an orc cave. He insists that they take a detour from Estelum for a temporary stop. Junwoo is deeply interested in meeting a certain witch, much to her confusion. In the game, witches are known to be mysterious between monsters and NPC characters. Some were treated as cultists who committed evil while there were good witches who gave the players quests to complete. Among them, the Shadow Witch stepped on the line, being the best of both worlds. She lived in an orc cave and boasts a level of 150. She may not seem like much, but the Shadow Witch is actually the disciple of the Witch of Equilibrium, the strongest witch in the entire game. Junwoo's mission is to uncover something about Sepia's condition and the root of her powers by consulting the Shadow Witch. Sepia asks if it's okay to really trust a witch. Junwoo replies that while they boast a bad reputation, it's true that their knowledge knows no bounds. At the same time, it's rather convenient that they're weak to flame magic, so he's more than confident that they could take her down in a fight. Junwoo has a plan to hopefully satisfy the expectations of the witch. Arriving in the Hafner Canyon, they both approach the orc cave. Inside, the Shadow Witch rests with her plethora of books. She receives a message from one of her familiars who has come to wake her up. The lazy witch yawns, questioning who came to disturb her. The crow informed her of intruders, which comes as a reason for her joy. She prepares the potato team to confront them, which I'll admit is a funny name. She tells the green potatoes to go and beat down the intruders and steal everything from them. She's banking on the hopes that they have a lot of money. The Shadow Witch is looking forward to enjoying delightful breakfast soon. Back to Sepia and our boy, they peep at the cave from above. Junwoo is most confident that the witch already knows they've arrived. He thinks the only way they're getting to meet her is if they clear the wave of orcs first. Sepia rises to the occasion and considers it light work, but Junwoo stops her from rushing blindly. Before entering the fight, it's important to do map reading. Sepia wonders what he means by that, while Junwoo internalizes that the game uses map reading to increase the chances of winning. The level regarded for the canyon is 90. He is simulating a bunch of different tactics with Sepia. Having come up with a pattern, he instructs her to go for the guard post and approach defensively. The most orcs she can take at one time is 3, any more than that and she will have to run. While Sepia doesn't want to run, she promises to be careful, which is a relief for Junwoo, who doesn't want her to get ahead of herself. He's happy to take care of the rest as long as she can control the guard post. Sepia gets in position and prepares to take her shot. On his signal, Sepia takes her shot and releases the arrow, striking down one of the orcs. With their target secured, they run down to attack again. Sepia is the aggressor and takes down another goblin, while Junwoo takes care of business from his side. Sepia has killed the orcs from her side, and Junwoo is grateful for her contribution in the fight. She drinks water to rejuvenate herself, and hasn't racked up any injuries. She's becoming more reliable as she fights and grows. Junwoo commands open the status window and sees both their levels. He's almost standing at level 100, while Sepia has already made half his progress in their short time training together. Junwoo intends to help her out with suitable equipment as she grows, and while he could have just chosen her equipment if he knew the class, it's not going to be worth it now because it is hidden. Still, she's an incredible archer despite bearing a secret class, but her weapon needs an upgrade. It needs to be powerful enough to kill enemies in one attack. Sepia turns to him and asks about the Shadow Witch, startling the red mercenary who was deep in thought. She asks if the Shadow Witch would be so kind to help them, especially after they've taken down these orcs. Rest in peace, potatoes. Junwoo agrees that the witch might get seriously angry for what they've done, which Sepia believes will become a problem if they want something from her. But our boy isn't too worried. He's always got a plan up and ready to go. As they enter the cave, Junwoo tells her that their objective is to avoid fighting. But Sepia doesn't want to take any chances and decides to stay on guard, ready to take on anything if things go south. Even Junwoo is a little surprised by her tenacity. The girl just doesn't want anyone to take an advantage over her. The system informs them that they've entered the orc cave. Strangely, it's gone all quiet, as if the orcs were wiped out completely. But Junwoo states that they still need to take care of the shaman, but they don't need to kill him. It's actually because the Shadow Witch has taken an interest in experimenting on him, so it would be unwise. Their main objective is to help explain the witch about their offer. Since they've already defeated the orcs outside, killing the shaman would cause real trouble in gaining her cooperation. Sepia asks just how they're going to achieve what they're after. Junwoo explains that their intention is to head to the witch's lab, instead of confronting the shaman head-on. He knows of a way around the place. Junwoo points to the shortcut cave leading to the witch's lab. Originally, this path gained a lot of attention on the game's forums when it was first discovered. This was primarily due to the fact that players believed it was some kind of bug. But soon after, the discussion concluded that it was an intentional action. Sepia, like any person would, questions how he knows so much about the place, especially with his first time coming here. Junwoo doesn't have a good answer and insists they crawl inside. He breaks the barrier from the other side and creeps his way like a little insect. Lo and behold, they have reached the witch's lab. Junwoo calls for the witch, who grins before breaking into laughter. Her annoying laughter is proof enough that they're facing the Shadow Witch. This annoying redhead is upset they killed her potatoes and hindered her research. Junwoo is glad that she's still having shortage of food from her side like usual. Even Sepia is a little concerned. The Shadow Witch, infuriated beyond hell that they tampered with her research, unleashes her fury and immediately goes into kill mode. Sepia has to arm herself at once, preparing for the worst to come. But Junwoo stops her with a different solution in mind. Bag in hand, he presents the witch with something that catches her attention. Junwoo breaks into his Eastern Doctor persona looking for her guidance and shows her the overwhelming amount of gold. Sepia is disappointed that this man's grandiose plan was basically just bribing a damn witch. As expected, the Shadow Witch isn't happy that the ones who killed her orcs are standing here with the gall to ask for her help. Junwoo apologizes, acting as if they didn't know about the orcs being her henchmen. He redirects her attention to the gold, which is super effective against the greedy little witch. It's just as they say, bitches love money. I mean witches. The witch is a gold digger who falls easily for the power of gold. All she's thinking about in her tiny little brain is how many hens could have for that money. All of a sudden, she remembers her teacher's words, who advised her to stay clear of money schemes and always prioritize her dignity. The Shadow Witch denies his attempt to bribe her, but Junwoo explains that this much is just for the orcs he killed. Then this guy pulls out the real treasure, which is the precious essence of fire. It's not just anything that you could find with ease. The NPCs and the players both love the idea of having it. But this guy, Junwoo, literally has hundreds of these things just resting in his god-level inventory. He's the Elon Musk of Essence of Fires. The respected Eastern doctor tells her that he knows how valuable the Essence of Fire is for this land, but it's only an ornament back at his place. He's ready to supply her with a bunch of these bad boys for her cooperation, and that, my friend, is an offer you just can't refuse. Even the Shadow Witch is stunned and has no choice but to hear them out. She introduces herself as Evelyn Lapisse, the disciple of the amazing Witch of Equilibrium. Junwoo persists in his identity as Dr. Dio, and Sepia takes care of her greeting too. Evelyn seems to know the silver-haired girl from around somewhere. In fact, she boldly points out that she's the child who was born with the powers of the sun deity. Sepia's mouth is left open by this confession. Even Junwoo can't place a finger on how she could know such a thing. He suspects that the Shadow Witch must also be an ally and a member of the Order of the Sun. He curiously asks how she knows about Sepia, to which Evelyn replies that she heard from her brilliant teacher. The Witch of Equilibrium is one of the 7 stars of the Walpurgis Night, a group that Rudens too is a part of. The Walpurgis Night is a name Junwoo has never heard of before. Realizing that there's a bunch of things he has yet to know about, she decides to fill him in. Evelyn spots the essence of fire and takes the shiny object as her fee. Now for the lore regarding the Walpurgis Night. It's a secret group of 7 stars with the same goal. These 7 fragments are the most loyal and powerful servants of the sun. Junwoo relates this group to another one called the Pentagram, which consists of 5 powerful boss monsters in the game. The Witch of Equilibrium was originally supposed to be included in the Pentagram, however, so he wonders if both groups are similar or different in their respective rankings. Presently, only a handful of people even know about the power of the sun. It's difficult to uncover the traces of the deity. Finding such traces became the mission of the 7 loyal stars. Evelyn adds that the group was created for the purpose of sharing information, which leads the mercenary to intriguingly ask what would happen once they find those traces. Evelyn remarks that while she's also unaware, her teacher once told her that they plan to resurrect the sun deity to restore the order of the sun. It's quite the grandiose goal that alarms Junwoo. It's basically like rebelling against the dominant authority of the present world governed by Luna. This could potentially shift the entire story of the game. What's more, Junwoo has now confirmed that the game is constantly pushing him to pursue the path of the sun, so that his contribution could help the 7 stars in their mission to restore the sun god. It wasn't even a while ago when he learned that he should oppose the moon goddess Luna, but now he's basically being pushed to the side of the Witch of Equilibrium, one of the main bosses and a representative of the Pentagram group. Junwoo muses about the possibility that all 7 stars might be related and equal to the Pentagram, because then he would have a really good chance of opposing the Church of Luna and have a chance of winning. He curiously asks if the rest of the 7 stars are also witches, but Evelyn has little to no information regarding that. The witches are known to conceal secrets regarding the sun deity. Yet, every single teacher under the Witch of Equilibrium dedicates a good chunk of their time to researching the power of the sun. That's also why these numbskulls love the essence of fire magic, as their research is centered around fire. Junwoo wants to know what they're researching about. Evelyn explains that they want to find the power of the sun that was once forgotten in deep history. Judging by her tone, Junwoo believes that Evelyn is displeased with the research. Agitated by this remark, she reveals that a 26-year-old witch shouldn't have any idea looking for a godly power that faded many years into the past. It's like asking for the impossible with peanuts of funding to rely on. Her mental breakdown is because the research has left her with nothing to live on, and she has to use orcs for her survival. Junwoo understands her frustrations. It's a similar feeling to when his fellow student was hating his current life about being unable to support his research with proper funding. Sepia breaks her silence and thinks about the bright side. She tells Evelyn that her teacher might place a lot of faith in her abilities, which is why she handed her such a mountainous task. The flattering remark makes Evelyn a fan of Sepia, and she confirms that she is indeed the youngest witch to have ever been named a Shadow Witch. Junwoo can't handle the Yap Festival and asks if the witch is capable of awakening Sepia's dormant abilities. Evelyn is unsure if she can pull something like that off. She scans her energy and senses a pool of violent emotions in the air. Evelyn asks if Sepia awakens her powers because of her feelings. The silver-haired girl confirms that she does, as her powers are always a result of an endangered state, a need for survival. Furthermore, her consciousness takes a hit each time she uses her powers, so it's more of a subconscious manifestation than a direct trigger. Evelyn believes that her powers might be more powerful than what she anticipated. At present, she can't do anything about her powers, which is a normal response to Junwoo, who thinks they've hit a wall. But the Shadow Witch has one more thing to add. She can help her control her subconscious state instead of going berserk. Alarmed, Junwoo is interested, and asks how. Evelyn explains that she's going to use the power of the shadow to awaken another part of her consciousness. Her shadow is not just an imitation, rather, her duplicate bears a consciousness of her own. It's a completely different personality from her. So, what Evelyn can do is make sure that Sepia doesn't lose consciousness, and instead she becomes controlled by a second state of consciousness, instead of her main personality. But the suggestion sounds dangerous. Even Junwoo acknowledges the risks. Evelyn clarifies that Sepia won't experience any changes as multiple personalities can exist in a single person. The only thing that would experience a change is that one of them would lay dormant. Junwoo meditates on the complexity of the process. He's not exactly convinced, but considers it as a decent alternative. Sepia's powers would be helpful if she maintains her consciousness than without, so it's better than what she has now. Evelyn emphasizes that despite her conscious state, she will have to train in order to get a good feel and control over her powers. Sepia reveals that she doesn't know magic. The Shadow Witch recommends that she go down the same path of knowledge as the witches, but it wouldn't be right for her if she can't handle mana. Since mana is a universal factor in all beings, talent in an individual governs its control and power. Sepia requests to learn magic under the tutelage of the Shadow Witch. Junwoo smiles to see a more confident and ambitious side to her. Evelyn agrees and does something with her hand. Sepia has yet to experience any changes so far. Evelyn shrugs and almost gives up. She encourages Sepia that most people have the same reaction. People can't use magic if they can't even sense mana, which is the beginning of all magic. Even after sensing mana, it doesn't guarantee the usage of magic. Junwoo asks if her help would be vital to Sepia's learning. While there is a meditation technique that hones mana, it's going to take months of training for Sepia to master it. Still, they don't have so much time to waste and spend months with Evelyn. Since they're mostly done with what they want, Junwoo recommends they leave at once. But to his surprise, Sepia suddenly awakens something from her body, shocking even the Shadow Witch and leaving Junwoo speechless. She's going out of control and neither of them know what to do. The Shadow Witch is worried because all of her precious research is being burned to ashes. Sepia regains her personality and realizes she destroyed her research. Evelyn quickly casts her aqua cage magic to trap Sepia in water, putting out the flames. As she lets out a breath of relief, the witch is befuddled that Sepia can cast magic without being able to sense mana. Junwoo realizes that it might not be magic she's casting, but Evelyn confirms that it is, since it contained a fragment of mana. But instead of feeling mana from her own magic attack, what Sepia felt was warmth. She could have burnt down everything and all she felt was warmth. This leads her to realize that Sepia's mana has an ego, a rare phenomenon. Junwoo feigns ignorance, even though he clearly knows what it is. Evelyn excitedly states that it's going to be easier than ever to teach the girl magic. While she can't detect mana for itself, she can cast magic with the knowledge of mana theory. Junwoo reflects that Sepia's powers are actually quite similar to the average player. They can't detect mana either, but they can cast magic so long as they want to learn. It means that the only way to foster and develop her magic skills would be to train her level like a player. Junwoo asks how long it would take the girl to learn the magic theory. Evelyn explains that the process of learning is unique to the individual, but even the Shadow Witch took 6 months just to get the basics of it down. Junwoo is startled and somewhat annoyed that it takes too long, while Evelyn states that it's pretty fast even then. Since they don't have that much time to spare, Junwoo doesn't think it's viable to spend half a year with the witch. Another problem is the fact that they can't separate from each other. Surprisingly, the witch is happy to tag alongside them on their journey. Junwoo is taken aback by her sudden interest. He asks what would become of her research. Evelyn explains that it shouldn't be worried about since Sepia is the only thing that matters to her. She bears the powers of the sun, which is research in itself. Junwoo can't see himself shooting her down in persuasion either. It's true that Evelyn is trustworthy and reliable, so they can make use of her along the journey. The nervous Shadow Witch confirms that she won't pose any trouble on their journey and wouldn't dare harm Sepia if it came down to it. The mercenary turns to Sepia herself to ask for her opinion. The silver-haired girl is okay with her joining and even calls Evelyn her teacher. Flattered, she's more than happy to bestow her knowledge upon her new student, while Junwoo is getting third-wheeled on the side. The scene switches to a council room where important members of the Seven Stars are having a meeting. One person calls Rudens a fool for failing to mention an important incident during their last discussion. Another figure remarks that Rudens has been clumsy like always, but they still can't let something so important slide like that. They ask him about Sepia's whereabouts, to which Rudens explains that they must be on their way to the undead city of Estellum. The council isn't pleased with what he's done. Crassus thinks he sent them on a death mission. He can't find himself the patience, especially with one important member, Palchetto, missing. Crassus is enraged that they could lose such an important figure with the power of the sun on a reckless mission to Estellum. He prepares his weapon to strike down Rudens, but he has to be reminded by others that fights among the Seven Stars group are strictly forbidden. Crassus lowers his weapon but not his words. He wants to go to Estellum to ensure the child's survival. Rudens lets him do as he pleases. Let's go back to the two-man crew. I mean 3 since they've now gained a witch. The heroes have stepped in Petunia. It's the first time the Shadow Witch has experienced snow. She's not one to travel, as that isn't what witches do to avoid being burned by the people. Tough luck right here. Thank God we're in the 21st century. The only witch that is deemed capable of travel is the Witch of Equilibrium. Sepia is having a hard time facing the cold, but Junwoo seems to be doing well without any problems. They come across a cave which should help become their shelter for the meantime. An excited Sepia wants to help with the fire. She releases a bunch of fire in her hand and places it on the cast. Thanks to Evelyn's teachings, she's learning a lot about magic. Junwoo admits that her growth has shot up in the past 2 weeks they have traveled with Evelyn. Initially, he thought that she was just a walking yap festival with no brains, but turns out, Evelyn is a genius prodigy in what she does. The system tells him that he's making good progress, uncovering a lost religion of history. His quest is to learn more about his forgotten swordsmanship as well. Sepia and Evelyn are clocked the heck out, while Junwoo is contemplating about the journey ahead, about the friend they're supposed to meet. He suspects that this guy is also related to the Order of the Sun in some regard. He wonders if they would be part of the 7 Stars group, and if they would also behave like a regular game character. He doesn't know for sure, and he won't know until he gets there. But these past few days have offered great insights on his journey. Junwoo pulls out a potion and drinks it at once. It could actually only be found here, which is why he suggested they take camp in the cave. It grants him temporary benefits, like recovering some of his stats, which were depleted after forming a contract with Sepia. Speaking of Sepia, she wakes up shortly after. Junwoo explains that he was around here checking the cave, but the witch states that she could have done so with her powers easily. Junwoo doesn't trust magic that much, and the Shadow Witch mocks him for it. Sepia mentions that he does know how to use magic, but the Shadow Witch mocks him for being unable to teach magic, which means he lacks the knowledge embedded in magic theory. It's actually true, all Junwoo does is use skills without really knowing much about them. He inspects his status screen, and stuns the witch with his ability to use an inventory without casting an artifact. The red mercenary explains the secret behind his magic relies on ones and zeros, which is a really clever way of saying it's binary computer language thanks to the system. Anyway, he finds the arrows he was looking for. It's for Sepia, to have her geared up for the battle ahead in Astellum. To face those enemies, Sepia is going to use high-purity silver arrows for the job. Now a little spicy lore drops on Astellum. You see, this city has a motive, and it is Lumania. Naturally, they're going to confront vampires, and for that, they need to be geared up with silver. Ruden's being a vampire lord, Junwoo inquires if the vampires also believe in the powers of the sun. Surprisingly, Evelyn explains that there are many factions within both witches and vampires, so they don't naturally believe in the power of the sun god. The vampires that operate aside from Ruden's rule are definitely going to attack them. Junwoo shoots the witch down by reminding her that her kind isn't a group of saints either. But at least they don't carelessly attack humans, she thinks. It doesn't stop them from raiding farms and stealing food, though. Junwoo has come to learn that they aren't going to cooperate with the bloodthirsty vampires, so he's going to feed them pointy silver weapons with love. Evelyn doesn't even get that silver happens to be the weakness of the vampires. Junwoo explains that one shot is all it takes to kill those bastards. But in hindsight, even witches would be affected by the same weapon. And so the time came at last. They stepped foot in Astellum. As creepy as it sounds, the city has a grave mounted right at the entrance. The scary factor is high with this one. Junwoo tells the Shadow Witch to mask their appearances with magic. After all, they need to lay low, especially when they're high on pursuit by the Church of Luna. The witch is more than happy to oblige. She changes their hair color and eyes, making these guys look like siblings. But it's not the best disguise, so Junwoo recommends they keep their hoods up. The first objective is to find lodging to stay, and then swing for a plan on what they should do next. In the next scene, they're enjoying the delicious soup of a restaurant. Now that their bellies are full, Sepia asks what they should do next. The blonde mercenary recommends they go for a new identity first to avoid suspicion from the church inquisitors. They need to alter names and make sure people don't find out about Evelyn being a damn witch. Junwoo suggests they take up work as mercenaries and gather a bunch of information. The Shadow Witch really likes this idea, as they're supposed to take on requests. It would be the best way to establish trust and fit among the people of the city. In reality, Junwoo is looking to grind his level and become stronger to level 150. While they're talking, a bunch of guards come out of nowhere. They heard about the Inquisitors who annihilated Liburnos and changed it completely. One of them asks what happened to Sigmund, who's a really powerful knight. Sepia's world goes to horror when she hears that he was captured by the Inquisitors. They even took other people and put up a bounty on the capture of the ones who ran away. Realizing that the conversation may not be kind to Sepia, Junwoo recommends they keep moving. He's also curious why Sigmundin was unable to take down the Church of Luna. His strength and tenacity made him believe that this guy really could have stopped them. The Shadow Witch comes to learn that they faced so much trouble thanks to the mess Ruden's left them in. The stupid fool put all their lives in danger, even though they were on the same side. It could have ended in a really bad way. His presence alone left traces that could be detected by the Church of Luna, giving them a reason to act. Evelyn still believes that there should have been a reason for the 7 Stars to act. But Junwoo is pissed because their intervention just made the whole thing a lot more difficult than it should have. Evelyn just can't follow his words. Entering the Mercenary Guild office of the city, Junwoo informs the receptionist that they're here to register as mercenaries. The man instructs them to place their hands on the crystal ball, which would assess their power. For his identity in the city, Junwoo introduces himself as Leo. Surprisingly, he's at D-grade level, while Evelyn is stuck around C-grade. With the registration process meeting its completion, the receptionist introduces them to the request board. There's hundreds of quests rallied up. They include hunting missions on vampires, zombies, and all other creepy monsters that normally wouldn't be found. Our hero takes a while, but he comes to the conclusion they should go for gathering requests. Yes, every single one of them. Evelyn's shocked that he wants to take up so many. Junwoo claims that he has somewhere to go, so he's fine with the two of them completing the gathering quests for the meantime. Sepia is starting to get used to his sudden disappearances, but she knows he must have prepared a plan of some kind. Junwoo inspects the chest icon and happily thinks to himself that they don't need to physically get anything done. After all, this guy's ultimate storage has every single item in the game that they could ever need. The receptionist is skeptical of their skills and thinks that no one can do so many requests in so little time. He recommends they drop a bunch of the gathering quests for other mercenaries. The Shadow Witch is tempted by the offer and easily folds, but Sepia pulls her out of it and explains that Junwoo has something planned and will take care of things. The receptionist struggles to forcibly take the quest from them, so he has no choice but to call in guards. The man himself returns to stop him from doing so. He throws one bag that's got every single item they needed from the quests. Junwoo insists that they'll complete those quests today, and the items he has brought are proof of the fact. The man stares at the materials, while Junwoo asks how long he's going to take to complete their transaction. The man spearheads his crew to get to work at once. He's more than happy to deal with stuff for him. Evelyn and Sepia are happy that things ended on a high note, but unbeknownst to them, a mysterious pair is secretly watching this go down. They racked up way too much gold in exchange for the quest items. Evelyn, being the cute witch she is, translates money to sacks of potatoes. Junwoo is happy to let her enjoy herself with as much money as she likes. Right now, he's in search of the experience points instead of the money. He's advanced 10 whole levels just for doing the quests. While they're talking to each other, two men chat about the man who did all those quests. They wonder if he's training to become a knight. Junwoo's impressive feat has attracted the attention of the ones around him, but at least his tracks are covered with his identity concealed. More importantly, Evelyn's a level 150 witch, so there shouldn't be much trouble. Also, Junwoo has a fancy new weapon now. Since way too many people have uncovered his ability to use explosion magic, Junwoo thinks it would be best if he conceals his skill and goes for a different weapon instead. The silver sword he has right now is extremely effective against the undead monsters. It's the perfect weapon for the city. Evelyn is excited and recommends they go shopping, who is cautious of the sun setting soon. The Shadow Witch is way too excited and wants to go and explore. Junwoo stops them from having their fun, while an irritated witch turns to question him. He has to remind them that the knight could cause trouble. Evelyn doesn't seem to be getting his words, causing annoyance to Junwoo, who wants all his money back for her disobedience. Anyway, after much exhaustion, he crashes inside his room. He hears Sepia and Evelyn excitedly talking to each other and planning for their early morning trip. Junwoo is happy to hear them enjoying themselves. While he did raise his level without any trouble today, the mercenary hopes to prioritize his exercise training the upcoming days. While they're asleep, a bunch of thieves have come together to steal the lumps of money that our heroes made. They wonder if the guy is famous in some other city, and they're certain to steal from him. Sepia and Evelyn are resting in the other room, while Junwoo is staying by himself. Their plan is to enter from each opening and attack all together. These guys aren't ordinary robbers either. They want to kill them and leave no witnesses. His underlings are ashamed they have to kill the girls. They decide to split up into teams of two. One group will kill the guy while the others will focus on the girls. The plan is in motion. Junwoo is asleep, so the two guys are seconds away from launching an attack on him. The countdown begins, and before they're even able to finish the count, one of them is slashed. Horrified, one of them tries to break in to kill Junwoo. He is prepared with his silver sword and slashes the guy down. He calls the girls to learn how they're doing. They seem to be perfectly fine and took care of the mess on their end. An annoyed Evelyn is unhappy they ruined a good night's sleep. Junwoo explains that they're dealing with the vile scumbags of the city, and he's glad that she's strong enough to kill them. But something bothers him. Junwoo recommends they stay on high alert. Evelyn can't wonder why, because not even her detection spell can pick up traces of any enemies nearby. Junwoo explains that there is someone coming to face them. This entity is chasing the smell of blood and is likely a monster. After all, both werewolves and vampires are cautious when it comes to the scent of blood. All that's left to guess is which one of them is after them. The figure steps forward, surprising all three of them. This figure is none other than the receptionist of the mercenary guild. Junwoo immediately wonders if he's some kind of vampire hiding amongst the humans. Instead of attacking them, he has come here to make a request. Roberto confirms that he's a vampire hiding in human society, which leads to Junwoo asking what he wants from them. The man has an urgent matter to discuss regarding his master. He's a vampire lord who coexists with the humans, and never causes them any harm. However, because of his kindness, he always ends up suffering due to bloodthirst during every full moon cycle. Roberto serves his master by preparing blood for him on every occasion, and he even requested some, while other times he uses corpses to draw them. He chased the smell of corpses and ended up here, shocked that he found something even more special. Roberto points to Junwoo, declaring that his blood is the most special of all. The mercenary stands there confused because how would you even react to that? Roberto begs for a favor, and requests to draw a tiny bit of the man's blood for his master. But before he's able to finish his sentence, his body is entangled by the magic of the Shadow Witch, who simply does not buy the idea of there being a vampire lord who chooses to coexist with humans in harmony. It's just an impossible idea. Roberto begs for his life and the well-being of his master. The Shadow Witch is pissed and wants to end this guy's life instantly, but Junwoo stops her and decides to hear more about the vampire lord. The man emphasizes that while he cannot speak in detail about his lord, he would be more than happy to arrange a meeting between the two in exchange for Junwoo's blood. Evelyn still thinks it's an outrageous deal and merely can't accept the grounds for that offer, while Sepia requests that they hear him out. Evelyn barks at Junwoo for even choosing to entertain the ramblings of a mad vampire who is requesting for something so vile. But our boy thinks she's playing too much of a saint for being a witch herself. In a state of contemplation, he does believe that a vampire lord must exist in this city, and it's probably the same guy even Rudens talked about. So, to Junwoo, it doesn't seem like a major setback to donate some of his blood to get closer to the person he was looking for in the city. The mercenary questions where his master is based and if it's a dangerous location. Roberto explains that he resides in the central camp of the Calic Forest. While it's not a safe location, Roberto gives them their word that he will escort them with safety. Junwoo immediately accepts the offer, making Roberto happy as a unicorn. He still doesn't want to offer him his blood until he's confident about it. Before leaving, Evelyn questions if this is a good idea. The mercenary explains that they're definitely going to be dealing with lots of werewolves and vampires in a territory like that. The central camp, however, is different. It's a place of peace where monsters coexist without causing each other harm. It's almost like a paradise. Sepia asks why Junwoo hesitated on going immediately. Boasting a smile, the man responds that they have to be ready to meet the vampire lord, which means a change of attire. Later that day, Evelyn ended up with her all-new mystical robe, looking fancy as hell. Junwoo comments that it's way better than whatever outfit she wore before. For Sepia, he's found a void amulet from his inventory to negate one lethal attack. She's happy to receive such a special gift. Junwoo reflects that he's already figured out the most crucial equipment, so it's time for them to hit the road. More about the Calic Forest. It's actually a nasty place filled with vampires and werewolves. Yet they both share their origins to humankind. It's only due to an unfortunate accident that led to the mutation of humans becoming vampires and werewolves. With no place left to go, they were chased into the forest. Still, two predators of the opposite species couldn't live in peace, as both hunted humans to survive. There were countless conflicts between werewolves and conflicts, which annihilated both races. And thus, the idea of a central camp came to light, a place of mutual coexistence where neither side attacked the other. Arriving in the main cabin, Roberto points out to them that this place is his master's lair. Junwoo is astonished because he recognizes this location. It's the hideout of the herbalist, an extra character in the game helpful to the players. It turns out that the herbalist was the vampire lord all along. It's no different from Ruden's story, who was supposed to be a mob character in the game, only to end up being a secret vampire lord in reality. Roberto tells his master that he's brought some visitors. The vampire lord is revealed to be a radiant yet mellow old man, who senses the specialty of Junwoo's blood. He instructs Roberto to fetch some tea for his friends, and invites them inside. Junwoo fixates on his words and wonders if the man recognized Sepia by any chance. What's more is that the vampire lord recognizes Evelyn among the group, who is overjoyed to meet Sir Schubert. He knows her from a while back and even asks about her teacher's health. Junwoo draws the connection and wonders if Schubert is also one of the 7 stars. Sharing a meeting together, the vampire lord formally introduces himself as Schubert Einhauer. He is in fact the person who Rudens told them about. It appears that he knows Sepia and Junwoo. More specifically, he is drawn to the silver-haired girl's resembling appearance to a person he once knew. Junwoo asks his curious question about his connection to the 7 stars. Schubert confirms that he belongs to the council despite his weak state. In a complete and unexpected twist, Junwoo openly declares his distrust of the group. Roberto views the insult and shouts back, but Schubert maintains his calm and confronts Junwoo's suspicions about the group. The mercenary also apologizes for his sudden blabbering, but he just can't forgive Rudens for jeopardizing them in Libernas, not after what he did. At this point, Junwoo is trying to figure out if the 7 stars are allies with each other, or if they are each willing to accomplish their own separate goals by using them. The system confirms that he's currently meeting a person of forgotten history, and so Junwoo trusts only that. He wants to know about the forgotten powers that he gained. Schubert thinks it's an easy answer, but he stands up and declares that he will have to test if Junwoo truly is the key to their mission. The vampire lord confronts our boy in a one-on-one standoff. Junwoo is yet to comprehend what he's being tested on, and asks if it's supposed to be a matter of showing his forgotten power. The man shakes his head in disapproval, and explains that Junwoo doesn't boast the power of the sun, a revelation that comes as a shock to the mercenary. Schubert proceeds to attack the nearest wall, crushing it with his bare fist. But Junwoo doesn't get this show of strength. He doesn't understand why this man is trying to flex or some shit. After all, many opponents over level 300 could easily pull that weak shit off with ease. He wonders if this is the limitation of the strength of the 7 stars. Schubert invites the boy to come and take a closer look because he's clearly missing something in his evaluation. Junwoo draws near, only to see the entire wall crumbling to nothingness. This is what he means by the power of the sun. Schubert happily asks if Junwoo can replicate such strength, which he obviously can't, and our boy is humble enough to admit. Schubert asks if he's interested in mastering this amazing power. Junwoo, now paying respect to the old man's name, asks if he could hone his power of the sun through training. Schubert confirms that if he is the key, then he should be able to. Junwoo is getting sick of being called a damn key, not knowing what it even means. He wonders if it has anything to do with the fight with Dark. Still, he has more pressing matters to worry about than his role. Junwoo requests to wield his strength, and Schubert is happy to hear it from him. But before that, it's imperative they take care of his blood. Inside the cabin, Schubert explains that the apostles of the sun were cursed. Out of every servant, he's the most affected one of all. That's why he tends to unleash himself to a berserk state every full moon. Junwoo considers this quite the strange behavior coming from a vampire. It seems like that they will be here for a while to learn. But Evelyn doesn't want to miss out either, despite having a great teacher of her own. The Shadow Witch wants to learn as well, so Schubert is okay with her tagging along. Their true training will begin tomorrow. The following day, Evelyn is horrified that the only source of nutrients in this damn cabin are vegetables. What's more is that they extracted quite a bit of her blood yesterday, so she lacks the strength to continue normally. Schubert comes to learn about her disgust, but seeing him, this witch switches up like crazy and immediately switches sides. Junwoo observes that Evelyn has the senses to live in normal human society without fail, but he's a little underwhelmed to find that Schubert is a vegetarian vampire, and wonders if it has anything to do with his insanity during a full moon. With their meals concluded, the training is about to begin. The vampire lord explains that he has to inspect the boy's specialty before the training. Junwoo understands his objective and showcases his display of strength by cutting down a tree into half a dozen logs. While his strength is impressive, it's nothing new to Roberto. So he takes it up a notch and slices the logs with his mark skill, annihilating them in a fiery finish. Since he used the skill for the first time in front of Evelyn and Schubert, they're both amazed. But more or less, it's the extent of his powers, as Junwoo doesn't have much to show in his arsenal. The vampire lord comments that his swordsmanship brings fresh memories of Dark the Death Knight. Curious to know more about her, the mercenary inquires and learns that she was a brilliant knight, who represented the sword and shield of the sun. But despite all her talents, she was cursed like the rest of the 7 stars, and her fate led to becoming a Death Knight. Unfortunately, it was the only reason they could not look for her. The vampire lord is a martial arts fighter, so he can't really teach him much about a sword. At the same time, he can allow Junwoo's powers of the sun to develop in his body, especially since he follows in the footsteps of the Golden Knight. The difference between a normal mana user and a user of the sun is that they can hone great strength even without innate talent. The reason for that, as Schubert demonstrates with his sun powers, is that the power of the sun is reliant on light magic. It doesn't cater to the energy found inside the body, but specifically utilizes the light of the outside world. This helps the user to absorb the sun's powers, and then release a powerful beam of destruction that could be discharged in various ways. Junwoo is left colorless in his expression, as not even the best of his explosion skill could come close to Schubert's magic. The vampire lord wants to help cultivate an understanding of such power for Junwoo, who senses that his journey ahead will be filled with Har's training. But one thing is clear. He wants to hone and master the powers of the sun. With an optimistic attitude, Junwoo is prepared to do what it takes. 3 days have passed since their training began. Junwoo was practicing focused meditation, but he's having trouble mastering it. The vampire instructed him to meditate under the sunlight and get a grasp of the sun's power. Unfortunately, there's no way around this painful method, so Junwoo has to experience it with patience. But his thoughts are disrupted by his surroundings as both Sepia and Evelyn and muttering about in stamina training. As expected, the Shadow Witch is terrible when it comes to endurance training, while Sepia is at the top of her league since she always prioritizes stamina training with Junwoo. They were instructed to kill monsters in the forest, so the mercenary curiously asks if they hunted any. They successfully beat 2, but the witch isn't too happy since it nearly cost them their lives. Schubert banned her from using shadow magic, making it more difficult than ever to beat the monsters. Sepia, being the optimist as always, thinks that their teacher is doing enough. He did restrict them, but it was for their own good. Schubert instructed them to focus on sunlight as if it is always with them, even when it is hidden from through the trees. Then he told them to use magic spells that catered to light and fire elements. The monsters in the forest are really powerful, so even Evelyn would have trouble dealing with them without her special shadow magic. Junwoo is hoping that the vampire lord is protecting them in secret in case something bad happens. Sepia wants to know how much progress he made with his training. In his conversation with Schubert, the vampire explained that his mark skill is an application of the sun. So that means, all he needs to do now is focus on the fundamentals in order to grasp the true power. The essence of the skill Mark relies on is the absorption and discharge of light. This much Junwoo is already well aware of, but he struggles with the idea of using his skill without using the system's help, as that's the troublesome aspect of it. Junwoo, even though he used the Mark skill all night without being forced to use potions, he still can't feel much in his case. After the training, even Roberto is fed up with Evelyn's large appetite. They both fight every day like children. Schubert suggests they get along well with each other, while Junwoo inquires why he still works as a herbalist. Schubert explains that the rest of the 7 stars are busy leading their personal factions, as Rudens commanded the Golden Dawn, while the Witch of Equilibrium is commanding the Witches. He thinks it is wise to create such factions in order to restore the power of the sun. He's got a bunch of friends like that of his own. Schubert explains that it's because of his curse that he stays a herbalist. The mercenary realizes that his condition may be more serious than he anticipated. Normally, vampires and werewolves give in to their instincts under the full moon, but Junwoo thought that a powerful being like Schubert shouldn't have any trouble dealing with the condition. It happens to be that he was a monk before his cursed fate, so he untethered himself from the world's belongings and human desires. There he swore upon an oath never to harm others. Schubert is a principled man who refused to let go of his values even after becoming cursed. He isolates himself to protect others and can't lead a group with his unstable condition. Junwoo wants to know more about what happened in the past, even though they decided to talk about it after his training. The mercenary is having trouble visualizing a strength that he has never known before. At last, the vampire lord reveals that someone like him suffers with the problem of knowing too much. Since he's dabbling with so much information in his mind, he's prone to overcomplicating things. Schubert exemplifies Sepia, who learns things quickly because she doesn't assume to know anything. That's why Sepia is starting to get a hold of her powers. While Junwoo never thought about it initially, he's starting to get intimidated by Sepia's insane growth and talent. Schubert emphasizes the focus of meditation, not because he couldn't sense any energy, but rather to clear the boy's mind. Junwoo realizes from this analysis that he struggles to let go of pointless thoughts in his head. He's not wrong, as ever since coming to this world, Junwoo has always been in a state of contemplation. He's thinking about so much all at once, hindering his understanding. Anyway, it's time to meet the newest inquisitor of the Luna Church. Galeto Hungestus is enjoying his share of alcohol at one of the bars. Suddenly, he hears gossip from one of the men. They're talking about the disappearance of the bandits who met their end by the 3 mercenaries. Galeto immediately swoops in on their discussion and starts his interrogation. A bunch of monsters come pouring out from the forest while Junwoo is busy in his training. Focusing to clear all of his thoughts, he stands firm and decides to fight a different way. This time, he will fight without the system's help. He slashes the monster, but the skill doesn't even activate and barely grazes the creature. This leads to a tough battle where Junwoo has to be on the back foot. He visualizes the power of the sun, but his mind is too distracted to care for the vicious werewolf from behind. Junwoo barely defends himself on time, only for another werewolf to come rushing towards him. Right now, if he used any of his abilities, he could defeat these monsters with ease. It's a 2-on-1 battle and the odds aren't in his favor. Evelyn wonders if they should jump in and help the dude while he's struggling. But Sepia assesses the situation and decides to place her faith in his strength. The werewolf attacks Junwoo with its claws and sends him on the back foot. He empties his mind and harnesses the power of the sun, instead of using the game's strategies that he previously used. Remembering the Vampire Lord's advice to meditate under the sun, he thinks he's found the answer. Junwoo slides past the werewolf to aim for the tree and slashes it with his sword. The tree is cut down, revealing the rays of the sun and strengthening his sword. Junwoo has acquired just a little bit of his power and aims his golden sword at the enemy. Just like that, he leaps up ahead and lands a decisive slash utilizing the power of the sun. It's a perfect hit, impressing his friends while shocking himself. But instead of attacking again, the guy surprisingly drops his weapon, much to Evelyn's bewilderment. There he stands, with the power of the sun embodied in his aura. Junwoo becomes a martial artist and chucks a heavy fist up the werewolf's abdomen, causing it wailing and disorienting pain. At last, he snaps his fingers, releasing a column of explosion on the monster's body, the same attack that Schubert used when demonstrating the power of the sun. He's finally accomplished it, and Sepia's trust in him has increased as a result. His current skill evolution conditions are all near completion. He's also figured out the 4th condition, and he's more than happy to grasp an understanding of the sun's power. The boy is surprised when he learns that he's still partial in his understanding of the sun. There's still more than what he learned so far. But his friends are happy that he made stellar progress. It's a good thing that he managed to awaken his powers and increased Sepia's trust. Before he's able to ask about Sepia's training, Junwoo feels a crushing sensation inside his heart. It's a side effect of using his powers, and it's so bad that he coughs blood before fainting unconscious. While he's knocked unconscious, Junwoo experiences a dream where a silver girl resembling Sepia offers a prayer, hoping for the coming of a hero in the time of doom. He wakes up in a panic, only to find Schubert and his friends by his side. He was knocked unconscious for half a day, and thankfully, not more than that. The Vampire Lord congratulates him for finally being able to grasp the full power of the sun. However, in his effort to understand the power, he exceeded his limitations and put his life in danger. Junwoo assures that he can further his understanding now that he has gotten a good grasp of his power. For the first time, the Vampire Lord expresses anger and tells him that it is unwise to get arrogant when he's merely at the beginning stages. Both Sepia and Junwoo are speechless seeing this side of him. Well, now that he's understood the sun's power a little bit, it's time to learn what happened in the past. Schubert explains what being a key means at first, but suddenly he senses a sharp feeling coming from outside. Enraged, Schubert emphasizes the both of them to stay put. As for Evelyn and Robert, he redirects them to the other room. Schubert ushers them away in his impatience, while Junwoo wonders who could be troubling them at this time at night. A strong explosion follows as Galetto makes his mark. He wasn't expecting to find what he was looking for in a useless cabin. The man introduces himself and asks if Schubert is the owner. The Vampire Lord is armed for battle, while our gamer wonders how this guy ended up here of all places. Galetto isn't just a nobody, he's one of the strongest swords of Luna. What's more, he doesn't care about faith. All he cares about is fighting really strong opponents. Even someone like Monty shouldn't have invited this level of threat, so Junwoo wonders what brought this powerhouse here of all places. Evelyn is quick to become annoyed, but the Vampire Lord directs her to leave, despite her desire to stay. Schubert plays a nice guy and explains that he's nothing more than a herbalist. Hearing his clear excuse, Galetto laughs in the man's face and expresses that he's looking for people instead of herbs. He senses a strong energy residing in the cabin, and it seems to be coming from both Sepia and Junwoo. Without even showing a hint of mercy for the man's life, he chucks a fist right in Schubert's gut, surprising him with a sudden attack. Galetto reveals that he knows about the old geezer's real identity. Roberto jumps in to attack, but this dude gets bitch-slapped by a backhand. Evelyn is next in line, who harnesses the power of shadow magic to release a powerful shadow arrow. The result? Galetto catches it casually, shocking even her. He didn't expect to find both vampires and a witch under the same shed. Schubert activates the power of the sun, and I kid you not, this man literally looks like he's going Super Saiyan with that blonde hair. Galetto is giddied up, expecting a strong fight to come to him. He launches Schubert away, rendering him in a critical state. It's clear that they stand no chance against this guy. The Vampire Lord is prepared to hold him down until the others can escape. Junwoo wonders if he's going to be fine, but the old man shares no vision of quitting easily. He recommends they make haste, so Junwoo quickly grabs Sepia and tells Evelyn to grab Roberto. They will have to escape without Schubert for now. Sepia asks about the intruder's identity, and comes to learn that he's one of the 5 swords of the Luna Church. She's horrified that a person of such terrifying strength is chasing after them, and she's also worried about Schubert. Evelyn can't stand to lose her master, but Junwoo insists that they have to run away as it's the only choice they have. The Shadow Witch can't accept just doing nothing. Junwoo shares his personal desire to fight and wants to go back for him. Back to the fight, Schubert is having a really tough time dealing with Galetto, who is giving him a damn beating to no end. But still, he can't find himself being entertained by a person with such weak strength. He intends to end the fight quickly, but then Galetto sees an unexpected visitor. The mercenary from before has returned to face him. He taunts the man to come for him, even though Junwoo is clearly nervous about the fight. Galetto doesn't want to be interrupted and tells him to wait his turn. Junwoo taunts him again, leading the man to roar into a giant laughter. He appreciates the boy's courage and turns to face him head-on. The defenseless Schubert tries to stop him and tells him to run, but the mercenary isn't the type to back down. He recommends that he stay silent, and well, Galetto knocks him out, so I guess that wasn't hard to achieve. Galetto plans to hold back because he wants to test Junwoo at his own level. So, The fight begins as our favorite mercenary releases his first ever attack, but it's really nothing more than a weak attack. Galeto wants to return him the blow, but what he didn't expect is that Junwoo planned to release his explosion magic, blinding him greatly. Such a weak attack clearly isn't enough to beat this guy. While Junwoo lunged forth in his created opening, a fist came flying near his face. He dodges the attack in mere seconds. Thankfully, he was able to anticipate Galeto's strike, giving him just the opportunity to cut him from behind. But even his full-powered strike wasn't enough to pierce the man's heavy armor. Galeto tosses him around as if he were nothing but a rag doll of his entertainment. Junwoo spills a unique potion of gold all over him, adding to the warrior's confusion. It's showtime, as the potion was also marked, causing Galeto insane burns all over his body. He used the magic oil specifically produced by magicians, and yet, despite his best attacks, Galeto's relentlessness eventually gets the better of our hero. He grabs the mercenary and pummels him straight down. His attacks are so heavy that Junwoo coughs blood just holding on, but for his opponent, he doesn't seem weakened at all. The mercenary's ankle is done for, and his health is lingering around half of what it should be. It's just impossible to win this fight head-on. But there's a reason he took on an opponent leagues above him, and it's because of Galeto's attribute. This warrior never really kills the players. In the original game, people had a lot to say about him in the forums. This guy was prone to attack the players the moment he saw them, but then, he would never really mark the killing blow. All he liked was the prospect of fighting strong opponents. So if someone boasted really strong abilities, he would even let them go, and that's what Junwoo was hoping to accomplish. He finally releases his strong flames, exciting the warrior who wants to know more about the mercenary's strength. Junwoo concentrates all of his energy in a single attack, concentrating every last one of his strength and creating a more powerful sun slash from before. This leads to the creation of a new skill, the heaven-piercing Moonfang. Junwoo finally swings his weapon, releasing an enormous amount of energy upon his opponent. While he delivered the attack, it caused him an intense backlash from the effects of the sun. Junwoo is confident that something of his caliber should greatly push back even Galeto. He did manage to tank the attack, and doesn't seem to be much affected, but it did move him to some extent. Right now, Junwoo is hoping for his game's effects to kick in. He wants Galeto to stand down and acknowledge his skills based on his personality. The man finally confesses, but instead of acknowledgement, it is shame he focuses on. It's a completely different reaction from the game, surprising Junwoo, who wonders if it's because he's the servant of the sun. Galeto doesn't seem to share any intentions of letting him survive, so now, his only options are to run. But Junwoo's condition is beyond what he can handle. In fact, his wasted blood is released and poured into Schubert. It's the use of blood magic. Now that he's acquired the special blood of the boy, the vampire lord stands taller than ever. Schubert undergoes an interesting transformation. He becomes a werewolf more powerful than any other. The werewolves of the forest are all drawn to his howl, and they rush to attack Galeto, who is happy to take them all down. Even Junwoo is stunned to discover this twist. Schubert wasn't a vampire lord all along. It's clear now why he resisted his berserk state so much. Junwoo turns to the werewolf next to him, who gets eviscerated in a clean hit. The Shadow Witch has come to rescue him. She gathers Junwoo and explains that werewolves are capable of seeing past her shadow stealth. She casted a spell on Sepia as well as Robert for their safety. Evelyn learns from him about Schubert's berserk state, while Galeto keeps pounding every werewolf in his path. The Mad Knight thrusts his powerful fist in the ground, causing a shockwave effect that takes out all of the werewolves at once. Now that he's cleaned up the place a little, he fixates his attention to the others. Schubert is the only werewolf standing, and even Galeto knows that it's going to take every last bit of his strength to take him down. This guy goes for the heavy attack immediately, dishing out a heavy blow on his body and sending waves of destruction. Schubert's transformed state blocked his powerful punch, showing that it's going to take a lot more than that to take him down. Galeto keeps yapping, but this idiot didn't expect to receive a critical attack in return. Galeto is sent flying outside of the cabin, barely clinging on. It's his first time facing a threat of such level. Schubert lunges forth to claw him down. His deadly and vicious sharp strikes put him on the defensive. Galeto is receiving damage from every attack, but he senses the right opportunity and tackles the werewolf. Just when Galeto thought he had become the victor of the battle, the werewolf grabbed his tiny little hand before shoving him into the ground. Now, Galeto is having real trouble standing on his feet. He's the one who can't get up. Schubert sees Junwoo and the others running away in the meantime. The mercenary finally learns about the true strength of the 7 stars. He can get behind the reason Schubert avoided going berserk, because in this state, not even they are safe from his wrath. Evelyn is scared as hell that this monster will start chasing them too. Junwoo states that they don't stand a sliver of a chance running away, so their only option is to reduce his bloodlust. Schubert seems to be experiencing a trembling inner conflict. Junwoo wonders if he's trying his absolute best to fight back against his instincts. His own condition spells doom, because Junwoo's body has experienced a lot of damage, but he doesn't see any other opportunity to survive. Sepia worriedly asks about his plan. Despite the danger, Junwoo explains that their only chance of survival is to help Schubert rediscover his senses. Evelyn and Sepia are prepared to join the fight, as well as Roberto, who cares for his master. What's worse is that it starts to pour, adding more difficulty in their struggle. Evelyn points them towards an approaching figure, someone they weren't expecting. It would be bad if this person turned out to be their enemy after all. Junwoo immediately recognizes the guy's face. He's an archer-type warrior who prepares his arrow to strike down the beast. After releasing the arrow, it goes directly to strike Schubert's berserk state down. The archer stays standing, questioning if his attack had any effect on the beast. Thankfully, Schubert has returned to his normal human state. The mysterious archer then turns to Junwoo, inquiring if he's the special key they have all been talking about. He insists that they leave at once, and they're going to the Walpurgis Night, the dominion of the 7 stars. Somewhere, someplace, a man that governs the Black Mages is frustrated by Victor's failure to capture Sepia. The human sacrifice was rendered useless. He learns from one of his henchmen about Sepia traveling with the same mercenary who killed Victor. So he instructs his men to find those two before the Church of Luna gets to them. Back to our heroes. Crassus is the one who saved them from Schubert's berserk state. Junwoo is recovering from his condition. He's been brought to Tempberg, where the gathering of the 7 stars takes place. The mercenary wants to personally thank Crassus for saving their skin. He receives a drink from Roberto and learns that this guy was out for 2 whole weeks. Yeah, that sounds insanely surprising, but that's just a result of his condition. Overusing the power of the sun led to severe consequences. Junwoo is recommended to receive a month's worth of treatment before getting back to health. Schubert also used his herbs to speed up the recovery process. The old man, despite his battle injuries, cared so much about Junwoo while he was down. The Shadow Witch also helped with her superior knowledge, but this dude feigns ignorance to her efforts. He's currently focused on Crassus, who was one of the members of the Pentagram group in the original game. This dude is the real deal, as he's responsible for bringing down the World Tree. At that time, the elves reigned supreme, but after Crassus incinerated the tree with his flames, he became an enemy to the elves, his own kind. He's not someone you can consider a friend, but in this circumstance, he became their benefactor and saved them from doom. Junwoo asks about the missing member, Sepia. The Shadow Witch tells him that he's busy training in some unknown location. Junwoo thinks she can't have gone too far away because of their contract. He's utterly shocked to find that she's already reached level 150 in 2 weeks. This girl is an absolute monster. This is what happened in 2 weeks of Junwoo's unconscious state. When they arrived in Tempberg, Sepia figured they could relax under the supervision of the 7 stars. But Crassus emphasized that they stay sharp instead of relaxing too much. Sepia thanked him, and from there Crassus figured she must be the same girl Rudin spoke highly about. She's annoyed by her own weakness, as she couldn't become an ally to Junwoo during his battle. It was then she requested Crassus to train her to become stronger. It stemmed from a desire to one day rescue Sigmund, her dear old brother. Crassus questions what benefit it would do to him by training her. He thought that training a human girl would be pointless and merely ignored her request. So she stormed the physical approach and explained that her powers are needed by the 7 stars. The power they seek from her is nothing more than a curse she had to struggle her entire life. So this time, she wants their help to become stronger. She even taunts Crassus for giving up early and expecting much of him. Since he's one to accept a good challenge, Crassus tells the others to take care of Junwoo and lead Sepia someplace else. To be honest, this courageous front of hers really surprises Junwoo, who learned everything from Evelyn. The girl ended up receiving incredibly harsh training from Crassus, and that's why she was able to climb to level 150 in such a short time. Junwoo doesn't have to worry about her anymore, so he decides to check his personal stats next. From the skill window, he learns that his mark skill has undergone an evolution. The skill he used in battle evolved with the addition of the power of the sun. It's still an incomplete skill and requires more experimentation. What's even more surprising is Junwoo's personal skill level, which has risen to level 200 out of nowhere. He was merely the same level as his friends in the forest. But now, every single stat has increased. He decides to check his system notifications, hoping to find an answer there. Junwoo figures that there's only one reason he gained an enormous amount of experience points. And it's because of Galetto's defeat. But surprisingly, back in the forest, Galetto wakes up after the fight with his head hurting. He sees an amulet, the artifact that Luna gave him. It saved him from suffering a brutal end. The man remembers just how terrified he felt in his final moments against the werewolf. Galetto laughs. It's the first time he has ever experienced a true loss against an opponent. Now, he's more pumped than ever to square off against Schubert a second time, but only this time, he will make sure to win. Junwoo ignores his condition and gets up to leave, much to the dismay of his peers. He asks about the 7 stars, who seem to be in a room with Schubert. Junwoo realizes that they're in a damn castle, the center of Tempberg. He gets up and leaves, hoping to visit a restaurant later. Evelyn reminds him that he might get roasted for roaming around, but our boy claps back and roasts the living shit out of the witch. Junwoo doesn't want to be followed and insists that she stay put. He wants to increase his intelligence by acquiring information by himself. He's explored for a while, but there's not much to see. A bunch of these places just look like they're average guest rooms. Junwoo comes across a place that he shouldn't normally visit. He wonders if he should explore this place and find something hidden. Junwoo lurks in the basement and curiously wonders what would be hiding here. He uses a light to direct his path. The stairs don't seem to know any end. He's starting to get chills just wondering what kind of vicious monster is waiting for him below. Junwoo finally spots a mural, and what do you know, he gets 3 million intelligence points for discovering the place. He wonders what the empty space represents. A person calls him out from behind, who was suspiciously hiding their presence throughout this time. Junwoo points to the light and asks if he's speaking to another member of the 7 stars. The redhead is surprised that he isn't afraid. His expressions are hard to read, but this man is Kalpael, the curator of the mural. Kalpael seems to have a passion for music and asks if he could play a song. But the mercenary is uninterested and asks about his status as the mural guardian. Kalpael explains that he merely protects the mural. Normally, an intruder isn't allowed to enter this place, but Junwoo happens to be the key, the only person who has the abilities to open the door. Confused, he asks for more information. Kalpael thinks he should experiment for himself, and without explaining anything, he sings a song. Junwoo wonders if his blood is the only way to open the secret door. He doesn't believe in any other explanation and steps ahead. Offering his hand in front of the keyhole, Junwoo suddenly feels a sharp sting and backs off. He wonders what's going to happen next, but strangely, nothing even happened. Junwoo spots a radiant beam of light. It's actually the dimensional fissure from the first chapter. It's the only place where players can communicate with one another. Now even more curious, Junwoo asks where the door leads to. Kalpale is one confusing bastard and hints that Junwoo knows more than them all. Kalpale adds that his reaction is proof of the fact that he knows something about the portal. The man confirms that none of the 7 stars boast the ability to cross the dimensional gate, but Junwoo is different. He has opened the door and proved himself as the key. All of a sudden, Junwoo is starting to doubt his words. It makes no sense for the dimensional fissure to pop up in a random location like this. With all of his suspicions, he thinks it's best to consult the other 7 stars before making a move. He tries to back away, but Kalpale is much too insistent. In fact, this guy literally shoves him away, revealing his true motive. Junwoo is absorbed by the portal and finally crosses dimensions. At last, he meets the deity of the sun, Solari. He doesn't know where he is. It's just an empty space. Unlike the dimensional gate he knows. He wonders if this is a trap, but before long, Junwoo is teleported to a different location. He's back at the temple, and it really wasn't a trap. Junwoo contemplates his purpose when he hears a strange voice calling for him inside his head. The sun goddess speaks to the one who has crossed dimensions and reveals herself at last. She is the one goddess who was forgotten by the world. Junwoo at this point is still skeptical of her words, but Solari makes it clear that she only wishes for his happiness. It's a strange admission, so the mercenary asks why she's residing in this dimension. Solari explains that a millennia ago, she was stripped of her powers because of Luna, her sister. She betrayed the light and became more powerful than the sun. With the remainder of her lifespan, Solari created a safe haven for her to hide. Also, she doesn't know a thing about the dimensional fissure he keeps mentioning, as it is only an object inside the game, unknown to the game's characters. This also implies that the system exists in a higher plane than the sun goddess. Junwoo wants to return to his original world, but she has no answer for that either and apologizes. Since she's open about speaking to him, Junwoo asks about why he became a key among all of her worshippers. Solari explains that her children are incapable of using her power. That means the reason he's chosen is because he's free from the effects of the curse. He has crossed a completely different dimension, so the normal rules don't apply to him. Junwoo wants to learn everything about the war and what went down. Solari offers him an explanation. After the world came to light, both sisters wanted humanity's prosperity. But in the end, the period of peace was taken from them when the Demon King arrived. Latimos was an emperor who dominated over the evil gods, a being of darkness who had the intention of eliminating all light. They were forced to face him, and so the brave warriors among her followers rose to fight. But during this great battle, Solari had forgotten about her sister's jealousy. She ended up joining the Demon King for a collective attack, overwhelming them greatly. Then, after betraying Solari, Luna faced the Demon King herself, and killed him while he was weakened. But even at that point, the Demon King wasn't truly dead. His powers were sealed, and in recent years, he is slowly recovering his powers. Junwoo wonders why Luna failed to crush him completely. The only answer for that is because she desired more power and waited for the Demon King's revival. In her lust for power, it's possible she would devour the continent in an apocalypse. Junwoo asks what role he can play in stopping the world from going to hell. Solari tells him that he's the chosen one who can harness the full powers of the sun. He's the one who will succeed her greatest servant to regain peace. He's unsure if his strength will be enough to stop both Luna and the Demon King's revival. But Solari is confident that he can accomplish such a monumental battle by growing with her avatar. And now, for the major plot reveal. Sepia is literally the avatar of the sun goddess herself, and it was fated for the two to meet. Still, Junwoo believes it's going to be a tough battle even with Sepia. The sun goddess understands his worries, and explains that she has no desire to force his hand. Junwoo assesses the weight of his choice. If he refuses, then he wouldn't be forced into fighting gods and dealing with such a harsh fate. But still, eventually, the world will be thrown into chaos because of Luna. The mercenary can't sit around while things go bad. He accepts the quest, earning Solari's excitement. She grants him immense power that she had gathered in her safe haven. She will no longer be assisting him anymore, and will be watching his growth. Solari fades and wishes the best for his success. She disappears into nothingness, as the system greets Junwoo and classifies him as the sun's great warrior. His only main quest now is to stop Luna for good. Junwoo reawakens at last. Kalpale wasn't a bad guy all along. He apologizes for pushing him like that and offers a helping hand. He wants to know if his meeting with Solari went well, to which he nods in approval. The musician sings with glee, but the mercenary is just out of it. He's got a lot of things to think about and prefers to be quiet. Junwoo thinks about the sun goddess, and realizes that his goal so far was to become strong for himself. But now he's got an even more impossible mission. He has to defeat the moon goddess as well as the Demon King. Not to mention, he's awakened the powers of the sun. Solari's blessing is a skill that doubles his points on everything he earns. That means, if he gets to even level 350, his stats would be equal to a max level character in the game. And if he reaches the max level itself, he has a strong chance to defeat both of them. Still, Junwoo doesn't have much to celebrate. He still has to put in so much work and grind hard until he gets to the level he wants to. Next, he inspects the skill he acquired. His inventory has become limitless, and he's gained an item enhancement. With this, he's got infinite potential, as he will no longer need to check a warehouse. To test item enhancement, Junwoo checks if it works with a regular potion to observe its effects. The potion manifests into a high-grade sun potion, and while there is a cooldown of 1 week, it's still a great skill. Junwoo is happy with what he got and turns to check the other floor. Strangely, he's faced with a giant door. It also opens with ease, granting him 80,000 intelligence points for exploring the usurper's room. The usurper in question is the amazing Sepia, who is busy training with Crassus. The archer is surprised he discovered this location. Junwoo explains that it's due to his curious wandering and even offers to leave. Crassus explains that they were going to wrap up the training anyway and leaves instead. Sepia is overjoyed to find him alive and well. She apologizes for training by herself, but Junwoo thinks it's a great step. She's become really powerful in a short time. Junwoo is convinced that she can stay up to par with his powers despite his blessings. Her class is still hidden for some reason. Junwoo is really proud of her and pats her for working hard. She accepts the compliment despite being embarrassed. While she doesn't want to admit it, Sepia got this far thinking about Junwoo's condition. On the other hand, he has business with Crassus. He wanted to relay his thanks, but the clever Crassus knows he's got more than that to talk about. Junwoo decides to get to the bottom of it by asking a triggering question. Crassus immediately points his blade at him for his offensive remark. The Dark Elf burned down the World Tree many centuries ago and faced against the elves too. He was a boss character that the players faced, but Junwoo is curious about the reason he turned into an enemy. Crassus questions him, but Junwoo insists on his initial question, astonishing him greatly. He realizes that the key has already come in contact with the mural. Finally, he reveals that the World Tree was also a worshipper of the sun, and right after Solari's fall, Luna's power had creeped into the tree. In fact, the current Luna is different from the true goddess from back then. The current Luna is worried about her position. After Solari's fall, Luna massacred every single one of her followers and desired the power of the World Tree, which acted like a god of mana reserves to the elves. Yet, the elves refused to believe that the tree had fallen under the control of the moon goddess. Since Crassus is a high elf lord, he rejected every single one of his kind to do what was right. Junwoo even knows about his search for the sapling of the World Tree. It's clear that the tree was corrupted, which means he's going to face elves in the future as his enemies. Junwoo switches topics and asks about Sepia's training. Crassus explains that all he taught her was how to use certain weapons and move. Despite his humble words, Junwoo knows that this guy is the real deal. Even with max-level characters, Crassus is an opponent he could barely manage to defeat. He's an incredibly capable fighter, so Junwoo wants to learn from him too. Crassus rejects him initially, but Junwoo cuts him off by lumping in the topic of the World Tree. Junwoo spews some triggering information about the tree's immunity to weapons. It even resists Vijaya, which is Crassus's weapon. The mercenary decides to show him something by revealing a Nidhogg. It's literally a one-hit kill weapon, the only weapon that could destroy the World Tree's sapling. It's the object that Crassus has been desperately searching for. Crassus goes into complete panic, questioning how he obtained the item. Junwoo simply acquired the object after beating him once in the original game. He dodges Crassus's forceful strike thanks to Solari's powers. Junwoo offers a way for both of them. He wants to learn everything he knows in exchange for the Nidhogg. Crassus remembers the World Tree pleading the young elf to kill it for the future of his race. She begged him to take the step, despite his anguish. During this era, dragons also existed. One of them was called the Calamity of Mana. The weapon Nidhogg was constructed from that dragon, and after many centuries, Crassus obtained the weapon at the Howling Cauldron, the Hell's Gate. Using that weapon, he brought down the World Tree, but despite its destruction, one sapling survived and nurtured the World Tree again. Crassus embarked on a second journey to obtain the Nidhogg, and yet, this mercenary out of nowhere seems to have it in his inventory. After a long silence, he questions if the Sun Goddess tasked him with the mission to destroy the World Tree. Junwoo explains that he had the weapon merely because of Solari, and because of that, he's more than happy to bestow it upon the High Elf. This is a means to deceive, of course. Junwoo activates the Sun God's blessing, making Crassus believe in his words. The sun lost its battle against the moon, and he failed his mission to protect the World Tree as well. So all he could do in the end was destroy the World Tree with his own hands. Despite all his cries, the Sun Goddess failed to help him. But now, Crassus is certain. The Sun Goddess never abandoned the elves. He kneels before Junwoo, making him a bit uncomfortable. So he tries to leave and let him experience solitude. Sepia doesn't get what's happening either. Not even she has seen this side of him. Crassus is happy from the gift he received. Junwoo checks up on her and asks if she can use the power of the sun. Sepia demonstrates her skill by picking up a bow and releasing a powerful arrow, laced with the powers of the sun. The arrow gains immense power and penetrates everything in its path. It's the first time Junwoo has seen something like this. It even left her hand bruised after practicing it many times. The mercenary is happy to find her working hard. Sepia explains that she's been doing work and has yet to figure out a way to stop the overloading problem. Not even Crassus has a remedy for her state. But he did say he will ask about the Witch of Equilibrium. Suddenly, Junwoo receives a system notification informing him about the quest to meet the witch. He doesn't really anticipate meeting her so soon, but right now he's got nothing to look for anyway. Junwoo wants to take Sepia along when Crassus makes a sudden comment. He's now trusting of his powers and wants to help the mercenary with his training. Even though the goddess didn't mention a single word about Crassus or anything, Junwoo's expert gaslighting skills have saved the day again. He wants to begin training at once, but an unexpected visitor comes along. It's Kalpael again, who wants to start something. The dude releases a creepy smile before locking everything down in the shadows. Junwoo can sense the others, while Crassus tells him that there's one last thing he needs to learn. Kalpael's music opens a spatial crack in the dimension, tearing apart a whole new portal. Junwoo asks where it leads, but this guy ambiguously tells him that he'll find out when he goes inside. From just outside, Junwoo can see dozens of monsters expecting the dude, but our boy is in the mood to kick ass, so he walks right up to the challenge. Sepia, being his biggest fan, advises him to survive instead of good luck. And that means this isn't just training, but a really difficult battle for his life. Before he's able to hear anyone out, the poor guy gets sucked inside for his training. Meanwhile, Evelyn is getting bored to hell wondering where both Roberto and Junwoo went. She wonders if she should go looking for them both. The Shadow Witch gathers her motivation to go and find both of her lost friends inside the castle.